Halo tahu busuk. Here. What's up, guys?
Be resilient throughout all of that. To come through here, have to cut through so many different teams, so many really good teams. I mean, we saw how close Team Secret pushed them in the play-in. To be able to get here like that is beyond impressive to me.
Yes, it's been incredible run for GenG so far, and here we got PRX.
Ayo kalian dukung siapa, coy? Dukung siapa ini? Halo Fansete, halo Kali. Udah pasti nggak sih kalau kayak gini? Udah pasti PRX nggak sih? Siapa lagi, Cok?
It does feel a little bit, sad sometimes. Watching Izu up on the stage too. Things happen. Yeah. Everyone's trying to play their hearts out. Everyone's giving their best performances, and when it comes down to it, sometimes one team's just a little bit better, and I guess Forsaken is the better Susanto for now, but he would have loved to have his brother along as well. But the main thing is still the fact that PRX is that good. They are always changing things up. You saw that Harbor, you saw the Fade, and how Forsaken was operating with that Odin. So I don't know, we're gonna have a really explosive match today.
And both Texture and Monyet, we're looking at the two teams now. They were teammates last year on Global Esports. Yeah. And this year, they're facing each other, and they're both going to their very first international event in Madrid.
I'm pretty surprised about this for a lot of these players.
Untuk Bang Kicu, terima kasih sudah ada meledak. Halo Ahmad Rafi, halo Dudu. Kira final gak ketemu DRX ya? Iya anjay.
To be having a little bit of trouble adjusting to the PRX squad, but I think over time it's going to be fine. Texture, on the other hand, I've always rated him as overall the second best duelist in Korea. Going back to the first strike days and stuff when he's on Damwon Kia, I really thought that.
Oh, ini yang terakhir ya, terakhir ini nih.
It's just a matter of finding him the right team, just kind of like with Locky.
GenG
he had a stint on DK as well. Now back
here on
to GenG, once again finding himself at a global tournament, defeating DRX along the way.
Gue nggak tahu tuh redeem
is an insane storyline for him.
Tunggu menang GenG sih seperti G2 apa juga sih. Kedua seru dong matchnya.
And to have him back
lagi
is so
detail
exciting
he's
a player who really made a mark on fans' mind.
Hati di jalan, tahu kusuk.
Obviously the Ascent drop down. He literally has like a play that everybody pretty much has to try at some point on Ascent named after him.
No, I mean, I think you're absolutely right. And a lot of people doubted GenG because they kept revealing so many maps, so many strategies. So by the time you get to a team like DRX, you think, no way GenG is gonna win, but they proved us completely wrong. It's almost like
kalau emang terjadi GenG juara sih gokil sih
GenG.
Jadi tim Korea nomor 1 dia. PRX udah hilang ya masanya ya. Padahal udah ngelakuin perombakan loh.
I guess it's a bit of that same story. They've revealed a lot.
Foxy
We've seen so many maps. We've seen how they play. We've seen how they kind of set up plays to counter the Yoru, for example. So there's a lot to think about. There's a lot of preparation that PRX could do. But based on what we've seen against DRX, Coach Solo, Coach HSK, they've shown that they know how to adapt. They've shown that they know how to set up some of these anti-strats or counterplays, especially up against the executes on sites, for example. So I think PRX does have to watch out because if they start to make mistakes, if they start to underestimate their opponents, GenG could absolutely walk away with a win today.
Yeah, I agree with you. I really think that GenG has the firepower right now, the confidence right now, and just sort of the form from having to play so many matches. It seems like they found a nice groove. Like to me, they're getting better and better.
Oh, pas yang di champion ya.
Like what you're talking about, right? The anti-strategy.
Tapi kalau ini juara,
those kind of things. But individually,
back dia. Juara
winning
Pasifik.
so many 1v1s against DRX players yesterday. Munchkin had 11 first bloods yesterday, by the way. And like that's insane. I mean, that's the Munchkin style, right? He's out there kind of on his own, trying to make things work. And he's so individually talented.
Langsung ya, El, biar cepat ya.
Was amazing yesterday, and I think it's arguably
Harusnya
if it wasn't for
gitu
him
sih,
clutching that round of bind against DRX yesterday,
ini nih gila banget tekstur tuh. Dua orang di delete. Ini juga nih.
2 4Ks yesterday. He had a couple clutches, a 1v1 and a 1v2. Huge stuff coming out of a rookie, a guy completely untested. Again, never playing through any of the tier 2 or tier 3 scene at all. Just a dude who was playing ranked and happened to
Koronnya sih gede loh GenG.
Staff and players, and they were like, we got to try this guy out. And
Best
it turned
map
out
Ice
really
Box.
good, and he's better than anyone could have expected.
Could you imagine finding your one of your
Anak-anak
star
PRX muncul semua.
teammates on a
Udah
ranked
langsung
game.
all
So those
in.
of you home playing ranked, you never know.
Udah
You
di
might be
final.
queuing up with, and you could be the next PRX or GenG team member. So now we're looking at their team stat comparisons
Apa,
here,
Afi?
and it's not that different from each other than their map picks and bans.
Yeah, that's the
Berarti
wildest thing
GenG
too,
ban-nya
right? It's not too
Vine.
far apart. Maybe GenG has some
Ya,
higher
ban
round
Vine kayaknya
percentage wins
permabennya
because
deh.
of the number of games they've been playing. But
PRX
main
ban
thing that
apa
you
ya?
want to focus
Icebox
on
nggak
is
sih?
attack and defense.
Terus sisanya
Still,
mainin.
GenG, the way that they're playing is often just trying to catch up, trying to get that lead against their opponents. Whereas PRX, we all know them. We know how explosive and how they come in with that chaotic play, that W gaming style of strategy. It has been tempered a bit, though.
Gelo.
That's the thing that I do want to
Contribution
focus
red.
on, because right now, as we look at
Aaron
the
lo paling
win
tinggi,
contribution
Aaron,
rate,
Jason,
everyone
Davai,
has chipped in.
something.
Monyet still, trying to adjust a little bit here and there.
Ah,
His
masih
raise look
adaptasi.
really good, but
Cahya
on
masih
the controller,
adaptasi.
sometimes we haven't really had those same sort of Monyet Monday moments as compared to like last
Tapi
year when
Cahya
Controller
selalu
was, for
bikin
example.
space.
You know why? It's because
Jadi-
it's not Monday.
Yeah.
That's clearly the problem.
Where's Asarai? He's the one who never knows what day it is. So
That's right.
Jadi nggak apa lah.
he's just gotta tell Monyet it's Monday every
Yeah.
day. Just be like, no, Monyet, it's Monday today. Like,
You hear that one yet?
Tetapnya
Today's Monday.
Cahya.
Don't worry about the calendar.
I don't know.
But I think
Duelis.
this radar turret tells the whole story
Ya,
anyway.
ya udahlah, Ci.
We've seen contributions.
Berat. Ini kalau ada, ini kalau si Jing ya, di sini lah.
Last week was also,
Rata
a bit
tuh ya.
unusual, not coming from their usual,
Tekstur
duelist
udah
something.
pasti
yeah,
tekstur.
I really like the way
Karon
they
nih
play Sunset, using that wall.
Gokil juga loh Karon
In
ini.
my mind, when I first looked at
Tekstur
Sunset, the
Meteor
first thing I thought,
Karon,
this is kinda like
Manskin juga
And so I
jago.
think comps that are similar to split comps can work really well because you can cut off a lot of similar ideas, right?
Win
You have that
contribution
wall
tuh,
on B
ah,
that cuts off market.
perhitungannya gue nggak tahu sih, harusnya
Defender spawn side, and
dari
then they
banyak
can use that to throw all of
kill
their
sih.
initiator utility over the wall to keep things at bay,
Volume
to get the
apaan
plant,
yang
get the
kecil?
post-plant setups, and make it really challenging for the
Mic
opponent
gua.
to really disrupt you or really keep you from getting into a place where it's going to be easier to get that defuse.
Especially when they have that gecko
Sama
as well.
impact
Wingman
ininya juga
going
kayaknya.
in to get the spike planted. There's so much that comes in because of that value.
backgroundnya.
Now we're looking at our key players here.
Headshot.
While they have
Jason yang
slightly
ini ya.
different roles, they have been
Headshot menang
highly impactful
Jason.
on both of their teams.
And you
KD
can definitely see it right here on this
beda
chart.
tipis menang tekstur.
Different roles. I think that's one thing to
Silver
definitely
roundnya
pay attention
Jason.
to. But
Rating
they are both, the
tekstur.
star fraggers of the team. Forsaken, we know how incredibly
Backgroundnya
sharp he is with that
tekstur.
aim.
Gila
Coming
sih
in
ini
with Odin
duelis ini, bro.
sometimes, playing these different
Karena
roles,
Jason
flexing
ada
around,
nggak
he
main
does so
duelis
much.
deh.
You always have to watch out for him. Sometimes he's coming in with flanks. Sometimes he's there
Ah, ini seru
making
nih.
plays for his team.
Aim
Meanwhile,
kuat
someone like
bertemu.
Texture has been consistently topping the charts ever since we started this kickoffs. He's been that Raze player, he's been that Jet, he's getting highlights with the Bladestorm, but the thing that stands out to me the most right now, especially in this matchup against PRX,
Jadi
is
pengen
how-
lihat
oh,
Genji
remember
punya
yesterday
ini
that
bagus
game
gak sih,
against
Cih?
T1? PRX struggled.
Kamu telat ya. Sabar, cuy. Lu bakal kelihatan jago saat ketemu tim yang tepat, betul. Karena efek dari teammate juga berat. Pengen lihat Genji punya bundle, gue lupa dah. Bagus gak sih? Abang lu dosen UMS. Solo ya? Solo bukan? Alvin. Solo bukan? Muhammadiyah Solo ya UMS ya? Kan kayak Genji jelek. Real.
Karon, so yeah, Texture is a player you gotta watch out for, and if you can slow him down, you will slow GenG down.
So, emang
What's been
mahasiswanya?
interesting about both of these teams, though, is that with Texture wasn't perfect every single day.
Iya
He
benar
even
benar
said
benar.
it himself in
Apa dari
this
namanya
interview
ya?
that he was feeling down. He told his
Ah,
teammates,
monster
same thing with
impia.
Karen, he was like, I'm feeling down, and they're asking their teammates for support.
Percaya, gue penasaran gue sama itunya. Aduh, nggak ada yang bagus, Cok. Kartunya sih lumayan, coy. Roar gini anjir. Versi gold. Nah ini gold gitu ya. Gold. Kok bener ya? Main lah kalau pecinta warna gold.
The guys has
Talk of you.
in yet and tell me about the vibes around the team. 어제 DRX를 2대 0으로 꺾고 마스터즈 진출을 확정지었습니다. 젠지 선수들 모두 신나 있고 또 자신감에 차 있을 것 같은데요. 어제 이후로 현재까지 팀의 분위기는 어떨까요?
어제 일단 이기고는 기쁨을 많이
Nah, kalau itu
느끼고요.
bagus yang mana?
그냥 어제 제가
Yang paling kanan ya, Dungpret.
선수들한테 얘기했던 거는 아직 결승이 남았으니까 어제까지만 기쁨을
Ah, mendingan kita nonton China dulu nggak sih? China dulu deh yang 3 game.
想拉出来，面对刘一手没有能够打过对手，刘一手丝血存活
Kenapa
了下
tim-tim
来。
gede
巴
kayak
滴血
Evos
中
nggak
路已经
bikin?
前要配合
Ah,
A 大的队友，想要去抓这个重生点的位
nggak
置。
tahu kalau
继
itu.
续搜，但没有能够搜到小开，这也就导致到方 plus 有点不太敢去对 B 点提
Yang
速，
pas
因为他
belum
找不
ada
到零的位置。刘一手还在直架，巴滴血面对黑
belum
位，
ada
直接倒
franchise
地。
saya mereka
那现在
emang
看
nggak
一下方
tertarik
，plus 要
di
去打
PC
提速
deh.
吗 ？B 点。其实是没有人的，但是他们一直没有找到小开的信息，小开
Lah
一直在躲藏，但抛出
Tadi
神
gua
秘曲线的
tinggal
小开他们就知道了呀，方 plus 可以对 B 点进
Crash
行一波提
Esport
速。
yang TE ini yang
是
menang
的，三个
tiba-tiba
人，两个人是
7
爆团
FX.
的。这个爆能器是能下，但是能走是能走，但是这个风潮消散了。
看一下，好像有点不太好退啊。阿阳手上捏着终极技能，但
两个
不太好
人打双
去使用，
架吧。
只能给双架了。有寻敌
Eh,
剑，
lihat mana dia tuh?
寻敌剑给不给？寻敌还在等，我要就先处理一个，把宝林给打掉了。阿阳先在右边 pick 掉一个，他的位置也是明牌了。寻敌剑先给出来，但被秒打。已经在低包了，他在露脚步。赛博囚笼快要结束了，但是在右边他不太知道。
Ya,
T
pinter
2
banget.
v 1的这个残局处
Ugi
理的
mana
相
nggak
当
tahu.
冷
Oi
静。
dok,
没有办法，这个爆
karena
能器
siapa
是
nih
给
bang
到了
perkiraan
一个
yang
右边
bakal
死
jadi
点的
terkuat
包，
ED game
他这个
apakah
通道是
masih
看不到的。所以只能靠拉脱自己的身位去看这个包，但是 T 做的也很聪明，我低包假骗一下。
EDG
因为知
harusnya
道你出来
masih
看这
deh.
个爆能器的话，肯定会漏身位。
上一分在开始阶段，主持人刚说完，说这个防守前压感觉不太好打。
EDG harusnya masih.
T 的这个防守前压压
Cuma
奏效了，
abis
主要是
itu kayaknya
的狂烈之怒收获了
apa
非
ya?
常大的效果。
是的，其实我觉得日落之城这张地图就是得
Ada yang namanya WOL juga lumayan
的
coy.
一些站位，
World
不然的
Esport.
话你能控制的区域太少，就不太好打了。
10比
Ya gue
8，
lihat. Oh enggak timnya Arbi nih lumayan nih tim
又是
Arbi.
同样的三个人
Ini
来
lolos
看
siapa?
地图
Ini
第一
lagi
场的话是
main
在奥特其实想来控的球的，
方 plus 的思路应该是想要去往中路做一波控制啊，压制一下中路。
Nih
就
World
我可以不去控中路
Ini
的
lumayan
但
ini.
是你也不能够从中路顶出来。
是。
PP sama
如果
siapa
拿到了
sendiri.
太多的地图
Billy
掌控
dikalahin
面积
kan
说他们将会拥有非常大的加强
Ini
优势。
mestinya
逼通
EDG
第一时间没有看到人，知道有一个不死鸟在逼通。
timnya
那
Arbi
第二
kali
时间
ya.
的话还是要转点来到 A 区，其实 A 区的话一直是由零在
Kita
去
lu harus
固守
ganti orang
所
sih.
以他是随时在准备打回
Busuk
防，因为
banget
这一分的
anjir.
话黑背
Tapi
手里
lu
是有惊雷卷地的，
organisasi gede
只要保证
tapi
前期不要人就行。
itu kayaknya harus ganti orang
要先
kayaknya.
给技能搜一下无人机过来，搜一下管道，
Wah bola.
而且小
Wolf
开应
tuh
该也
kayaknya
收集到了信息啊，给
punya
各个
siapa
汇
gitu,
报
gue
了已
lupa
经。
dah.
Life 这个位置是有一个半线的，但是他是静摸是能打掉。这 timing
福乐星选择主动出烟，
是的，
Arbi
这个对于
Titan
拉夫来说
Esport
有点
Club
意想不到啊
TEC.
福乐星就是这样子的风格，中路回林带着队友把
Tapi
直
streamnya
接把 YU 给直架掉了，而且点在
VCT China nggak ada 1080 nya
打
cok.
3爆能器，刘一手
What
抢
the-
了起来，但刘一手队友还比较远，还要先等一下，等一下队友过来，踩雷飞剑直接过来压他位置了，把他逼了出来，他能退吗？他想要去躲，有点不太好退了。这一波技能协同是做的非常合理的，半线打掉，两个人过来时间不
Kan
多了。
Sentinel Phantom
18秒
enak coy.
他们必须要去安置这个爆能器，但是有惊雷卷地，直接把人给卷了起来。黑背直接过来，协同自己的终极技能，一波击杀。欧腾打反闪，时间不多，9秒钟，正面有2个人在的。
Rasa balik kampung cek nonton VCT China.
情况下 T1
Coba nge-case bang. Andre coba ngomong.
来到后面压缩的时间只有10几秒的情况下，对手还有一个惊雷卷地，这个时间只要拖就可以了。
啊，
Iya. Wolf itu harusnya
有一
klub
个小倒霉蛋，
klub bola.
看到了这个
Bener.
半线的声音想要去打的一瞬间，
Tapi
然
gua
后
nggak tahu
被拉出来
siapa
对，这个就是福乐星的风格呀。
yang punya
就福乐星其实打控制
Emang bikin tim dia.
没有那么的
Invalo
他是非常喜欢去打一些让你意想不到的一些操作。
其实我觉得幽影就该这么玩，幽影就是
PSG
要打
kalau
出
PSG
这种出其不意啊，因为他有他的剑影或者离魂，我觉得
Tapi
他
klub
还是
bola
一个
kalau
机动
masuk
性非常强
franchise
的
gitu
烟
udah
味
pasti
了。
diterima nggak sih?
通常的话，如果玩得好的一个幽影的话，你永远会去猜他到底在什么位置。
10比9的比分，那 FunPlus 把战术暂停叫完之后，两边其实在常规时间所有的战术暂停都已经全部交完了。
Ini ngomongin ngomong naon ya itulah translate lah cuy, ada yang bisa nggak?
再有任何教练可以站出
Gue
来
juga
帮
nggak
队伍调整
ngerti
机会。
anjir.
就场上不管
Pak
打成
Andre
什么
no
样，都只能靠选手自己去调整了。
Persija nggak?
最后一个暂停，好好的想一想，最后这几分要怎么去打。
Ya.
终极技能方面，现在 FunPlus 需
Persija
要
kan
去继续滚击雪球，他们这个阵容啊。 就像我们
terakhir yang
除了上博乐
gua kan nggak
是偏个人之外，其
nggak
他
dapat.
都是一些比较关键性的团队型终极技能。
是。
Kali sambil ya udah Discord sini coba lu artiin ya.
比分的话10比9只有1分之差，两边的比分咬的还是非常死的。
FunPlus 这一分终极
Katanya minum STMJ dulu biar semangat.
柳一手也有回复，
就是不管是进攻方也好，还是安装爆能器他们的一个防守能力都很强。
Apa cuy?
现在看一下。 在开局要做一个防守前压，峰峰想顶
Terus
出来
Jadil
自己特
translate
有的一些技能，把中路先控住。但是第一波 FunPlus
Oh Jadil mau nonton nggak ya Jadil? Apa dia pergi lagi ya?
T 能够成功拿下来，先控中。
Ntar kasih tahu ya kalau itunya udah
直接
mulai.
终极技能过来，
Pacific harusnya masih
去找一下人的位置，
sekitar
想要去找击杀能
8 menitan lah.
要过来，他找到了，
很极限。
他把刘一手给打掉了。那这一分现在对 FunPlus 来说有优势。主要弗勒星倒了之后 ，TE 的单烟没了，
是的，
在对手进攻的过程中将会少了一个非常关键型的隔绝效果。
没有烟
Lagi yang kita
打
ajak.
第一时间的话，对面也要打的话，就这个家里跟回家了似的。
PRX sudah mulai. Frankie Angga gue udah tahu lu bohong anjing, tapi gue kayak mulai tuh gitu. Nipu bangke. Kalian berdosa ya. Katanya musuh mau defense bakal kekurangan. Oh, karena udah kecolong ya. Bandre, lu lancar banget Mandarinnya, Bandre ya. Ajarin gua, Bandre. Kali aja bisa ke China menimba ilmu. Dia bait ulti sofa keluar itu bagus. GG Bandre cok.
因为一般对于安置爆能器的人，在海盾里面一定是通常会有另外一个人来架枪的。但当时恰巧是没有人，因为
katanya tuh bahasa Cina di Indo tuh kayak Hokkien cake gitu beda banget sama Mandarin. Apa ada kemiripan?
对，他这个假地包真的太灵性。
Katanya ini orang-orang kurang makan Haidilo jadi nembak. Salah Frankie Angga anjir. Mereka belum joget Haidilo dia. Mandarin tuh kayak bahasa Indonesia kita. Tapi beda nggak? Beda gitu ya. Oke, dalam gitu kayak bahasa Jawa. Oh, kayak ngerti. Bahasa Mandarin itu ya ada kemiripan lah. Kalau Hokkien Cake itu bahasa daerahnya. Kalau ngomong Mandarin tanpa nada gitu beda arti, serius. Gue nggak tahu cok, gue cuma taunya lagu J-Chow gua.
对，反而对手要反清他这个位置喽。
7发子弹不多了。
ngomong
考虑保了，感觉对面安置完爆能器之后，感觉这个残局确实不好操作。
tahu busuk. Jangan lu kasih itu. Itu namanya apa kak? Gue cuma tahu kalau tulisan kayak Korea itu gue sama ratain kanji gue sebutnya. Beda ya? Kalau di China apa guys? Sebutannya. Kanji itu ini ya, Jepang ya?
我是感觉这个 A 点的
Hanzi。
第一是黑北这个位置的话，它作为一个铁壁的话，它站在
Hanzi Jepang kan?
非常靠前的桥位。
Kalau Mandarin Hanzi.
的话没有太多的贡献，就倒下了。
Hanzi itu tepung bukan kentoy.
没有炸掉。
而且主要 life 位置对于峰峰来说很尴尬，就后面是有一把尖刀在瞄准着自己。
Lu bisa juga nulis, Bang Ray. Kalau misalnya lu tulis apa ya? Tulis asterisk gitu. Apa? Tulis Mandarin, anjing GG juga lu. Terus sekolah Mandarin lu ya? Apa lu sebenarnya emang dari negara China?
背道而驰了，感觉。
现在只能看小开了，看一下小开有没有夸张的个人能力表现。哎，
Jangan asterisk ya udah.
给下撤了，不太敢去继续开这个无人机。
是的。小开手里有长枪，看看前期如果说他能扛压的话，看收一下过路费，给自己的队友稍微减轻一下。
Ini Bang Ray,
我觉得是比较。
saya ingin membelikan kamu sesuatu gitu coba. Ketik Hanzinya. Oh iya udah mulai. Yang tipu gua ya anjing. Belum kentoy. GenG jadi banyak yang main lah cuy. Buset panjang bener. Oke coba. Coba. Nanti kita coba translate bener gak? Masa iya pendek itu coy? Saya ingin membelikan kamu sesuatu, masa iya? Pendek itu? Iya. Serius itu translate. Wah, apa sih tulisan ini ya? Salah kentoy. Chinese. Yang mana ini coy? Ya mungkin aja kan beda-beda. Oh. Yang mana Mandarin? Ada Mandarin. Ada kok. Mana Bang Ray? Beliin dong. Beliin apa lu? Lu mau beliin gua apa Bang Ray? Keren cok. Gigi coy. Ini lu mau beliin gua apa? Lah boy, tergocek manja kan. Ajarin malah GG cok. Bang Ray lu jadi guru bahasa Mandarin cok. Bahkan tapi
先拿信息防前压，看看对手的一个防守落位是怎么样的。
Ya,
拿到了 A 区
di
的话，
kita tuh katanya banyak dan ada spasi itu mereka Mandarin kayak membelikan aja udah sama anjir dengan satu katanya tadi. Tapi jadi good. Nggak passion ya. Susah sih, harus passion sih. Gue cuma tahu lagu J, cow. Infuzong Fire, lirik lagu lagi. Sekarang mah lebih banyak orang non Chinese yang pandai bahasa Chinese kalau di. Oh iya, karena kuliah nggak sih atau emang Mandarin juga bahasa internasional yang banyak orang pakai juga kan? Karena di semua negara kayaknya pasti ada orang Chinese. China. Sebutinnya kalau orang China orang Chinese.
其实当时前期的话 ，Life 是拿到了雷击在 A 区嘛，
tahu gua susah makanya.
像零这个位置可能也在 A， 那想到 A 肯定是一个重防，所以选择来到了一波 B 区。那没有想到零这一分的话，回防来到 B 区了，换防了。
这个就是赛前说的，队伍需要得分的时候，需要有爆发点站出来。小开关键的首杀帮助队伍是成功追回一分。
Emang kalian ini rata-rata bisa bahasa Mandarin emang? Orang yang bisa banyak bahasa itu keren lah cuy. Gila ya? Gak masuk serius. Miring lah dong Fred. Let's go. Ini dong stream yang benar tuh. Kok 2 doang. Ini macet. Saya kenapa nggak pakai tangan kiri, sopan. Ada ini tuh, bagus tuh. Let's go monyet. Dengar nggak kalian tadi coy? Let's go monyet. Munyek bukan monyet ya. Munyek. Kebenyek. Bang Nap mana nggak tahu gua. Munyuk. Klub bola tergege sepanjang masa kan? Munyuk. Cok, kenapa nggak anjir? Tuh, keren cok. Tuh. Player card GenG. Main loh. Gila tuh. Dibawa lo bannernya.
The pillar of GenG Meteor, leading the team there, IGL and Captain Munchkin, the highlight maker Lakia, and the ace up their sleeve, Texture. Please welcome
GenG. Itu apaan Andre anjay? Texture gak usah jago-jago ya biar 3 map selesai benar. Gak ada giveaway redeem code, gak ada Advi. Jadi gua nggak tahu tuh. Wah, siapa sabar. Andre ini harus gua kopas aja. Dia ngomongin, ayolah monyet, anjing, gelo. Kok kesannya kalau lu ngomong kayak gitu ngatain gua ya? Ayolah monyet. Dong. Tuh dikatain Bang Dre. Gila ini 2 tim yang akan ke Madrid coy. Wah, udah full senyum coy. Ya main demi kita tetap bisa juara. Walaupun kita udah dapat slot di Madrid, tapi tetap fokus. Kita di sini main pride ya, biar bisa dapat gelar back to back kapan lagi. Kalian main harus all out ya. Jangan ada yang ngetro. Itu juga saling ngingetin kalau misalnya overheat anjing. Tapi ya gitu. Ada Bang Re. Kalau misalnya juara ada dapat poin tambahan untuk lebih gampang ke champion. Karena ada poin, 3 poin. Terus di Madridnya jadi seat pertama.
As PRX and GenG go through their map picks, one can't help but wonder about Breeze, because that was the first map to kick things off between these two teams last time, and it was really close.
It was close, but it did favor GenG, so you might want to think twice about playing that same map again. But then again, after seeing everything play out, you know, we've seen GenG's improvements all across the board. Now we're starting to think, like, maybe you want to watch out for what GenG has in store. Like, maybe you want to ban out something that they're good at, like an icebox maybe?
Yeah, I think you've got 3 tough choices here as
Alex
PRX.
butuh bantuan kan? Kok Budi Master jadi coach GenG ya sekarang?
They haven't played Vine yet. So, kind of curious if that's something that GenG is going to lean into. They were able to get over DRX. It was an overtime, a map that DRX has widely been very good on Vine.
Ben map,
Talked about it yesterday.
Ben Vine sama Ben Icebox nggak sih harusnya?
On Vine at Champs last year. Again,
Sesuai dengan statistik.
it is what it is. So my eyes are really on what does GenG not want to play? Sunset. This makes total sense to me.
Oh yeah.
PRX is just too good on this map right now. They've got so much control with that Sage Wall. I don't think they were able to dial up an answer.
Oh, Sunset Icebox.
Yeah, they were
Berarti main
really
bind,
good
coy.
this kickoff, I would
Woo!
say.
Main bind.
They didn't have much time to pluck that map apart.
GenG ben Sunset, PRX ben Icebox. Udah pasti dong.
It happens on Ascent as well. So interestingly enough, that GenG picks it against
Buat mana
PRX
PRX?
because that was the map that PRX had a slightly better time against T1
Sama-sama
on.
kuat sih.
With Forsaken and
Cuma yang ngebedain
a little bit.
Monj sama Jing.
I
Ya,
mean, it's
playstyle-nya.
interesting. Both teams kind of maybe leading into the maps I didn't expect initially.
Ah, BO3 mana ada BO3?
To PRX on this the first time around, what have they been able to figure out? I mean, they do look a lot better on this map, especially with
Iya, BO3 BO5 kali.
around the map have been an absolute nightmare for other teams to deal with recently.
BO5 coy.
And then leaving
Mana ada
Breeze
BO3?
for the last one. Bind PRX hasn't shown their bind in the longest time.
Semua
but we
final
also did
BO
see how GenG counters DRX's Yoru pick on
Semua
bind, which
final
again
ini.
is something that PRX
BO5.
could do. But then again,
Wah,
you never know.
Breeze
Last year
terakhir.
they suddenly picked out Arena. So
I think we might see ISO
Yeah.
up there.
oh, ISO.
Look, there's like 4 agents Forsaken hasn't played yet. So
Deadlock.
Deadlock, ISO, Sage. So far, the last couple of seasons.
Gotta collect them all.
Yeah,
Get outta here.
yeah, exactly. He's busy making his Pokedex full.
Hop.
Here we go into
Agentnya
Ascent.
sama, agentnya sama,
Classic
agentnya sama.
composition.
Ascent.
PRX playing the same thing
Sama.
that they did yesterday against T1. Now, the thing about this composition for PRX
Seru nih
is
coy,
that we
3-1
need every
kayaknya.
single player to pop off, right?
Kalau bisa
And,
3-2
while
nggak
Manya
sih?
did have some
Halo
great
Kylie.
entries, stats-wise,
Biar
it wasn't quite up there
seru.
with the rest of the team, but again,
Kan
it
setuju
doesn't
dengan
really matter
3-2.
if Something and Manya are working
GenG
in
bawa
tandem
kayu.
to secure a lot of these sites.
Apa-apa.
It's just I'm
Karena
more
kan
worried
emang
about
nggak
what
ini.
GenG has prepared
Emang nggak masuk
because the way that
ke
they played Ascent against Zeta Division shows
map.
that they absolutely knew how to play
Map
defense.
tanding.
Yeah, and I think you're going to have a little bit more ability to adjust to the,
Full map.
the
Full
fast-paced
map.
PRX comp with the KO in there to shut things down.
Well, the Tiger
Fracture
Nation
sama
is
Pearl
facing
tuh
off
belum
the
masuk.
Rexes, facing once
Lagi
again
di renov
to
kayaknya.
close out the Pacific kickoffs. Taking us through the action is Achilles and William.
Thank you very much. Yes, here
Udah
we
mau mulai nih,
are.
coy.
Another grand final, but this time a very different face on the other side of the arena.
GenG atau
PRX
controller?
punching their ticket,
Kalau
as
dia bawa
expected
Omen,
by
oke.
a lot of us, to get to
Itu
this
controller.
point, to go to Madrid. But it's not DRX on the other side of the arena. It is a different Korean squad, GenG, the young up-and-coming challengers, to see if they can take away the throne.
Yeah, exactly. Of course, not entirely unfamiliar faces, right? We've
Very
got
true.
head coach Solo and Locky on that side. They have succeeded in D3 and DRS before, but this squad, a lot of people thought they're going to need a lot more time. Of course, the talent is there, but they're going to need to grow into it. They say, no, we want to get all the experience we can in kickoff and go right into Madrid with a strong
Pepe
force.
sendirian,
And
iya
today, I
Tony.
mean, last time they matched up in Group C, it was a 2-1 match.
GenG
score,
belajar
so
dari
it could go
T1
either
bawa
way.
kayu.
It very well could. I mean, you're talking about getting
Iya,
experience.
tapi
GenG
emang
is
line up
getting
Yes.
the
standarnya emang
maximum amount of experience,
kayu
maximum
sih.
maps, maximum
Biasa.
matches to get to this point. Their ticket to Madrid is punched, but they want to go away as
Oh, mulai coy,
champions.
langsung mulai coy.
Back to
Sabar-sabar,
stage
gue
one
tutup dulu.
with higher expectations with the trophy on their
Ajak
back.
Snap, udah gue
Let's see if
chat
they're going to be able
WA-nya.
to earn it.
Gak
Start
balas.
things off nicely with a map win here on Ascent.
Sabar-sabar.
And of course, a desk touch
Tutup
upon
ya.
it, but the compositions, no changes here from what they last showed. PRX having their own interpretation around this Viper composition, and they have used it quite a bit to great success against T1. So we'll see if GenG has
Main
studied all the
retake
tape.
A kah?
Another
Iya.
difference, of course, PRX when they went up against T1. it
Ayo
was
main
against
kapan tanggal
Execute
29?
Cypher. And it did prove some trouble for Monyet's Raze, whereas he was kind of getting caught off guard a lot on the entry. It was really the follow-up trades that worked. This time, a little bit more familiarity with the Killjoy setups now on the A site. Looking to just delay that, looking for
Lagi
a
nggak
retake
bisa.
for GenG on A.
Oh, gak
All
bisa
right,
sih
well,
Nap.
something starting things off hot.
Oop.
Ghost in hand, takes down Texture. That tip of the spear taken out. Meteor as well being tracked over in towards main. The door is going to be broken down. The turret offering up a bit of damage there. Meteor, the classic, swinging out, doesn't manage to find a buy, but
Offside
a from
kah?
Forsaken gets the one tap. Meteor goes down and something finds the second kills. Munchkin will fall.
A bit of a
Football
timing
day.
mismatch there. I mean,
Yo,
Meteor he
lima.
did his best to hold on to main and even popped the nanosword before he went off. As you see, a lot of
Good
damage still quite doable here for GenG considering the health.
Gila, chaos
Just
coy.
having to back away.
Lari, lari, lari.
That ever so familiar back gen position
Mantap,
this
mantap,
time.
mantap.
No rifle in hand, can't get the win. Will get taken down. She's going to be divided. The only one here.
Nice.
10% of PRX as they take the pistol round.
Now, a lot of this, of course, is PRX just
Aroma
knowing
ya?
when to keep
2
up
lawan
the
4
tempo.
ya?
As soon as they get that contact,
Lucu
they understand that it has to
soalnya
be
kalau
weak. They got
kalah
the first kill. They want to push through. I mean, you know it's the Jet peeking out, then you catch sight of the killjoy. You just want to run through and make sure you destroy everything.
Yang menang
before
orang
back
kalah tuh
arrives.
kayak
So
nyesek
it's
gitu
a
loh.
matter of GenG just maybe not expecting the entire
The
force to
boy.
follow at full tempo speed, full running all the way up mid.
No cheeky force buys coming in.
Ya.
Just go for a bit of a tempo TP
Mau
up.
TP ke
Try to
depan
get
dia
somebody off guard.
bro.
They swing the corner instantly, and he is taken down.
Yeah, we got to keep in mind that this screen right now is really set up to try to disrupt mid. So GenG trying to wonder if that was the case. No, it's a fast push into A.
The Prowler in, Lockett gone, Texture having to dash
Yang
back.
penting nggak kena Iko aja coy.
Shots through from Wilbon, pulling
Wah
his
gila
attention.
gila.
That
Iko
one
aman.
yet picks up a 3K. Looking now for potentially the 4 as Meteor goes down to 15 HP. Jump
Kalian
shot.
nyesek
hit him
anjir kalau
ahead.
kena Iko tuh.
4K for Monyet, and I gotta say, this is the hottest start that we've seen from him thus far.
Yes, I mean, we saw it in the win contribution graph as well. Monyet not really being a big part of the round wins that PRX has gotten. That's not to say that he's not necessarily playing his role. We see whenever he's playing
Nice.
the trades, his goal
Way
is
gaming,
to
way
create
gaming.
that space, create those angles, create those
Eh.
trades for his teammates, and
Replaynya
no better teammates to have
rusak
for that
gitu.
other than this squad on PRX. Of course, always good for that follow-up kill, and now the Forsaken Odin right from round 3.
Lockett as well. Gonna be looking to try to utilize that. We'll see who's gonna be able to come out on top as they do get ready to spray at each other over there towards B. See a cycle creep up.
Oh dia
from
keren
line three,
lah
working
sih.
his way into B main. Munchkin
Way
eats his
gaming
damage
namanya
there.
cuy.
Monyet just gonna be sitting on the boom bot. No one's got situated there in wine.
Get some one step closer to that
Pasti lah
thrash.
siap.
And they could
Gak
try
ikut
to
udah gua
bring
chat
that
belum
back
balas.
over towards the B side as well. I mean, PRX, they've already accomplished their mission here in the very
Like-nya
beginning of the
jangan
round.
lupa guys,
Disrupt A
like.
main control.
Ya nggak
That
sih,
keeps
like.
them guessing on the A
Eh,
side, and now
tersaidak, main freak.
Lockett doing the scouting, Meteor doing the killing. Good opening kill.
Mainnya
we found
3A,
here for
2B,
Genji. They get themselves to the
GenG.
board in this bonus
Oh, ini
round.
kayaknya mau split B deh.
Clock running down below a minute now.
Larang bot harus dihancurin
Seems like
dulu.
ultimately PRX do want to end up over here on this B site. Alarm bot giving that early warning here.
Yeah, but without the full 5, slow down just a bit, trying to set up for the pitch
Bawa
from
bom
main.
davai.
Prowler wingman
Oh.
sent out. Lockett able to
Oh
find
gila
another
lagi
kill
main
here on the
Odin
B
cok.
side. Meteor as well. Now
Anjir, kena
down
molly.
something. Monyet will fall. He manages to find the second elimination. Spike down.
Cahaya 1 lawan 3 bisa sih. Ada ulti plan.
Have to ace clutch. Tap on the spike.
Ada granat juga.
Oh, he's
Hear
more
that it's
focused.
not held.
Yeah, he's more focused on taking down weapons rather than the spike.
Plan dulu nggak sih Cah?
Now he's gonna
Let them
stick
get
it.
closer. He doesn't
Langsung
have
lihat kiri
showstopper
Cah.
online now.
Cah ready Cah?
As
Ya
he's
udah nggak
behind
bisa
the
jalan
box,
Cah.
Munchkin able to take him
Megang
down.
pisau.
So 2 players lost. GenG retains
Soalnya
3
udah
weapons and get themselves on the board.
Yeah, one of those rounds where it doesn't feel so bad for
Udah
either
nge-fake
side.
sekali, udah
Lockett
pasti nempel.
playing
Udah
heroics there with the
ketengah orang.
Odin, just making
Anjir.
sure that
Gua
PRX can't
jadi
play their
netizen sorry ya
classic
cuy.
W gaming style.
Pada yang
Meteor
marah.
with good coverage too, all the way from backside, or rather towards their spawn, able to create that crossfire. Of course, a lot of delay on the nanoswarm, even picking up the kill onto something. Not
Ngopi dulu cuy,
quite sure
ngopi.
what happened there. But this is, I mean, all the way through the paranoia as well, just knowing that you have the crossfire ready to go.
Iya kopi kentut naga, makanya di botol. Borane cumbia.
But we saw yesterday just how rowdy GenG can get on that stage.
Oh ada trash,
More ways, I'm
trash.
sure that we're going to be seeing that energy
Mau ulti nih.
spiking up. For now, has been a slow start for
Iya.
Caron.
Yo kena recon. Oh.
Up on the top.
Ini.
They didn't quite catch the fact
PRX,
that the jet had
PRX.
flown right over the thrash. And this seems to be something that GenG has kind of read through. PRX,
Kopi
whenever they
kentut
get that
naga
thrash
ini.
on any map they use the Gecko, they will use it right off the bat just to get some map control. And then
Nggak
they'll
tahu,
happily
kopi
rotate
nggak ada
to the other
mereknya.
side. When you have that updraft, you can really fake them out.
Still double stacking in this position and Texture. Yep. Then he wasn't on the board. Now finds himself with 2 kills. Mind Freak pushing in from 3. However,
Gelo. Gelo cuy tembakan mereka. Gelo. Wey, tekstur jago banget jir.
4K to tie things up at 2-2.
All he needed was a bit of setup in this round to get that first kill, and then he gets going.
Jago banget
You
beliau,
love to have
cok.
a duelist like that. I love the setup that GenG brings against this Thrash. Obviously, we've seen plays like that before, not necessarily against the Thrash, but this is perfect because the Gecko
Dia
only has the
dapat
vision through that
motivasi
Thrash
yang
ultimate, so once it ends, you're kind of
gokil
wondering,
kayaknya
did
dah.
that play happen or not? They tried to time the pitch in with a showstopper from Link,
Di
but
GenG.
Texture's just ready for it. And he's
Bayi,
playing like he's
sumpah
straight
bayi
up.
banget tekstur
And there's the
anjing.
energy we were talking about.
Bocah tai.
Still investment coming in though for PRX. Stingers, and this does put a couple of the players quite low on cash.
Karena ntar smoke. Oh, smoke di tengah-tengah situ
really has
ya.
to be considered a bit of a force here on this 5th round.
Smoke dari kemarin.
Don't win this one out, you're gonna have to reconsider some of those broken buys in the future.
Harusnya tahu sih.
That 0 point going to be
Tahu
very
sih
nicely
bakal
timed
mau
by
ke shot.
pretty much everybody on the side of PRX. 3 players going to be caught on that as they try to push their way through, but through the smoke, Munchkin just going to be able to find Forsaken.
Ini setapan yang kemarin dipakai ini.
Now spotted here at back Gen.
Ayo Cah, kejar Cah, kejar Cah. Aduh, ada granat manja gitu. Gelo tekstur. Gelo! Wah, tekstur. Wah, tekstur ini orang sih
I mean, he just knows that
bahaya
he's meant to
Ji.
be the one picking
Semua
up
di
all these
kepala-kepalain
frags.
coy.
Munchkin's buying time gives him the call. That they saw Monyet get into the side and another 4
Jago banget
kills for
Phantomnya.
Texture. 8 kills in 2
Phantomnya
rounds.
jago banget.
What an unreal catch up. He saw Monyet
Cok.
up in that chart and he said,
Wajar banget. PRX
Now he
kalah
is
anjir.
3-2.
Wow.
GenG in the
Timenya
lead. Looks like
gokil.
already a timeout call getting ready
Nih
to come through.
baru
Not
tekstur yang
surprised,
kelihatan
especially with the buy that we just had.
bantai-bantai nih.
Munchkin just spraying through
Kemarin
the smoke.
pas
I've
lawan
never
DRX
seen this
ada
change
Karon,
from
ada
Texture
Meteor,
as close as
ada
possible
Munchkin.
into these sites
Semuanya
before they
menyalajan,
start their actual
Cok.
execute. So really denying that possibility. After the first one, he's like, oh yeah, this feels common enough. Just calm down on the 4K.
Oh, baru sadar ya.
And there we go.
Ada 2 player X GE ya di final ya.
Slow this down a little bit, maybe slow the momentum
Satu
from
monyet,
Texture as well.
satu tekstur.
I mean, you have to consider the impact that timeouts can have outside
Kata
of the
Cahya,
server as well. Sometimes
anjing nih
one
orang jago
player
banget.
seeing
Kemarin
them
di
too much. We've
ketim
seen
sama gua
coaches talk
buah
about it
soek.
time and again. Alex has showcased it time and
Gak,
time again
soalnya
in this tournament, back at the
pas di
ADL as well, when
GE
side
kemarin
players
dia nggak
popping
full
off on
gen,
that
nggak full
sunset map.
duelist.
Calls of back-to-back timeouts really
Soalnya
slows
ada,
down the
tahu
tempo
lah
now.
siapa.
GenG, they've been on the receiving end of this against multiple teams even throughout this kickoff. And given the energy they showed
Ada
on
Jet.
stage, I don't know if it's going to be
Ada
enough
best
to
Jet.
cool off the primary duelist in Texture.
Ada lah siapa.
So consistent. I mean, maybe a handful of times those first couple matches that we were seeing.
Lah
from
kok
GenG
Kroco
where
ini mas.
when it did go to that map
Bangsat
for
Kroco dari
here,
mana
like,
cok.
slouch a little
Jago
bit, but the
anjir
rest of the team
GenG.
was rising to the occasion to kind of
Yang
try
line
and
up ini
compensate
jago-jago.
for that impact. But I mean, after yesterday, it was just
Ada guard, makanya dia mainnya nggak full duelist, ada inisiator, bukan tipikal tekstur kayaknya.
Someone please carry us through and then I'll get right back into it in the next half. Comms like that, you love to hear from a team that had so much trouble finding the right ingredients around
Tuh
themselves
liat,
as players.
mampus lu anjay.
okay. Well, Forsaken
Banyakin tuh nembak-nembak.
bringing that reign of terror to
Turunin.
an end as Texture does get taken down. 0 point to 9. He's a bit of that utility, spotting out 3 players. Mind Freak still lurking around outside of B main, just tucked away. The drone won't be able to spot him.
Kayaknya Dave nggak ketahuan deh.
Oh, they don't spot Meteor. This is huge because the pinch might get slowed down by the
Go far
Killjoy.
enough.
Wah,
Got enough
anjing.
damage across. Forsaken gonna be taken out.
Apaan sih?
Alarmbot trigger might have actually caught
Bangke
him.
lah.
Karon
Nih
gonna be
tuh
able to
Karon
find
udah
two.
muncul tuh. Dengan
After a
Vandal
good start,
champion
Mind
dia.
Texture getting rid of the
Tai
spear
lah, jago
right off
banget,
the rip,
Cok.
simply down to Mind Freak and Divide. They were working some miracles yesterday. Can they
Miss
deliver some
dikit
more?
mati coy.
The answer is going to be no. Divide just stuck out here outside of A main.
And this is the trouble that PRX
Sorry Arya, muka kuda.
this match as Munchkin gets another kill through the smoke once again.
The 0 point didn't even go off.
He was just ready for it. He's just ready for a reaction with
Ada
these free
info
fires. I
sih
mean, this is where
mereka.
that experience comes in for someone like Munchkin. But GenG, there are no slouches when it comes down to these 1v1 duels. So PRX can't just get away with trying to create a distraction one side and then just push as one force step by step into another area. They're going to get craftier. They're going to have the aim to fire back. I mean, Meteor hiding from that Prowler was everything.
Gewangjen.
Bigging up each other on that team.
Apa
I mean,
tuh?
some
Kena terus
wondered, including
smoke.
myself, if the players would kind of get along even, given the history they have and the egos they might have from the pride that they've built up
Detect
throughout
eye.
their careers, but they are
Yang
getting
kayak gini nih.
along just fine.
Itu ya kemarin siapa
Around the
duelistnya
Oh boy.
T1 Taya player ya.
Would have spotted him just
Kalau main
yet.
kalau mainnya agrek
Still
kayak
does
gitu
get
tuh
tagged, down to 25 HP.
baru anjir
Rotate
menang
back
T1
around
kemarin.
towards Gelato, joining with the rest of the
Champion
rest of
udah
the
nggak ada
squad.
sistem regional sekarang
We'll
buat
have to
masuk
hand off that
champion pakai
Guardian to
sistem
somebody
poin.
who's a bit
Juara
sturdier on the
Pasifik plus
HP bar.
3 poin. Ibaratkan
Yeah,
divisi
the
data.
anchor
Iya,
here. The paranoid
makanya
buys enough time for all
butuh
of them
juara.
to arrive.
Meteor, he does get in, but he's get dizzy, but now he
Gelo.
backs away and the kill starts.
Gelo tuh lihat tuh Karun tuh.
Down trade. All they can get so far.
Pala semua
One
anjing.
kill onto the enemy Killjoy.
Makanya harus juara cok di sini
Player
walaupun
getting
ke
tagged up
Madrid
right off the rip by the operator.
butuh poin soalnya. buat ke champion nanti.
He's had some
Aaron
amazing
gila banget
clutches
anjing.
yesterday, but with 25 HP and a Guardian, you have to imagine he has to save for the next 40 seconds, at which point, GenG, there's nothing stopping him from going on the hunt, especially for
Ang
Lotta.
binatang nih, newspaper anjing, newspaper. Oh, dia namanya newspaper Rex nanti kali ya.
Mindfreak will swing in, Texture will get the shot, and GenG will continue.
Gila coy, 5-2 gini anjir.
It's impressive how many moments like this, like Karen has in his very first BCT tournament. Yeah, he played one event in the offseason at Convergence, but even there, you know, it took a little bit
itu
more.
selalu
Yeah,
ada
he had
sih.
some individual
Skornya
moments, but it
berapa
was a
juga.
very short-lived event for the squad of GenG. And head coach Solo talks about how he thinks, yeah, all these maps at the really benefited someone like Karon, and he is fitting right in onto the stage. He's been starving for an opportunity like this.
Ya, kita lihat aja nih. Ntar kita lihat aja hasil matchnya. Ya elah. Mulai nggak sih coy? Coy, final masa technical issue.
I mean, even PRX might be in the game, but this isn't like a
Masa
T-Rex
udah hari terakhir loh.
The pause ends up going away. So it is in fact going to be a tech pause.
Tech pause
Literally everyone.
Males banget gua, kuring banget, kuring. PC itu lagi jangan-jangan. PC-nya kemarin si Rossi. Siapa tuh, Aaron ya? Enggak ya? Bukan PC Aaron ya? Apa PC Aaron? PC siapa, Cok? Kemarin yang si Rossi bermasalah kan? Audio isu. Ada aja lo nambah lo. Kontrol.
Our old friend rearing its ugly head once more.
Alright, well, we'll see if it gets sorted out
Kalau
quick
kita
enough.
lihat
Talk
ini
about
ya,
the match so far, though.
kan belum mulai
5-2
tuh.
lead on a
Yang
comeback
terakhir
from GenG
kemarin
after
ketemu.
losing the pistol round. So,
Nih.
so far, this is one of those maps that's looking like you got the pistol, but what more did you make of it, right? You got the two rounds that you're
Aaron
supposed to
melawan
get with the pistol.
Aaron.
Obviously, the pistol won off the back
Tuh,
of
masih
some
menang
nice shots
Aaron,
at
Cok.
a really fast tempo, as PRX often does. But then, once the buys
Menang
came in
Aaron.
from GenG, they just
Nih
fire right back.
di Breeze tuh Aaron menang. Tuh menang Lotus, menang semua Aaron. Masih jago Aaron lah. Kalau dibandingin Karen sama Kaco, lu lihat tuh ya. Kabar.
A very long time since there's been any kind of real belief in GenG. You know, not since the 4-0 start and then the insane fall off at the beginning of Pacific last year.
Anggap aja gua ini ya. Anggap aja gua Davai tuh. Masih menang gua tuh. Ini seri lah, gua kasih seri lah.
Wasn't able to get through some of the matches that everyone expected that he would win at Ascent. Is this going to work? They have Karon. Who is this guy? But I mean, they have made their names known.
Yes, and I was part of that group that was doubting this team. I mean, sure, a story of redemption sounds great, but that's all on paper. I felt like maybe all of them had enough chances. And now
util kayu terus biar nggak bisa cepet.
PRX.
Ayo Ca, sikat Ca.
See if they can get themselves back into this game here in round.
Cahya udah dapat amen. Udah dapat amen tadi, udah kontrol enak. Wah gila, diagresifin terus lo Aaron.
Time Mindfreak getting away unscathed.
Yeah, but something like that really puts a damper on PRX.
Ambil orb nih pasti nih.
Are they ready for the Odin backup though? Prowler comes out.
Prowler coming in.
Ya, mampus kalau GenG. Mampus lu di ulti. Oh, kena cuy. Oh, kena deh. Lu lihat Karon anjing. Oh, mampus lu. Aaron nih, Bos. Bukan Karon.
Joko baru saja mengirimkan dukungan 10.000. Ini baru Pasifik gimana pas championnya malu gak si Korea Block.
Oh ya, jangan marah-marah ya Joko ya. Thank you donasi. Lu lihat tuh. Counter Karon hanya Aaron, Cok.
There's absolutely a possibility.
Oh, dipisah, Cok. Gak kena. Gak kena anjir. Kena pisau. Lah, itu melayang vandalnya. Gila hampir coy. Itu kenapa vandalnya melayang gitu anjir?
Barely so.
Ini loh guys.
of the Thrash. Sure, a nice triple swing to take out what they thought was the operator. In fact, it ended up being the Odin and the Sova. But then the Thrash, I mean, you get the detain onto the Jet, and Karon's just there for backup. What a guy to have as a bodyguard on the side of Texture. And Meteor, I don't mind the timing. He's trying to just make sure Texture can stay alive for just a bit longer. Misses, obviously, the kill just fast enough, but he's dwindling the numbers down for a potential clutch.
Straight back into it.
Late storm push out mid.
5 ults available.
Oh, ini push.
One already popped as the knives are in. Texture.
Wah, gila. Dikomboin ulti Sova lagi. Wah, ulti Sova busuk, Jing. Itu gila banget, Cok, bisa begitu. Taktiknya bagus, ada flash Oman, ditambahin flash Kayo, ulti Sova. Gila agresifnya. Samperin, Cok. Ya, kelihatan. Aduh, TP manja. Gelo. Udah crossfire, Cok, mereka. Jadi dia bikin agresif, maju, tapi tetap ramein A. Gak ada Discord watch party, sepi banget, sendirian bang, udah biasa bang, bilang. Mereka suka ini kayaknya dah. Something suka skin gosong kayaknya. Gila coy. Time out Lotus Alex ngomongin apa nih?
Yeah, they went on to win the map, but I mean it was multiple overtime resets and it was damn close. This is a very bold attempt here from the side of Alex, but he's just not liking what he's seeing and is expecting to have more success on this attacking side.
And I do appreciate the style of timeout from Alex. Really, just as soon as he has enough to say, he calls for it. You can see he's not stopping. He's not missing a beat here. And oftentimes it brings results. Is it always going to be the safest and wisest way to call timeouts? Maybe not. But if it works for your players, and if you have trust that in a best of series that's going to be a long haul, that you want to correct things as soon as they go wrong, then I don't mind it at all. The real question is GenG, their timeouts have been quite successful this tournament as well. I had my doubts on the coordination between Solo and HSK. Of course, Solo joining a bit late into the off-season, but so far they seem to be on the same page. PRX with another weak buy here.
That's Hero Rifle in the hands of Devi. Sheriffs across the board aside from something. Otherwise, does have that class. Some serious work yesterday. Prowler, check forward, lock, yeah. Get caught by the squad. Big man gonna be cleared out.
Wah, najis, lihat. Wow, masih dapat 2. Mampus lu anjing keluar. Waduh, si Karon kontil ini loh. Gila, dia tembakannya tuh presisi banget anjir. Kayak crispy chicken bite gitu, Cok. Pakai Vandal Champion. Dia mainnya tap-tap.
Sat here in market.
Banget, Cok.
Texture swung around to alley. And if he tries to push out, he's going to be giving
Beliau sih ada main. Oh iya, Maria lagi watch party. Takut terberisikin gua banget, coy, mainnya. Apa? Lihat pisaunya, pisau kartun, Cok. Karun binatang, Cok, newspaper ini anjing. Lu lihat tuh, tadinya di bawah kill 2. Kill 0 malah, 11 sekarang killnya.
Lakia just dwindling down 2 is enough. It slows him down, gives an opportunity for Karon to find these 1v1s. And how many rounds is that where Karon's had a multi-kill? I gotta say, I think probably all of his kills coming from 2 or 3 Ks back to back as well.
Keeping pace with Texture.
Nggak, Lakia bukan Vision Striker. Lakia itu dulu Nutun. Dia pernah ke DRX. Tapi nggak main. Jadi cadangan. Pas kan PS dulu pernah dikalahin tuh sama Nutun ya. Nah, Lakianya diambil waktu itu. Lakianya jago banget ke DRX, tapi dia dijadiin cadangan. Ayo monyet, Cah, satu lagi, Cah. Cah, satu lagi, nggak mungkin kalah, Cah, sumpah.
takes him down, and suddenly it's a 2v2. The spike uncovered by this pit. Aaron falls. Unbreaking will find it. The spray coming in, but
Nice!
just lead mine
Nice
to
run,
his target.
anjing.
Locky goes down. PRX looking to rescue this half. Potential 7-5.
Yeah, a little bit of an unfortunate round there for GenG because they had their
Cok,
own lockdown.
kalau
as
di
well.
rank
It looked
Cahya
like
nggak
most of the
pernah
team was on
kalah
board
kayak gitu,
to
Cok.
empty the site for a
Kenapa
potential
bisa
fight
kalah,
ball.
Cok?
Texture just thinking he could get away with a greedy kill and dash out into market.
Gedein dikit
Forcing
di
it
sini,
taken down, and
di
that's
gua udah
gonna
gede
straight all
banget.
the way onto Meteor, and the plan falls apart. But if they can get back up to 8, they should be okay for the second half. Thrash online now, though.
Jangan nge-jing.
See if GenG's
Jingnya
ready
lagi
for
buat
this
Sparty
time.
kah? Sore coach, Dawa! Dawa, nobar ya. Nobar dulu Dawa.
Rush play outside of A.
Biar kita banyak ilmu ya Dawa ya.
Eyes set on B.
Ilmu pari bosku.
Odin. Thrash is going to be coming in. Recon does get destroyed, and Thrash not going to be able to make the jump. Sees connecting.
Mampus lu di ebol lu ya Lakia. Dua orang udah buta, Cok.
Dah!
Dah! Allah ya boy, bisa gitu nggak crosshair-nya? Keren. Cok, ini harus bunuh cepet, Cok, backstance-nya. Kalau nggak busuk ini. PRX. Lu lihat tuh ngocor. Nong dong. Bagus. Nice. Santingnya ngejagain CT ngocor. Diam lo, ilmu beras bosku. Makin lama Oke, 57 udah oke. Nice Jing, coach. Iya. Kenapa jadi omongan gua nge-jinx itu ya? Mulai menyala abangku. Hehehe. Ini bahasa Jepang kan? Kanji. Kalau Korea tadi apa cuy? Hangul. Nah ini apa Korea? Angeul. Anjing keren banget, Cok. Omen ya, Omen PRX win. Keren banget, Cok, gambarnya. Angel. Hancur muka lu gila ya. Cuma aja yang tadi Jepang gak sih? Orang Jepang itu, Cok. Emang iya, wet. Laki MVP ayo. Lu tahu, Angel Korea. Lu orang Korea ya? Korea kan lu? Ada yang cakep itu, hei, fokus ke gambar-gambar sama tulisannya Severino. Ya, bisa ke muka wanita coba. Kepala gue nyut-nyutan gara-gara ngomong mulu, jadi hilang dah sih. Tadi gue bangun nyut-nyutan. Sore, Anggar bagus. Biar membership gak sih, coy? Biar ijo-ijo. Enggak yang bisa ini lah, if membership. Bukan IG secepatnya. Ini asteris. Follow ya guys. Itu real tuh reconnya tuh, begitu tuh. Albertus Ramsky kentot naga, lu aja gak join. Aduh, cah. Woi. Texture, Kimnara. Bangke bisa bunuh sendiri gitu. Solo solo action gitu. Apakah Karan singkatan dari kacau Aaron? Wah. Jadi maksud lu gua sama Aaron?
Penonton baru saja mengirimkan dukungan 50.000. Ngopi BG kacau.
Oke, ngopi penonton, thank you ya. Ini udah ada kopinya aman. Si Adel nggak tahu orang skuy. Belum balas. Jadi maksud lu dua orang gua sama Aaron, satunya Karon. GG dong Karon. Lagi GG dia. Langsung bunuh dia. Mau join yang Ki Adel aja soalnya sering stream. Kentot naga. Gue juga sering. Kan gue harus latihan. Kalau weekend gue udah pasti stream, tenang aja.
Something, of course, someone who's capable of it. But what a great fake sell from GenG, sending both of your initiator and all that utility all the way up through mid. You send this.
Kan gue latihan untuk bermain di Pasifik untuk ngebantai GenG. Tenang aja. Di sini nggak ada Abel. Ada Abel, mau nggak? Abel Cobra mau lu? Ada tuh Abel Cobra versi light. Ntar gue panggilin dah si Paldi. Pal, Abel Cobra.
Just going to be sticking with these classics. One sheriff in the hands of Mind Freak.
And this is a nice play by PRX because this is that screen that they often like to use for a retake onto B. They'll pinch in.
Apa gue nah tuh Abel Cobra.
Try to utilize that toxic screen for a nice pinch. Just trying to sell the fact that they're not here, but no info now. They want to start dwindling it down.
Kok bisa nembak turretnya anjing? Najis banget jing. Ngebak kah? Itu udah disemok loh. Tadi sempat cut.
Killjoy player in that position.
Gue lihat PRX ini kalau pistol mulu. Iya ya, kenapa ya? Untuk naga. Enggak, tadi menang pas dia attack menang. Udah keluar sebelum nutup ya smoke-nya ya.
Seems like GenG just have such a strong read on it. 0 point they go check towards heaven.
Kalau main final kayak gini menurut pengalaman lu kerasa lama nggak bang? Enggak lah. Kalau skornya cepet mah. Gila ini tekstur anjing. Apa nih gayanya? Gila tekstur.
I mean, this esports thing doesn't work out, Texture. You can join the circus. Fantastic juggling.
Tekstur coy.
It's things like that where you start to notice that GenG's really in it for the victory. They really want to get this.
Selamat sore Bang Nandari Jana. Weh.
Little things like that could
sore Deka
towards a map win.
Iya. Dark Knight ya. Dapat anjing senjatanya, iya makanya oper-operan umpan lambung gitu coy.
Still so much firepower available to GenG, but Odin now brought into the fold by Forsaken on the opposite side of the map.
Flash pick nggak sih? This time nggak sih flash? Pick! Wah cahaya busuk sih. Cahaya apes banget cok. Dia lagi mau dapat momen ngepick orang ambil ord di spray jadi pelan jalannya cok. Udah sekarat bae anjing. Wah GenG sih lagi harinya kah? Dari orang yang selalu dikacangin. Sore Bang Victor, mana aku nggak pernah kacangin Bang Victor. Aturan skor kayak ini. GenG. Itu mending main Ayoden aja nanti. Babi Argi, kenapa jadi main Ayoden Gi?
See if he's wise to this. Little wary of the catwalk,
Warnet
but not quite down on the grass.
Oh, the timing jumps away.
Ini GenG lagi meledak, iya meledak buah.
Munchkin's gonna try to sell fake.
Ayo something.
Once again.
He's gonna do his damnedest. Moniet in position here.
Yang gini-gini najis nih coy. Dia maju ke short. Terus Jason kena ciduk. Aran ciduk balik Ran. Ya. Wah Munchkinnya nggak kebaca sih. Ran. Time to shine gak sih? Oh di skip ya kemarin ya. Wow! Gila! Belum. Yang tadi lupakan. Ada Aaron. Entot nih manusia, sumpah. Ya Allah, jago banget, Cok. Jago banget. Itu nggak jelas. Wah, cahaya sih busuk loh. Lagi di support sama Omen di terus mau sampai sekarat. Lagi Satchel di one tap. Aduh.
Them starting to flood back to the A side, then a brilliant triple kill, and then Texture to clutch it on a bonus. This is everything you could hope for. If GenG doesn't close this map
balik
out,
lagi tekstur pas di GE nggak full potensial deh, kurang kayaknya gajinya coy. Harusnya lu yang turun ya. Suk Minang kirim down si Padang. Nice something, mantap. Gila. Gue baru mau nyebut itu. Kalau gue baca itu wahai anjir.
trying to push this. He does have a bulldog.
Iya.
And Meteor at 11
Vibes-nya
HP.
kurang ya.
Severely
Dia
disadvantaged here.
vibes-nya full
They're gonna back
kalau
away and miss each other there in the end, but Karen pushing up into bench. Taking down something.
gas alamat. Real nggak?
Back over to GenG as Lakia is here, sat outside.
Dawa, masih ada Dawa nih. Dawa nggak main futsal Dawa.
Yeah, they should be able to go over to B. Meteor heard the exit from B main. You got the kill in mid as well, so you know that Forsaken was pretty pressured on the B side.
Nice, Davai.
Great timing from Davai, swinging
Nice
out right
fight.
before that ping would come down. Catches Lakia completely off guard.
Futsal.
Finds
Bola,
the
bola.
punish, keeps things close as well as recovering a
Futsal
weapon.
sih. Real ngap. Kamu bisa dari Bandung.
It'd be wise to just tuck in somewhere, make sure that you can cut off the backup.
Wih,
Get some
Rascal.
info. They're a little scared because Meteor's so low.
Main dong, mantap Dawa. Ya, diperintilin satu-satu, Cok. Halo Kaniki. 3 monitor gimana Kaniki? Gak jago gue. Madun kah dah? Tendangan Madun kah?
Yeah,
Di mana sih?
team members, they can watch
Jakarta.
every single possible entrance. It doesn't matter if the mind games are here or not.
Yes. Kalau tahu
Go for
coach
shadow step here.
tahu lah Dawa.
Smoke right away. Doesn't want to take any risks.
Masa Dawa, gua nggak tahu. Crosshair gini.
Meteor does remain standing at the end of
Kaniki,
it. 11
kopi
HP and
lu
11 round wins. GenG.
ada nggak daerah Jakbar Kaniki?
Ascent in dominant fashion.
And
Enak itu.
finally, an operator comes online for PRX, but it just might
Pasti
be
kopi lu
too
pasti
late.
enak banget
What
itu.
GenG's been doing here is really just shutting down the possible
Di itu ya,
compositional
di
advantages that
Bekasi ya.
PRX is looking for. I mean, they have so many
Gas gue di
ways where they
BSD.
can really
Iya, Suk.
initiate this
Lu nggak di
attrition.
Bandung lagi.
of all
Ada
that utility.
merit kah? Dewanjay.
And they just have, I mean, GenG just has the counters to it. Obviously, this composition, the classic composition on Ascent, it's good for a reason.
Oke Kaniki, amin Kaniki. Sumpah kalau lu buka di Jakbar gue beli terus itu. Gue nggak ada beli kopi ngasal-ngasalan Kaniki. Gue jadi langganan Kaniki.
And as Meteor plants this, that's also going to give him a lockdown.
Masa runner up lagi? Enggak, baru game 1 Cok. PO5 tenang aja. Emang pick mapnya as. GenG juga kok.
Try to get this retake going, but now it's just
Paling minta
that tempo
spawn.
lockdown coming through.
You have to flood it.
Gonna have to try to rush, break this one down.
Chaos, chaos.
There, Knives coming back through though, Lockheed with the covering fire, able to take out Munyat. They got the lockdown, but they've lost the war.
Cok, Kim Nara nih jago banget, Cok.
Something last one standing. The off able to find one. The rush. Click. Texture takes him down, draws up the weapon, but Karen's already claimed the kill. GenG.
Ini BO5 ya.
Now at map point.
Gila Kim
Texture
Nara,
pretty
Cok.
much asking how big's your mouse pad something because you ain't flicking for this
219.
one. Shuts him down.
Even the high sense not going to save you there.
Coy.
My gosh. And I think one of the things that might be, I mean, sure they face against each other in Group C, but one thing that really...
Dia main bola tapi pakai jersey tim sebelah, coach maaf ya.
You just haven't
Kena
seen a Korean
kartu
squad
kuning
play
lu
for
ya.
contact like this.
Dawa
They just
pakai
create for
jersey.
these duels and they're not backing away from it.
Jersey alter lah.
Confidence right now is just something that is so
Kayak
dangerous
gini
that
nggak
PRX
dikasih
has to
jet
deal
di
with,
tim
but breaking the
sebelumnya.
confidence of GenG has proven to be
Iya Kak, makanya.
for every single team
Malah
that's
di
faced
tim
them thus
sebelumnya
far.
tuh dia main flex, inisiator, nggak full duelist soalnya ada titipan owner, nggak bisa diganggu itunya. Duelistnya. Gelo. Gelo percaya banget Manskin Cok sama temennya nembakin itu. Gila Kia ya. Harusnya buta itu sih. Dapat spek tuh, dapat spek. Ya Allah. Kim Nara bongkar-bongkar kah? Astaga. Gila jago banget Jir.
13-5, GenG showing up to play.
Hah? Tekstur kebelet anjing cepirit kan dia coy. Tekstur langsung cabut bukan tos-tosan. Cepirit deh.
This unconventional no duelist competition at Sunset, that's what shut them down. But GenG comes back and says, now we've got some tape on you. We've got all the warm-up we need. Even Karon has now gotten used to the stage.
Langsung. Nih, satu ini. Kalian mainnya misa-misa banget. Kalian nggak ada tujuan mau ngapain. Langsung di ini Cok. Padahal tante agak lah. Cair lah GenG. Game 2. Air kita. Ya iklannya copyright coy, anjing langsung busuk. Menit lagi. Ada otaknya. Kagak gebrak meja juga kah? Belum tahu, nanti lihat situasi ya. Kalau Valdi soek nih, kalau Valdi menjadi Valdi Cobra baru nih. Yang masih Valdi Navian, gua kagak gebrak meja. Ya
Mixed
jadi
style of
Valdi
GenG.
Cobra
Isn't that
baru.
standard Korean style, especially with players like Munchkin there, who are just pushing their way through to the spawn to his opponents and just tearing them apart.
That round is like, it's reminiscent of what we saw in PRX versus EG in that Finals of Champions. You know, these deep lurks that PRX somehow just doesn't quite expect, especially down
banget
mid.
ininya kalau per map
They have the aggression, you know, they got the early contact, they continue to pushing through it, and Texture is someone who, I don't know how he gets those tailwinds. The timing of it, the way he dodges some of these utilities sometimes, it's just too darn good.
Yeah.
It's crazy. There's a lot of them hanging around spawn area, and that's where PRX tends to go down. Munchkin with that guardian
per
tap.
skillnya aja GenG.
That sent shivers down my spine. That was
Ya pos plan 5/5. Berarti berhasil semua pos plannya. PRX ada yang ke diffuse pos plannya. Nah itu tuh, Valdin Cobra.
Really take much mid control. They leave it pretty well open. Sometimes Haya's player is there, of course, to try to, use the op or whatever, but for the most part, it's left open, and it is not the case at all for GenG. They are going to try to punish the weaknesses in your defenses, and they absolutely did it. They're like to a treat.
I mean, the thing that stands out to me the most, if you take a look at the bottom of your screen right now, is
map kedua tadi apa sih?
On the GenG's defensive half. Because, PRX wants to start out strong on attack. That's kind of their whole game plan. That's what this composition is about. You got Raze, you got Gekko, you're trying to break things open, especially off of that Dizzy. However, GenG has clearly figured it out. There were times
Yoru lagi kah?
that PRX repeatedly tried to pull off. Texture gets an early pick. They are set up, they've stacked up on the site. You have I can't remember if it was like Munchkin or Lakia, but someone hiding in the corner of A site, just right outside of A main, and they're just preemptively
Aaron melawan Aaron, coy.
that Dizzy that gets sent out. So no matter what PRX throws at them, they always get numbers advantage. They're ready to receive contact, and GenG just shows that they have that preparation. And apart from that, I mean, yes, MVP is Texture, but can we talk about Karen for a second? There were some of these rounds where he picks up impact frags, just holding Boathouse on B site by himself.
Jason
1v2 clutches, 1v
something monyet.
He just does
Semua
so
kalah. Dave nggak pernah ketemu Karen,
so
Cok.
confident right now. Solo was saying in his interview, because of all these games that have been happening, in a way, Karen has leveled up.
Karen matinya mau tekstur mulu, berarti di entry mulu dia.
In 1 week, by the time you get to this one, you're probably super warm, and nothing's gonna throw you at this point.
Yeah, and Alex touched on this
Bagi
in his pre-match
tahunnya
interview.
kayaknya ya
He
GenG
was
ya.
saying like sometimes it's a blessing and a curse to have to play that many games. Like on the one hand, your opponents are going to have a lot of tape, and that's where PRX has to lean into. Right? They have to say we have an idea of what they're going to do. This was different today. This was a GenG that I haven't quite seen just yet.
Lu lihat,
but
coy.
also on the other hand, your opponent's going to be warmed up. They're going to be comfortable on stage, especially with a rookie like Karon there, able to get that experience under his belt to really understand.
Coy, setengahnya juga kagak anjir. Masih kurang dari setengah ACS-nya. Cahaya sama tekstur.
Get GenG this far with their just determination, their mental grit, things like that are really starting to pay dividends.
Dari mana uangnya? Doain aja yang main ya tahun ini ya. Dimasuk franchise tahun ini ya.
I'm trying to think of a way to put this.
Jadi ntar ke Korea bukan nonton tapi main. Lihat, Cok. Nyampe setengahnya juga kagak, anjir. Nih, kill per round-nya semuanya div. Amin, gitu dong guys. Ya nggak tahu.
Is so fearsome to deal with. He could set up individually for himself. You saw that top mid play where he turned that flash.
Itu namanya div GE
So,
kan?
I mean, things like that he's able to pull out, taking a page out of something's book. To be honest, we saw that last year. So like those kind of plays that he has in the bank, on top of playing pretty well off of his teammates, and his teammates support him. We saw a lot of teamwork, in that final round. Meteor there swings into.
Cah, mudah-mudahan lu.
Yeah, I mean, it's Texture
Mudah-mudahan lu nggak terlalu fokus dengan komen-komen netizen ya. Coba kita cek. Lu tetap fokus dengan game lu ya, Cah ya. Emang berat buat ngegantiin posisi Jing, tapi lu pasti bisa lebih lah. Kita harus semangatin teman kita ya, Cahaya ya. Nah, itu ini yang tuh komen-komen. Tuh lihat tuh, monyet, go crazy and paper. Is the problem. Ini orang-orang kayak gini coy. Bisa bawa cigaret coba. Banyakin live makanya bang. Iya cowok. Saya harus fokus sih. Harus dapat mental boost dulu deh coy.
Well, the next map, I mean, the triple duelist comp?
Sure, why not? I mean, look, it got over the line yesterday. I mean, if it isn't for a few key moments, right? That
Emang ada opsi lain ya buat gantiin Jing selain? Gak tahu sebenarnya. Harusnya ada aja ya. Maksud gua, Cahaya dimasukin untuk main duelis. Sebenarnya kalau butuh duelis, ya karena performa Cahaya di GE jago banget dia, makanya dia diajak. Gue kalau jadi PRX ngeliat Cahaya di GE kemarin sih, masih Cahaya yang diambil coy. Kenapa gedek-gedek gini anjing? Dari streamnya apa gue ya?
Yes, we've seen PRX. They got that triple duelist. Very interesting. Maybe they cooked it up like 1 or 2 weeks ago. That's what they said in the interview. But GenG, we've only seen their split once. They played it against RRQ in their
ada Jogomo kemarin kata orang-orang pas EG
and
rungkat.
they had this double duelist composition. Meteor on the jet, Texture on that Raze. And it wasn't the best game for Texture. They actually lost that RRQ 13 to 11. They really struggled on that attack. But the thing is, RRQ had a more, traditional composition. They had that double controller, so I think that's one of the main factors why. If PRX plays triple duelist against a double duelist,
emang
how does that
nge-glitch
work on
gini ya?
defense?
Apa gua
You
sih?
have to really think about how you want to make use of that Euro, and I'm not too sure if they are going to do the same thing again.
Yeah.
Hey.
Assuming if you're GenG and you're assuming that PRX is going to lean in to that triple duelist again, I wouldn't mind seeing something like a double sentinel here from the side of GenG, something to really shut down some of that firepower, to utilize those gaps.
Masih. Ayo.
It's going to be the same thing here.
Let's go PRX. Samain, satu samain.
Frankly, didn't have enough time to really workshop anything. Like it's really tough, of course. With the short amount of time and the insane amount of games that GenG has had to play.
Triple duelist
Efek
for
dulu
PRX.
itu banget cuma kayak
Let's see.
patah-patah babi lu ya.
It did work, but what
Masih
really
3
makes a
duelis.
duelist effective is confidence. It is so important.
Ayo yang mau
And right now we can
tebak-tebakan
see Texture
pasang
was
sebelum
definitely
ditutup ya.
feeling it. Every time the cam was on him, he was
Jangan lupa
screaming,
like-nya,
he was
guys.
singing, he was looking happy.
Minimal 2000 lah like ya.
But he got that like 3K. PRX, they need to feel confident. You have 3 duels. You have no confidence, that's it. All right, let's go into our second game split over to our casters to take us through the action.
Thank you very much. Yes, here we go again. Ladies
Gue
and
tutup
gentlemen,
ya.
tuned into the matches yesterday. First of all, what in the hell were
Detik
you
10
doing?
gue tutup.
Thinking, missing out on those overall blowouts that we had. But you missed the triple duelist debut from PRX, but that's okay. They're bringing it out for you once again. The question is, can they get the win here?
Yeah, and now starting on
Yang
the attacking
poinnya,
side as well. So
aku belum
GenG,
ngasih
they've been
tahu
banning it since that tough
gunanya
loss
poinnya,
against
nanti
RQ,
gue
11
kasih
to
tahu dah.
13, as Ades touched upon. Now they're bringing it back. Now in that
Push
game,
mid.
their defense was, by
Gila,
miles
push
much
mid
stronger.
berempat
So
dia.
trying to just get a head start here on the rounds.
Oh,
And guess
kebeda
what?
sekarang.
PRX, they favor the attack here with this composition as well.
All right, for now, nice and quiet over here at B.
Ambil CT. Mantap. Kontrol CT-nya udah. Alah siapa boy. Retake cepet dia anjir. Mampus. Cahaya map split coy. Cahaya bikin rekor 39 kill di split, jangan macem-macem lu semua ya. Hah?
Aiza. he will fall. To buy the only casualty.
Gimana cara dapetin poin? Nongkrong aja, nongkrong di
Yeah, I
sini.
thought GenG might just be going for the delay there with the paint shells and then take that time to clear out back alley once more, but they kind of initiate the retake immediately. And that actually favors PRX as they've already gotten off of the spike plant. They still have all 5 members available. Still good positions from
Let's go,
within the site.
bantai,
So
bantai,
GenG,
bantai.
see if they kind of reconsider some of those timings, because we know how crazy PRX's post-plant situations can get, especially with Forsaken Juru.
Meteor still going to be picking up that Marshall. He's on the jet. Very standard eco buy from him. Otherwise, Caron ready for some close contact, but something coming in the corner. This is one of the things that we saw he was so damn good at, was shutting down side player snipers, swinging corners with his Vandals, and finding the headshot instantly. So he does it once more here. Start off this round. Mindfreak
Tara,
taking
lihat
back
poin,
a
tanda
bit of
seru
damage,
poin.
but finds the elimination there on the Lakia. Now with Caron making his way over. I think he's going to have to take Lakia's gun because Shorty on the retake.
Nice, flawless kah?
Yeah, good backup from Forsaken as well. So we see that Mindfreak's pretty low, and you don't want to lose those rifles. So Forsaken going down with the Sheriff is fine. You still have 3 rifles that you bought up. Want to try to keep that in play.
Iya,
Here's that.
tukaran senjata dapatnya klasik quick wheel. Yang mentang lu GenG lu ambil pistol klasik bukan seri ya bagus ya. Ayo menangin bonus nih.
Clinch this conversion on the bonus round, or if GenG will be able to get themselves on the board, but really nice hot start there from something Mindfreak with fantastic anchor, just not allowing them to find any presence around this ramp.
Yeah, given the compositions once again and PRX, the record that they had in yesterday's game, I gotta imagine they have to be looking to throw something out of the book and get this bonus round conversion. You want to get as many on the attacking half as possible.
Wow! Di-delete lagi kayak yang tadi.
Swing main, kill player, over at screens.
Oh, satu doang. Oh, digebukin nih something nih udah. Satu digebuk nih. Mau nggak mau, Cok.
Swinging, they're gonna try to double face here.
Clearin dia. Sedih banget ya jadi something ya. Udah masuk side sendiri, coy. Udah bertahan. Oh, nice banget. Ah, kayak gini baru gak apa-apa, gak jadi sedih. Nice, nice. Kayak gini, nice. Ah.
Mindfreak very quickly replies with a kill of his own. Push out. Damage there on him on yet. Cancel on the plan for now. Means the media does manage to find at least one more. But widely, with the teammates coming through, PRX not going to be concerned about their
Let's go, menang bonus.
They convert the bonus and start off 3-0.
I'm a little shocked at how confident Divide was that the Trailblazers didn't see him. I mean, he just knew exactly the angles that it would be able to scout, especially around the toxic screen. I think that's more so what he was banking on. The fact that, of course, when you're right up against that toxic screen, your vision does get blurred a little bit already. And with all that distraction, you know that the site should be weaker, and that's going to be an early timeout. You gotta imagine from the GenG side, finally using one.
Nah, it's Alex just saying, all right, good job, guys.
Yeah, he's like, this time I want to tell you, good job for once.
Keep this up. Just do more of what you're doing. But yeah, I mean, first time out call that we're seeing from the GenG camp, just given how far ahead they were and how much in the driver's seat they were on that opening map, never needed to really pump the brakes. After dropping that bonus, we're talking about what the game plan is going to be. And they're identifying so far. But it's also difficult because at the end of the day, these rounds are starting because something just swings a corner and headshots you.
Yeah, I mean, when you're already down one man, and you know, I was almost going to see PRX not really gaining that much more space after something goes
Di site,
mana, Cok? Bite them back.
Gak menemani
GenG gets a little curious because they
kah?
still don't have as much information either. Of course, they're also running a double duelist here, so not as much util that you're used to having, especially with the sky changes. I am curious if GenG might consider trying not to use the operator too much, right? Don't try to build up to that too much economically, because you might get the first kill, but when you got the rage and the Euro ultimate into sight, that just spells trouble.
We saw how easily, for the most part, Forsaken was able to deal with
jalannya tidak jadi player, Kak. Kayaknya Cahya mesti belajar dari Arsenik gak sih, Kak? Buat main race ya. Ini sih satchelnya GG emang.
That's unfortunate.
Plan weh.
PRX will just wait.
Plan sendiri.
That needs an ult point. Try to go
ambil
for the spike
ult,
plant.
ya.
Monyet finally volunteers. Saying Showstopper's pretty good, I guess I'll
Aaron
take that.
panas banget, bah. Yep.
And knowing that they had the time as
Lagi
well.
mau
Now,
bante-bante
I'm
dia
going to be
katanya.
curious if PRX all decide to push back out of main because it looks like that's the
Abangku
idea. They
kapan
don't want to
mabara
push
sama
any
bala-bala.
deeper into the site. So
Mau
PRX
berapa?
perhaps the idea, not really
Pakai
necessarily
plan
going
sendiri
for
kalau
kills,
nggak
right?
salah.
They just want to say we want to snowball as much as possible. We want to keep the weapons we have.
Iron.
Not necessarily hunt for kills. If they die to the spike, that's
Kecil
it.
banget nih crosshair.
Creeping up.
Satu.
Freak finding one. Charon.
Aaron anjing.
Off
Killnya
back of that
langsung
damage
cok.
there, gets the nice headshot.
Oke lama.
Yeah, you're going to want a double stack here. Something alone could be dangerous.
Monyet checking all the way back over
Exit
towards
kill
spawn.
doang.
For the time being, not being
Wah,
checked.
gila sih Karon.
As Lockett will fall, but Karen with another nice shot. Texture as well. Getting
What?
some solid damage in.
Divide?
Karen's going to be able to find 3. They clean him up. They can't stop the spike from going off. PRX, they will be able to get up to 4, but GenG doing some damage, recovering some weapons.
This is by far the absolute worst case
Ron-
scenario for PRX on
Ronnya
that
sih
round.
menang.
Sure, you're supposed to win the round.
Cuma
Yes, you can buy up to most
besok.
of your weapons. But giving over those kills and the free weapon upgrades, that allows for the operator to still be a
Anjir,
considered
dapat
purchase
3
here for
senjata,
Meteor.
cok.
That gives GenG
Gila
a
Karon
ray of
sih.
hope to get back into this first
Karon
half.
memang.
Potentially, I mean, Meteor.
Gua harus
not gonna
ganti
give
nama
them the
in-game
opportunity
sih
to
coy
really
kalau mau
swing
jadi
it towards
player
base.
nanti.
Just gonna try to greet them off the
Karon ya
rail.
kan. Oh,
Does
kacau
Lockett
aja
trying to
kali ya.
back up, peel
Kati juga jago dah kak.
With the dimensional drift coming through, he's just gonna have to back away very swiftly.
Tahu
Now
nih.
Paranoia as well, crashing in.
They're all in.
nice
Taken
banget,
is
son.
out of the portal, and he's got a judge in hand. Lockyer falls, something is the one, of course, the headshot Meteor at the same time.
Asta.
Munchkin will make his way up into heaven. Will be able to take down the enemy jet, but now
Udah mental
3v4.
kena belum.
Such hard angles to try and clear. Divide holding ramp. Shuts down
Keren.
one. Karen just plus 40 into heaven, still managing to find the elimination there. Texture waiting up that flash, swings in.
Ah,
Forsaken's
ini
gonna be
loh.
good for it. A 3K here from the Yoru is PRX.
Kak,
Well, not
tadi
gonna be
itu
losing
mereka
all their
menang.
weapons this time around, and in fact, they picked up the
Tapi
operator
kena
themselves.
exit kill
Yeah,
aja.
you can
Orangnya
imagine
tetap
how you're going to
menang,
counter the
aman.
Euro all you want, but once you hear that
Giveaway
little whisper
senjata
from
itu
the other
bukan.
dimension following you all into the site, things get a little chaotic. We even have the Paranoia there to assist as well. That just really sets up all 3 duelists for a great entry. And I was going to say, overall, this is actually one of the first matches where I felt that
Gila,
Dubai had
Jason
very little
glowing
impact,
banget mukanya,
but
coy.
right there holding that close angle, trying to get back into the swing of things
Perawatan.
himself.
Bareng Pici.
Still a purchase coming through.
Glowing
Obviously, the
banget.
operator not in hand.
Eh,
Something just gonna look to eat some of that
sudah
damage.
ditabrak semua
There's the
tuh.
Trailblazer, nice timing, does get cleared out before it can spot him in this position. Flash coming in, Texture on the swing. Not ready for it, ends up getting taken down.
Air Korea.
Dominance
Gitu kah, Air
continuing
Korea
for
bikin
PRX.
bening.
Now, GenG, they can't get too curious about this. I like that they're retaking control of ramp, but that's about all you get. You try to push in through the smoke. That spells trouble.
But look at this, I mean, because of the just lack of sound, they're drifting off. They're moving away from this A side.
Ah,
I don't blame
Hanya
them, because
ditinggal
otherwise you're
tuh.
down to a 2-2 split, right? So I guess they're
Reheat.
just saying, listen, worst case scenario, we go for a 45 retake. You do have the Cosmic Divide. We'll see what they have cooked up. So I don't blame them, but you're right. I mean, they go for the gamble because they don't hear the audio anymore, and it's going to be, once again, another free site for PRX. I mean,
nice banget.
you know, they're happy to fight, but they're just saying, okay, well, if we go in for
Plan
free with
lagi,
no
Cah.
content, we'll take that
Mantap,
as
Cah.
well.
Hand off to Monyet, Showstopper now online.
Iya, dia mau gambling itu. Dikira dia dengar suara
GenG,
balik lari ke T-base,
How-
maka
how
tapi
far do you
PRX-nya
really
balik
push
lagi
to try
fake
to get
step
this
doang.
retake going before you just have to call it off? Lockett does have a stinger, so he wouldn't mind
Ya kalau tadi match 1.
sacrificing for the, you know, chancer to try to clean some kills up.
Cah, sabar Cah, jangan buru-buru. Allah,
Find
Cah.
much of anything there, and oh man, but a second counter this already. Lockett will be able to find one. Karon now though, last man
Karun
standing.
ini lagi, Cok.
Push onto the corner is going to be good for the kill into something. He was
Binatang
down
dia.
to no
Why?
HP. Snappy as all hell though. Finds another kill, goes into the astral form, sends it the Cosmic Divide. Mind Freak sends out the Paranoia. He tries to swing the wall.
Nice
He's
banget.
in behind
Nice
him.
Ron, nice Ron.
Karon thinking he
Anjing
was
lah.
up above.
Bangsat, udah ngeri-ngeri.
Oh man.
Ya,
The fact that,
miskin.
first of all, Karon thought
Apa
he would have
masih ada
gone above. Props
Ah,
to him. I mean,
ada
he
baik
threw
loh.
his best shot he had in that
Beliau-beliau
chaotic
ini.
1v1 when he was just enshrouded in the
Karon
darkness, but
lawan Aaron, udah pasti
Mind
menang
Freak,
Aaron,
I've been
coy.
seeing it, watching these games, I feel like we're getting right up close to peak Mind Freak once again. Reminiscent of the performances he had
salah
back at
predik
Masters
dia.
Copenhagen, where he was helping carry so many impact rounds.
They say Masters Copenhagen. We still look at
Aaron the
champions.
next
That's
Mako,
true.
iya, coy.
That
Jago,
play,
Cok,
the
Karon-Karon ini,
1, 2, 3,
anjing.
Pearl lives rent
Cara
free in
nembak
my
dia.
head, not just because I was the one
Wah,
who said it.
jangan bilang Aaron
He
langsung
had his
auto
spike,
di
but I
over
mean,
there.
right now, GenG looking like a very
Ah,
different
Mako
team, and
terancam
PRX
manja, kah?
absolutely thriving in this chaos.
Nih beliau nih.
Second time out called after 6 rounds played. Nothing scooped
Ada
up
Kak
here
Eka
for GenG.
Gustiwana tuh.
Again, the closest that they got was when they killed everybody. But the spike, it was too far gone.
I'm curious to see because with, once you're down that one man, suddenly these retakes are looking tough. Forsaken just asking for massage.
Emang yang namanya ada Aaronnya itu jago Bang Kacau, yang ada Ron-Ronnya gitu ya, berarti aku ganti nama Kacon dah. Kacon. Ron.
Triple duelist
Buruk.
wasn't just a gimmick, and we talked about this before coming into this match. I mean, sure, they might have cooked something up just because this tournament is relatively short. People aren't going to have as much time to anti-strat. So yes, there's merit to that, but hey, that's power to you. You know how to play the tournament, you know how to play the system. You might as well be ready for that victory.
Larang ya. Hey,
Every other team with
stop
hopes of
lah
the
ini
world
cok.
likely
Apa
looking at
namanya?
this one. Only for PRX to do something
Aduh.
completely different.
Lucu banget lagi.
When they make it over to Spain. Come on,
Kan
yeah,
nick
jumping
yang ada
forward,
Ron-Ronnya
Ascent
kan.
out in the open.
Mampus lu
Something
lagi
has
anjay.
gone mid, Locky just jiggling on the corner.
Ron yang ada Ronnya.
No info, no flashes. Your retake is now more difficult. You don't know if you want to stack or go for the
Tadi mau
2-2
tanya
split.
semisal lo
So GenG, if you don't want to
tim
give up this
PRX
round
apa
right
tim
away,
boleh
I think you do
boleh.
have to play for contact. It's risky,
Siapapun yang time
but
out,
this is what you need.
tim lawan boleh ngomong.
We're going down. It's
Wah
okay.
gila.
2v2.
Di gunting-gunting gitu cuy.
Munchkin texture.
Taron.
Putting their
Ufron.
team here in the
Sharon
position that they
mana?
did. Munchkin reads it
Gila.
perfectly.
Di tap nih.
Back over to main. Swing in. Big fight at the ready. Full flash connecting on him. He will
Mampus
just
lu
get
anjing.
sprayed down through the smoke as blast pack entry is attempted. Mania does
Di
fall. Texture now.
di reset lagi lo tembakannya.
Forsaken winning the fight. The mask gonna be thrown on.
Oh dia cari info dulu.
should be able to
Sets up for
get
the
the plan.
teleport. He's gonna be able to spot them both.
Dua ketahuan.
Rotating around. And it looks like they think that he's just gonna end up snapping back over towards A. Fakes the teleport.
Nice
Now makes
banget.
it over here at B.
They called a bluff as much as they could, but it's
Taro,
Forsaken.
TP.
He knows how this works. He
Aduh,
sees their
TP-nya.
movement
Oh.
all the way to the end, even leaves that one extra seed of doubt. Spotting Kara.
Oh dia muter bagus banget. Son,
He is going
Son
all
200
the way
IQ
around.
Son.
That gate crashed
Son.
that up. No other util to play with. 40 HP.
Jason kalau menang ini gua giveaway membership 1.
Hold. They get it up to half. He's gonna have to do something here soon. The fake TP coming in, but Karon's just stuck to it.
That's unfortunate. Just couldn't find the lineup onto the headshot. Meteor will clean up the kill as well. The setup was there. You know, you can't doubt the Master Yoru here in Pacific, but Karon just sticking with it close to the wall as well. So good positioning with Meteor able to cover him. This is where it starts. I mean, Munchkin with the call that we can't just keep getting shaken up back and forth after we lose one guy. We have to even out the numbers. This is how a lot of these rounds where they don't get the first kill, they've been very good at converting these.
Mungking
That's one step in the
mungkong
right direction
anjing.
here for GenG.
Kim mungkung.
And it was, widely
Buka
attacked
kangkung.
so PRX getting the
Ah.
most value from the triple
Malu
duelist.
anjing.
Understandable. As
Woi,
flash pack.
gelo gitu, freestyle gitu cahaya anjay.
Not much damage taken here. Robot comes
Yang
in,
ada
takes
donnya.
the side, so that's his
Kenapa
swing
jadi
time.
yang ada donnya?
Something swings up in towards heaven. Finds Locky with the right click.
Oh,
Texture looking
nice.
a little bit more, but Forsaken able to keep his teammate protected.
Forsaron.
Whittled away at, but keeps them in with the man advantage.
Neutron
Have
anjir,
information
boleh
on
itu
two
ya.
of the members. I'm pretty sure they should have spotted the jet up in
Oh.
heaven as well.
Karon, waiting to see
Lihat nih
what
Karon ya,
everybody
kita
else
lihat
is
nih Karon
doing.
ya.
Forsaken
Karon,
right on the edge.
aduh,
Out of the garage.
apakah kita membuktikan ngejinx apa enggak? Ah,
He will be able to find
gak jadi
one.
coy. Setelah tadi gue mau bilang, wah, Karon bunuh semua nih.
They're gonna wait for the lurk from
Biar
the
dia
right.
langsung mati gitu loh. Kalau kayak gitu
Still have so
beneran,
much time.
gue nggak mau ngasal ngomong. Gue ngejinx.
Swing out,
Oh.
Nanti
ready
ada
for it.
momennya.
Now looking for the push
Ah,
forward,
Meteor
something able to win out versus
Kontolodon.
Meteor.
Munchkin has the pit.
Meteor lawan dulu tuh Bani ya.
Committed here. It's still so risky.
Udah. Yang nickname udah lewat nggak sih?
Peeking.
Wow,
Ends up
1 lawan
falling.
1 cok, 1 lawan
Still
2.
completely
What happened?
unaware of Mind Freak's
Aaron,
position.
aduh lawannya Munchkin. Kalau Aaron
Just
lawan
relying on
Karon,
his intuition, but now knows. Time is going to be dwindling. Smoke coming down. Swings out. Mind Freak.
Aaron.
Corner, able to find
Ron.
the kill.
Ron,
PRX
1 lawan
not allowing
1
for
Ron.
GenG to string anything together. 7-1. The half becomes worse and worse as time goes on for GenG.
Yeah, PRX is going to be happy if they can even just pick up
Bukan,
one
maksudnya
more
akhirannya,
round here, which is looking
Ron.
very possible with the economy in this one. But a very quick kill and exit from something on that one. And I want to give props to Munchkin. He reads the jump timings
Rahul.
onto the jet over from something, and he
Apa
peeks
jadi
out
Rahul?
right as he knows the jet
Aaron.
is landing because he hears the float. But at the end of the day, it's Mindfreak once again. 10
Aaron,
to 10
iya Aaron,
kills and 3
makanya
deaths.
jago.
What an impressive
Nih,
scoreline.
Satchel. Up, mantap.
Vanya going on the
Iya.
entry, hits the full
Buta
flash.
loh, cahaya loh.
Texture
Anjing,
with the
bagus
nade.
banget flashnya di
Still
atas
finding
box
one now,
itu.
Showstopper. Texture goes leaping forward. Sends it into the corner. Mindfreak TP is actually on the back end of the Showstopper.
Coron.
Now gets himself tucked away with
Steron
Spike for now,
buron.
getting drifted
Tadi
over
udah buron,
towards that B
kata.
site, rotating back around through the attacker spawn. Meteor, however, way out ahead. He can hear these footsteps.
Oh yeah.
What's wrong with
notwithstanding the
you?
weapon situation,
Gitu ya?
This is the best round GenG's looking at so far.
There's the one tap, the Guardian
Yeah.
putting him down. Doesn't want to continue to hold the angle, showing respect to the opponents that he's facing. He pulls back, also very
Asteron.
well aware that that sewer
Asteron,
could
banyak
from
yang
behind.
nyaranin Asteron kah?
Give him sight of at least one.
Oh, my, what a snappy shot. Finds one, looks for another. Hadn't got that on the Mindfreak. I might have lost my damn mind. Paranoia going to be sent out. Meteor pulling back over in towards heaven.
Gelo anjing.
Now it is just Devi and Mindfreak to try and see if they can somehow engineer this
Tapi
2v5
kayak
retake.
kelihatannya
Otherwise,
GenG
GenG, I mean,
kayak
so
menang
tip
fight
my
menang
tongue,
fight gitu, tapi
right
skornya
around started.
gedean.
they push the go button so
PRX
quickly.
coy,
These guys, they're
7-1.
thrifties. Throughout this
Kebantai
tournament
itu.
have been
Ini
impeccable.
skor
They're looking
7-1
for
ini.
another one now.
Tembus ini nggak sih? Of Angel ini.
So many of these opponents in Texture has the lineup.
Testosteron
Two more
anjing,
B main as well. So even if they
testosteron
get through
gitu.
this race, it's a difficult one.
So with the Sheriff looking for the shot, this time not going to be able to find it.
Wah, di delay.
Grab well coming through, time dwindling, 12 seconds.
Wah, buy time doang dong beliau.
Karon just trying to slow them up.
Aduh, baru kali ini menang si Karon-Karon ini.
Down, taps it, fakes it. The round is already over.
Kelihatan.
He's well aware of it. Won't be able to hold on to the weapons. The Thrifty will come through.
Asteron dari gue cek.
GenG
Iya Bang
get
Victor.
themselves up to 2 rounds.
Asteron.
We're gonna have to go back and look at this
Ente,
entire
ente.
tournament because it wasn't
Kalau
just
menurut gue sih
yesterday.
ente banget ya.
They have been clawing their way back into not just maps but entire matches and stages, phases of this entire kickoff tournament to stay alive off of these Thrifties, off of these 4v5s, 3v5s, things like that. And you wonder just what it is, and I think Karon's a big part of it. Just the shots he can make with these Sheriffs, with these Guardians, things like that.
He's leading the charge right now. He and Mindfreak. Top in the board. So, Makia.
Ada aja bisa dapat.
Coming out on top. Trailblazer gonna be clear.
Oh,
Meteor
gila
covering
dijagain,
fire.
Cok.
He was gonna have the jump. Ends up getting punished for it. GenG looked to get the 3.
Iya, makanya gue bilang newspaper kan.
Meteor continuing to have his sights trained in towards mid. By swinging onto the corner, will be able to find a follow-up headshot through the corner now.
Hop, Aaron melawan Karon. Respect lo Karon lo.
Winning the challenge in. Still formidable opponent to the side, even if it's just the Sheriff's
Lu
in
lihat tuh,
hand.
respect
Texture
lo
arriving
lawan
to
Aaron.
defend, will be able to take out the buy. That's the Spike now stranded. Mindfreak has no choice but to swing in and try to fight. He'll go down.
I'm
Parah
not sure
buat
if this
temen.
was necessarily called out in their
Berani
comms,
Bewan.
but Karon not peeking once more after activating the grab well, it just shows how much experience he's gained throughout this tournament as an entirely new rookie. Because obviously, with the grab well activated, he saw that the Omen was still stuck in that area of effect. He could have gone for it, but if he dies there while everyone is waiting for that extra duel, the last duel in mid, that's a rifle given over one more chance for PRX to claw back into the round. So he just says, I won't give it to you. I'll wait for more backup to come, and we'll swarm you for the last kill.
And we only have the timeout being called here from PRX, so I mean, a bit of a moment to kind of talk about Karon a little bit more and maybe explain to those who don't know what a Royal Road is.
Ah, yes, because I guess for Karon, this is exactly that opportunity. It's when someone obviously
Udah
just
waktu.
enters into that
Masa
tournament
iya,
for the very first time and they're able to go all the way to the very end, winning the title.
gua
And
ntar
for
diserang
Karon,
sih.
it's not just this tier of
Ayo,
tournament, it's
tetap
not just
fokus
this
ya.
event or this series of VCT. It is just everything in the entire professional Valorant ecosystem.
Menurut gua
This
bukan
is
yang
going
bukan
to
PRX
be
yang selesai
his
era
first
mah.
time playing
DRX.
at an official tournament
Era
during the
DRX.
regular season. And for him to win a title of
Monyet,
Pacific
ayo cah,
Games
fokus cah.
would be nothing short of miraculous.
Yep. It's on a good pace, and I mean, GenG, let's say they take the series. Right now, Karon making a damn
Saya
argument
tuh harus
for
dikasih
MVP
boost
of this
awal-awal
grand
gitu
final.
loh.
So
what
much
happens. So
impact.
there's still plenty more Valorant to be played.
Harus di GB kill dulu nggak sih Cahya?
GenG want to try to claw that back as much as
Confidentnya
possible.
udah main selayaknya monyet aja dengan movement manjanya itu. Oke, lo bisa nggak buta nggak? Akia anjing. Udah. Nickname masih ada aja tuh nickname. Fokus game ya.
PRX, they have good position on the map, but they just have no idea how many more members might be near ramp in the site on A, so they are a little cautious, and that gives time for Lokia to get the information he needs to start the rotate over to A.
Back in, somehow making it out of there with his life intact. Drop down from Monyet, rushing forward.
Mampus lu. Ah itu lo Cah. Maksud gue dengan movement lu yang licin itu loh.
Rest of the team rotating over, Divide ready. Hit now going to be invested.
Tadi susah ditembak ya. Gong, kenapa Gong? Muka lu Gong kayak dugong. Jangan ditembusin dong. Nice, something.
We'll find the headshot there on a meteor. Continue to play around the
Oh.
backside. Lock finished off something coming up with the end of the kill now. Updrafts here on top.
Oh!
Finds Texture.
Boom!
Pushing forward, is able to find one, finds two. Something looking forward
Oh, nice.
to put him down.
Ada
Coming
something.
through. PRX. Timeout working for them. They get themselves now up to 8, looking for 9.
Yeah, I think 8's where you feel okay with it, but 9 would make it very comfortable because then you just win that pistol. And with this composition, surely you just cook up a little,
Ces,
couple more
kenapa
options for your
karena ini
pistol
jago,
rounds.
Ces?
Make sure you secure the 2 free
perasaan
rounds
waktu
on the
itu
half off the back of the pistol.
Dia paling bosok.
Trying to get it. This third kill is just not fair. Right at the end
Waduh,
of the
ada
spray,
pengganti
you just
STLR.
towards the bottom,
Hey.
crashes out. But the updraft
Yang lu
is
maksud
smart. You know the
siapa?
cost of Divide is there. They're not going to
Hah?
hear it entirely clearly.
Woi. Anjir player gua coy. Atas bawah manja ya lu ya. Bantuin. Nice. Mampus pusing gak lu? Pusing gak lu?
The Blade Storm finding the kill. The man advantage for now going to be here in the hands of PRX.
Wah, jagain. Gila. Wah, gila. Wah, Davai kebaca gak sih? Davai ini jauh banget. Woi, Gal, apaan lu?
Locking out, giving credence to his potential position.
Cok, kebaca sih harusnya si Davai. Enggak coy.
I'm fine with you
refilling
the pit, but
Untuk
you know
Kelantan
where
player
Divide were playing in that match
of the year from Malaysia.
He loves those lurks. Now 50 seconds. I mean, Divide could
Oh,
clear here,
refresh
go
dulu
back
dia
up to
keluar.
heaven. He's got all the options he needs.
Dia ada feeling gitu nggak sih ini? Entoy lah. Dia berfeeling gitu, Cok. Ayo defend.
Finish the half with 4 rounds, which is more than it was looking like it was going to be. But PRX still in very firm control.
Kemarin ditanya jumlah kill aja bilangnya bakal turun dari season sebelumnya. Apa? Talonkus istri. Woi, player gue jangan diciduk-ciduk, coy.
Both teams going to be eyeing that ever so precious pistol round to see if they can chain it.
Woi, player gue, woi.
Just 3 steps away from trying to tie up the series 1-1.
Rekrut Karon ke AE. Hey. Zal, kamu ngapain nyuruh aku angkut Karon ke AE? Controller gua tuh lebih jago, coy. Ada Goaten. Belum ada, nggak dikasih kesempatan aja. Coba nih, nggak ada Liga Franchise. AE ketemu GenG. AE yang menang, cok. Sarung nggak asik.
Just their history and camaraderie with DRX throughout the multiple internationals.
Woi, player gua anjir. Coy. Juga Ascent. Jadi saya dak manja aja. Defend PRX kurang kalah ini pasti, what the hell. Kamu nggak boleh gitu ya. Kemarin boleh kurang, hari ini udah beda harinya.
To be a 3-2 split for PRX. No gate crash just yet.
Bang Kacok monyet lagi underperform kak, nggak tahu sih. Apa ya Cahaya ya? Sumpah harusnya dia jago banget Cok Cahaya ini. Ayo Cah, lu harus cari solusi gimana bisa balikin performa lu pas lu di GE.
Well, of course they did go for the sheriff. It's a fast
the
push
rush.
in.
Ya, itu belakang.
From the back.
First kill, but they didn't check
Oh.
on yet.
Ya, enggak apa-apa sih, Cam.
Take it down.
Dua
First thing
tukar
is gonna
dua.
hold here with that sheriff.
Gak apa,
Has to
Cam,
be
gak apa,
fresh.
Cam.
Back across the opposite side of the
Walaupun
map.
Aaron
Two
sama
sheriffs.
buta sih.
PRX are just looking
Kan
to
ngebet
swing
tuh.
and win these duels.
Nice fight.
Driving, able to find one, giving them back into the
Waduh.
pin. Caron,
Kontol.
the first one, swing out the back pillar.
Beliau ini najis loh, coy.
Unawares.
Beliau Karon ini ya
Forsaken.
mati lu anjing. Ayo Son.
Enemy Astra.
Nangis pisaran Son. Oke, chill dulu, tarik napas. Tarik napas 10 detik.
Cost him a significant amount of time.
Yeah, he's
Buang
just gonna need
10
to swing in the
detik.
last second, get that kill.
Nah.
But it might just work.
Ah.
Oh no!
Wah, hampir aja.
Munchkin could have got the headshot. It seemed
Itu
like
loh
that would be
maksudnya.
such
Relax
a
dulu,
devastating
relax.
loss, but PRX, they will maintain dominance in these pistol rounds. Now 3-1. They will get up to 9.
Hampir aja.
Still as
Mau
a
ngebating
statue in that corner, and you just don't suspect it in the pistol round. Especially after, you know, the guiding light hits, you see one person flash.
Relax,
there's no
relax.
reaction, no
Kita mah
spray,
nonton
nothing
relax
else.
aja.
GenG thought they had it all.
Relax,
But
relax.
double kill, stabilized
Relax
just
dulu
enough.
nggak
I
sih?
was afraid that we saw the double team of Divide and something
Kita
trying to go
nonton
for the
boleh
early
relax,
peaks
tapi
before
like-nya
Zingo was able to
ditambahin
arrive,
nggak
but dwindling the
sih?
numbers down just enough.
Halo
Now,
Subasa
double
Uzara
outlaw.
buset.
They want to snowball as many rounds as they
Tendangan
can.
macan
'Cause
kah?
listen, just one round here and then maybe another with all your ults online. And then you're close to the
Woi.
win.
I think one outlaw, easy enough
Walaupun
to
kalah
read.
tetap ke Madrid, iya.
Do you expect that there's going to be 2?
Tentu.
I mean, it's such a commitment too.
Forsaken looking for it. The shot whipping, but hey, he got 2
Gelo.
bullets. Swings further out, finds Caron. And they still don't even know that something has one over in this A site, which is where they're about to start heading.
Yeah, the gate crash once again set up for A side as well, and it almost just feels like Forsaken
Apalagi liat Jason.
gets some kind of armor when he tries to gate crash out. Always so good with it.
Something now. Sends the shot, Divide pushing forward, able to find one, but runs out of bullets. Lakia is able to take him down. Need more damage from here, though. Let's start hurting PRX a little bit more, but for now, loss of the Spectre not going to be too devastating as something. 2 bullets, 2 kills.
Breeze, ada map terakhir, Breeze.
A lot of value off of this
5.
new weapon introduced here in 2024. And they can continue with it. Now, most people on GenG will have full armor, so it won't be as
Kalau nggak ada
devastating
saya,
as if they
kasihan
had,
deh.
you know, all bought up
Woi.
to things like marshals and sheriffs. But with the shots that these players are able to
Terus
hit,
nggak pernah
and this
ngomong
position on Divide, as soon as he
Saking
knows that there's
ngepos
contact on ramp, he's been
foto
using that to really
Hari
punish
itu
and just
ngepost
cut off a
Jojo
little bit
langsung.
of reinforcement. So GenG's gonna have to
Apakah?
watch out for that.
Full stack from
Teori kah?
GenG, ready to send it here at A. Like something going to be going for the
Breeze
P.
saya pakai omen buat frag pasti.
Sends out
Woi.
one.
Dia nggak
Flash,
carry
Texture
ntar.
trying to chase in, will get a
Wah,
good amount of damage
ditembusin.
through the wall, but now to swap over onto the shorty, but decides to pull back as that Trailblazer does come
Ikat.
through. Shorty once again,
Masukin.
drawn out the push
Mampus
into
lu
the
anjing,
Cloudburst.
Meteor.
Somebody finds the kill. Drops down on the
Nice
top,
banget,
finds
Fai.
covering fire there on the Singer, takes out Texture. Lakia,
Aduh,
however,
laki
arriving.
dia kentut.
Comes up with 2.
Cah, sikat cah.
Backside judge in hand.
Satu lagi cah.
Oh, a bit of a
Nice,
stutter
Cah.
step, but it doesn't matter because
Nice.
Mind Freak arrives, comes out from screen.
Gue track cok.
PRX. They're going to convert yet another bonus.
And they're bringing the chaos back. I love it. I mean, you just don't expect that, right? Sure, you see the outlaw, you chase it
Udah mau
down.
satchel
It
manja ya
did
tuh.
seem like Meteor was somewhat wary of the shorty standing by, but then you're trying to chase the backups there from Defy, and then you think you cleared it all. But yet
Nice.
still one more final boss
Menyala
behind the map.
bangku.
And now PRX so close, and this Outlaw's going to continue to find value, and they've been doing this. They did it on Sunset against GenG as well. They just keep rolling with it.
Yep. This time he's way out in front. Be a hell of a shot to try to stop this one.
Mampus
But, I mean, even
disikil.
covering fire there for something. So Moniette getting a piece. Meteor will be taken down. Mid has been cleared out. Spike stranded in Ramen.
Oh, Cahya udah 40
And the game
ya
crash
darahnya.
back as well. And it's things like this that'll really start to make you question your understanding of the economy. Because obviously some rounds you just can't help
Res
it,
kalau
but
di
how many of
tekstur
those
kalau
rounds are
dikasih
you
res
willing to
kurang.
make happen?
Tapi kemarin-kemarin ya main res
Because you, of
juga
course,
sih.
you might have your own set
Kayak
plays
Lotus
with some
gitu-gitu,
rifles,
jago
maybe
dia.
with shotguns, things like that. But the moment you buy that half armor, it just feels bad. Got sight.
Yep. Saw enough of each other there, and Moniette wisely backing away, knows that a clean shot to the chest will take him down. The weapon
and recover. We'll see if
Munchkin sih yang dapat
deal any
senjata
additional
aman.
damage here. Griffin's way up, but as he stands up, it's right into the crosshair.
Lihat tuh
Forsaken will feel fun
crosshairnya
here,
ya.
trying to enter in from garage.
Ambil nggak sih senjata
12
tuh ada
to 4.
pandal.
PRX
Gila.
clearly not
Let's
flustered
go, let's go, let's
whatsoever
go.
with the loss on Ascent, feeling right at home with this triple duelist.
Yep, everyone putting up the numbers they need, playing the role that they need to.
Udah berasa ya?
Obviously, some of these long-range duels really assisting the scoreline for Something and Forsaken. But they're also kind of the main ones that are creating a lot of these distractions. I mean, now and then it's a division between that Jet and the Raze. But once it comes to that defense,
Ini mah
just one more round is all they need.
memang
Now it's
sesuai
an
dengan
operator
pick mapnya,
who
coy,
goes south
kuat.
as soon as possible.
Texture jumping forward, gets himself past that outlaw. Have the tempo to try to really rush in and
Kayak
take it
cuma
down.
3
Also
menit
wary
gitu
about that
katanya.
covering fire that could be there backing it up.
Mati kayak Lucaron anjing.
Nebula coming in on the timing. Just
Wah,
barely
gila,
off.
udah
Trying to go
lewat
find the
loh.
kills. Flash still there. Ticket gonna be taken out. Mind Freak fighting one. Maniac getting the other. TP in the backside.
Nice banget backupan Cahaya.
Karen to smithereens.
Ah, mampus lu
Finds the
ketahuan.
kill. Munchkin on the rope
Astagfirullah.
somehow winning out that fight, but he's now got to rotate all the way around
Nice
this spot,
banget.
and he doesn't get the opportunity. Something
Itu loh.
finish him off.
Anjing menyala gitu ya.
13-4
Jersinya
in
Pampers
response
ya.
to the 13-5
Keren cok,
loss on
nyala.
Ascent. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a series on our hands.
GG
No
coy.
trios in sight.
Langsung.
We absolutely do. And I love the confidence.
Tai. Kan mulu loh anjing. Jadi cepet gini gamenya coy. Kalian ngerasa cepet gak sih? 13-5, 13-4. Tai lu. Coy.
Just how they roll, it always ends super fast. PRX
Kenapa
does
nih
take
kemonya
map
nggak tahu,
2 in a
anjay.
dominant fashion. GenG, I don't think their team comp was really matched up for the triple duelist comp from especially a team like PRX.
Yeah, there's nothing really to slow down the PRX comp here, and they're just better at kind of this style of play, right? Yeah, you've got the double duelist here for the side of GenG, but they don't seem nearly as comfortable with the speed of play. The only thing you really have is Astra Gravity Wells, and just relying on that, it's not really that great against the Oru because he can TP out of there. You're not really catching anybody else, you know, 'cause they're so maneuverable, they're so fast with the Jet and the Raze, so you're not getting a lot of value out of that pick. So definitely something that I think if there was more time for GenG, if they had the ability to really workshop this map a little bit more, they could have come in here with something different, but with how fast-paced they've had to play, with how they've had to play pretty much every day, I frankly think just not enough time to really try something different.
I completely agree. I think this would be a very different outcome if GenG had more time to prepare. That said, PRX, I mean, they used this comp yesterday.
Cuma
and they
ini
also
dua timnya ikut ke
looked
Madrid,
great.
benar.
Works wonderful, especially on that attacking
Tang-
half.
bol-
You saw
minggu
how
depan, cuy.
Forsaken
Setelah
makes
main
use of
AE.
that Yoru, basically like what Asrai said before, human recon dart. He just dives out, gate crashes
Kepala
away,
gua
gets
nyut-nyutan
information from the
lagi,
team, they
cok.
come in and swing off of it, or
Terus
dimensional
pakai
drift. And it
koyo
actually,
manja, cok.
you know, instills a bit of fear into players like Texture. If he's trying to off, suddenly dimensional drift is a foot and right in front of you,
Koyo
you start to feel a bit
dari
shaken.
Jepang.
And that happens for several rounds until Coach Solo
Taruh
calls
aja
2
lagi.
timeouts really early
anget.
on, and then you start to see some
Lu tetap stream
adjustments
kah
coming in. They start to set up
kalau
for retakes, they start
kalau
to
udah
play, you know, really
aktif
far back,
kompe,
and you
hah?
really have to watch out for
Udah aktif.
GenG's Guardians right now. The way that they
Ini
shoot
baru,
is
cowok,
so
pembantaian
sharp sometimes that
tuh.
you actually see
Tuh.
PRX players kind of whiffing for a second or two.
Istirahat aja.
I mean, Karen's still
Janganlah
very,
tanggung.
very outstanding
kelar nggak
player,
sih?
really scary to play against. But then again, once you go into that second
Kadang
half,
hilang, kadang
Monyet
muncul
starts to
lah.
show up. Monyet start to have some crazy movements and ways
Passion,
to kind of
kita
pull out
harus
the side while
passion.
playing that retake. So PRX just making
Tambahin
quick work
nggak
of
sih,
GenG
like,
for this one, but again, kind of like you said, Paper Thin, just not having enough time to prep.
Yeah, I mean, Munchkin is so sharp, and that's the guy you're talking about on the Guardian. Even on an eco round, as long as he has a Guardian, he could turn the tides of a round. A couple of these wins here that they have were thanks to Munchkin just nailing them in the head on those rounds. And, you know, I think there was a point where Alex called a timeout, probably because he noticed a lot of these two teams were just going into contact plays. There was no utility being used, and PRX was just losing straight up to these 1v1 duels.
Yeah, this is something that GenG has excelled at throughout this entire kickoff, is they're really good in 1v1. They're winning a lot of those battles. I mean, yesterday in the 2 maps against DRX, Munchkin had 11 first bloods. I mean, think about that. He had 11 first bloods. He's not the duelist. Like, he was all over the map. And that's something going into Lotus that I'm definitely a little bit concerned about for PRX, is how they're going to deal with that very spread out style that GenG likes to run. Meteor and Munchkin are beres malah game 2. You gotta be aware of that. But I think Alex just said during that round that you were talking about, just like, guys, just deathball it, just stick together and just go. Just come on now.
And now we're going to see something versus Meteor stats instead of our 2 duelists. Something was starting to wake up a little bit. And you know what? I just miss seeing something on the Gen. It's good to see it.
It's definitely fun. It's like when you see an old friend that you haven't seen in a year, and then he gives you a warm hug, and like, oh, I remember how this feels. That's really nice. And then he picks up the Outlaw. He starts shooting people, especially on that anti-eco, or the 3rd round that the PRX played in that second half against GenG. It really shows that this something is still around. He still has that shorty movement, still aggressive enough to dive into a heaven and wait inside of smokes as GenG tries to push against him. So if they can keep up this momentum, keep up this pace, it could look really great. I mean, Meteor had some of his moments as well, maybe not quite as outstanding. So there's that slight difference. But as we go into the next map, right, I still feel as though like PRX aren't out of the woods. As a fan, I'm going to say that. Like, PRX are not out of the woods yet, because this is a GenG that's starting to wake up. Meteor's going to go back onto that Killjoy Sentinel role. Their Guardians, their Sheriff shots, some thrifty rounds that GenG pulls off are still really, really freaking scary. And as an analyst, I will just say that I think Coach Solo really has something cooked up.
Yeah, definitely. And, you know, just to recap the stakes here, whoever wins today, both of these teams are going to Madrid. Whoever wins gets those really valuable points to qualify them for champions, which is back here in Korea this year. I can tell you right now, the audience, you stepped into there earlier. A lot of them are here for PRX, but even more of them are here for GenG. Even yesterday, apparently, with all 3 Korean teams playing, a lot of people are actually supporting the underdogs, GenG.
Oh yeah, the GenG fans have really come out in force, and players like Munchkin that have been playing for a really long time across multiple different teams, multiple different regions, Meteor as well, you know, bringing a lot of those fans over, you know, from the hype that they were able to generate over in Japan in particular, now coming back to Korea, coming home, you know, all those fans have kind of coalesced around them. They are so loud out there right now. Like, I went down there for a second just to scope it out, and every time GenG was doing something good, it went bonkers.
Yeah, you looked really energized when you came back, and they were like, guys, crazy inside there right now, and I really wish I was down there. And while all Korea Valorant is here to witness the showdown, I know Southeast Asia's, you know, watch partying right now. Jing is watching this right now, so shout out to Jing and his mom on Team Pearl. Now, I'm sure they're really happy watching the split result.
Jing
It definitely looks great. Again, triple duelist. It's amazing, especially with how Forsaken plays and really pushes back GenG in some of these rounds. I think William was talking about it in the first half that so many times PRX just kind of had free sights because GenG were, you know, respecting some of these maneuvers. GenG wanted to try to go in for some of these retake scenarios. There was like a lovely clutch from Mindfreak coming through as well against Kara and all things. Like, Mindfreak is starting to, you know, wake up and show, come back to peak form again. That's the PRX that we all know and love.
Yeah, I mean, GenG here just, you know, wasn't able to really play the style that they want. They can't really slow PRX down at all, and, you know, they have to try to spread the map, and then they can't react to things as fast. I noticed, at least in my opinion, their rotations were rather slow. Their ability to gather information, not that great, even with Locky on that Sky. So things just not really playing into what you expect with the typical PRX comp.
Yeah, and the typical PRX comp, you know, you see those duelists, you see them bring out that firepower. As we go back in towards Lotus, that's something to think about.
Rematch.
Oh, something Rena.
Oh, wait.
Oh, I like it. Yo, PRX never disappoints. We were talking about this yesterday. You never know what you're gonna get when it comes to a PRX comp.
Lebih kaget 3 duelis ya sih. Reaksinya Rena something kayak.
It's gotta be.
I think this is it. I think this is it. I mean, why not?
He was Jet before, but if you go into Arena now, I have to think you're trying to play off of device flashes.
Yeah, exactly.
GenG tetap
Right?
sama.
You're trying to set up kind of those staggered, Lear flash combos, things like that really can, make things work really nicely for the side of PRX. We've seen it on Ascent.
Ayo,
I'm
pasang,
not too
pasang,
surprised that they're going to
pasang.
lean into this. I think maybe they felt like they needed a change versus the last time. Maybe something will give GenG a little bit of a different look because GenG looked really good on this map last time.
I am so excited for this Lotus. It's going to be a brand new game for these two teams. They're going to go over Terra Casters. They're going to break it all down and talk about all the action.
Thank you very much. Here we are.
It's back.
Gal,
It's back. The Reyna.
kenapa lu tahu, Gal?
Much different look.
Reyna
PRX
something
this
jadi
time
Reyna.
around. Still not opting to play this when it comes down to Ascent.
Yeah.
But now we go over to Lotus and they say, hey, you know what?
Tetep ya, detik 10 ya.
I'm curious how this is going to work, because I think one of the ways they were able to have
5,
decent success
4,
against GenG's Lotus the first time
3,
around
2,
was with the double duelist
1.
subgenre range. You can just power your way through that seaside setup. A lot of other teams have been having trouble with that. Now with the Reyna, you basically have to send Monyet in on an island again if you want to go into that site. But of course, again, lots of flashes, lots of projectiles to distract when you're trying to go through the opponent's toxic screen.
Ketahuan.
Looking for the creep across, but
Wah, double damage semua anjing.
he and Meteor together.
Tai lah.
Finding 2 kills.
Mereka tahu loh mau ke B.
Now
Udah ada yang bokong lagi.
From behind.
Ya!
Gets the dink, doesn't find the elimination.
Ya!
He's dealt.
Kesel nggak tuh mukanya?
Why?
Ngeding doang,
Go ahead and
tai.
top them back up. So
Ampues lo
will
ya.
return up to 100. That's for now. PRX not really leaving the spawn.
Yeah, a little
Nuh
scared,
lagi kan
especially with
darahnya.
that deep push from Texture. And,
Ada
you know,
heal
if you're a fan of
manja.
Texture, I think he can be forgiven for showing a human moment across 8 days. Still
Mampus,
consider him a bit of a
bokong nggak
demigod at
bunuh.
that point. PRX just cutting noise, trying to just make sure that they're not exposing themselves, trying to stay huddled, getting ready for these trades. Of course, with that PRX team capsule as well on that classic. See if we can find some more success with it here for Divai.
GenG just looking to stay widely corralled together. We'll wait for that spike plant to come in before getting ready to execute. It seems like PRX finally sufficiently happy that they are in the clear.
It's not as much utility for the retake, though, whereas PRX, they have everything to push out if they get an inkling of GenG approaching close.
Well, they slow things down right before they would have gotten into audio distance. Things coming down. Trailblazer.
Dua ketahuan.
At least one known, but they anticipate that all 3 players are going to be right around this corner. Flash comes in to try to slow things
Hajar
up.
nggak sih?
A lot of damage to
Lu
the
mau hajar
box.
apa enggak?
Now down
Apa
to 4
smoke?
HP. Fight holds close.
Yeah.
Smoke blooms. Munchkin still able to find one. Now Locky going to be
Wait,
taking
awas
out a lot
belakang.
of this rest on Karen, who's now going to be revealed. The push up.
Ya
Munchkin
ampun.
gets himself the 4K.
Kayak ragu-ragu gitu nggak sih Hajar?
4 HP
Menurut
remaining.
gua,
The fuse will come through.
tahu 2.
Gonna be even close
Hajar
to
aja
that
batekin
pick.
aja lompat-lompat.
GenG will take this
Yang
pistol round away.
klasik-klasik kan.
What a monster! I thought PRX had everything set up.
Gila
They had
banget
the
dah.
trip, they had the cam to make sure they spot so you don't have someone who's sneakily
Mesti
trying
no
to go
fear
for the
nggak sih?
defuse. It was good. It was meant to keep Karen at bay, but Munchkin is just able to push through the smoke at the right time, catch a
nahan
setup
busuk.
Forsaken at the last minute, and picks him off through the smokes, feeding off
Dan
the energy of the
Munchkin
crowd
tai.
here at the S Factory in Seoul.
Oh, but look at this. PRX.
Ya langsung diganti biar nggak dilihat sama orang.
With a lot of
Line up-nya.
success, but now the force buy coming back in once
Ah
more.
langka
GenG,
nipu coy.
have they accounted for this? Well, they certainly know about it now.
Yeah, and they take down the Outlaw as well. That's one of the biggest difficulties. And what a great pick from Lakia.
Lakia just
Ya
throwing him
force
down on
buy-nya
the entry.
benar-benar busuk
Spraying
jir.
away, swapped over the weapon. Continuing to just pump bullets
Coy
through the
udah
toxic
force
screen.
buy tapi langsung
Tagged
habis
up just a hair
diplaulosin
here.
kah?
Answering back with some of that bulldog fire, but so quickly shut down here is this force buy. It's Karan now saying, you know what? I like the outlaw. I think I will use it.
I'll find a lot of value with it for sure. That's just a
There we
little
go,
warning shot.
Trailblazer, swing in, Mind Freak gone, Texture still nearby, spotting him, but 10 HP, they don't want to surrender any weapons. Reload will come through, they'll just back off.
Just trying to draw
Tawa-tawa
him
lo
in,
Karan
his
lo,
back
mampus
overrise.
lu.
Ah. Texture a little scared, he's a little trapped with only 10
Tawa-tawa
HP.
lu ya.
See the cam reaction there. Wasn't anticipating that one, but I mean, Divai, that's just really a question of how much damage can he deal, but just the one kill is all it's going to be as GenG taking the first 2 rounds here on Lotus.
It's a good start, and I am curious. I mean, sure, going for a curveball on the force spy, it can work, but when you're going up against the likes of Viper, a Raze, a Killjoy, where you can just get so much chip damage done to you before you even reach the site, surely PRX will reconsider that in the future against other teams, or maybe even if they face GenG once again, as this is a map that GenG has felt very confident on throughout this entire kickoff.
Sore Najib.
Just going to be the Sheriff buy coming in here from PRX.
Ito
Paranoia sent their way. Paint shells just
Hanya
driving them
dikontrol.
out. Over
Kena
towards Meteor.
cicil.
Who's got the Outlaw in hand. Finds 2 kills. Just a classic for the backup here. And not really anybody to try to bail him
Yeah.
out. Now arriving, but they already managed to push forward.
Gila.
Take him
Si
down.
Munchkin.
Weapon is
Wah,
grabbed.
gila deh.
Munchkin finding him, looking for more.
Mampus.
Forsaken, swapping back over to the Sheriff.
Asan,
Good.
aduh
Just pick
ente.
up yet another kill here. It was swiftly shut down by Lakia.
Ente guys.
I know PRX has been on weaker weapons the past 2 rounds, but GenG's movement around the map have been very quick. The moment they get contact, they are able to shove PRX out of the other side of the map and just tighten the chokehold onto Lotus. I mean, they are not approaching these sites at all in these 2 rounds, and if that's the comms that we're going to continue to see,
Anyong, how much media?
GenG should be able to go right back up to 2 points.
Hello, chelong,
And
hello,
the
chelong
Meteor
kata
calling
dia.
for the Outlaw, really wants to continue using that. I mean, it's a good pickup for the Killjoy as well, right? I mean, we've seen some of the pros talk about it. The turret, the nano swarm, everything, even the alarm bot assisting for those one-shot kills.
Belum dapat aja nih Cahya.
Something trying to run.
Kaget kan lu? Nice.
Kill on the texture as well. Takes it as business.
Boh, rata.
Mind freak, covering fire, comes up with 2
Itu
more. and
loh
suddenly
maksudnya.
It is just Meteor by himself.
Kasih ampun coy, batek
It is
aja
nice to
batek.
see the Dismiss be a work of art once again. It's creating such
Spec
a distraction.
digatin mulu dah.
Right up here against the smoke. Here's
Arun mat.
forward. Instant headshot
saw
from
the spot.
Meteor, but let's go now. Pull back. Wait for the reload.
Duit.
Sheriff in hand. Spike now planted. Trailblazer at the ready here. By on the hunt, seeing what he can spot. So far, it's just the turret. Meteor managing to avoid getting detected here. He's gonna push downstairs. The double swing could be brutal for him.
Adanya Bang Ramai sir. Iya Najib.
Work down at 12 HP.
Woi!
Snaps over, finds him, looks for the shot, barely misses. 4 bullets remaining in the Sheriff.
Fai ngumpet ya Fai.
Time dwindling. Meteor, can he do the impossible? The tap onto the spike, trying to see if he gets any aggression out of Devi whatsoever. But Devi,
Wah,
stalwart, stays still, gets the
kaget
kill.
gua anjay.
But good lord, so much damage dealt here, and he will barely survive, knowing the limitations of that spike explosion.
Itu kalau misalnya
Pas
loncat-loncat Davai and
down all the
Sochi.
weapons, because we will continue to stride
Pas
ahead.
soek jir.
I'm real scared when Meteor got the first shot, but this is why you use Arena. If you're able to get those first kills, create that aggro, and then the rest of your team can follow up once again at a cross angle. And GenG, they'll have to keep note of that. You cannot hunt for something like the Reyna anymore.
Still not in a fully comfortable spot. Plenty of half armor out here, but just for their sake on PRX, no outlaw on the opposite side. So there are some very critical ultimates available for GenG. Lakia working his way downstairs. Smoke about to dissipate, pulls back around the corner as Texture
Gila, itu udah
posts up
nge-push
on a
jauh
very
banget,
deep
anjir.
angle. Just knowing that this is everybody stacked up on the A side here for PRX.
Davai udah sekarat. Itu siapa sih yang sekarat?
Spamming.
Pada
Carol
iya Davai.
Paranoia, master connection, but something not caught by it. Managing to find the cover and kill. Now the neural theft is bested. Meteor just hanging out backside, slotting, pulling up the angle right as they come to swing again. I cleared out Monyet coming up with one. Lakia pushing forward, but
buta.
he's full blind. The classic from Monyet with that vulnerability as well, going to allow to get the elimination and Texture. The
Nice
operator
job.
can do nothing more but sit back, maybe try to find an exit frag, but needs to hold on to this op.
You know, I was just thinking about it as Devi was trying to go for that ult orb as well. With the Reyna now, you've got 3 agents on the side of PRX who don't really rely on their ultimates too much. You're not really looking at those ultimates to
Kedua,
turn an
mesti.
entire round
Hati,
on its head.
kedua.
Sure, neural theft does help a lot if you're able to get the first kill. But outside of that, and yes, the Reyna with the Empress can go for some insane clutches, a lot of aggro, but again, not things you're building set plays around. It's curious that they're using that on a map like Lotus where you can try to greed for those ult orbs on the attack. Maybe just trying to say that we want to go up slowly up to the site, just like they did on A, ignore that C site that has been difficult to break through against GenG's setup, and continue to play around the revolving door with things like the Leer.
PRX right back on the saddle here. Looking to catch up as they've dealt a significant amount of damage here to the economy on the side of GenG. Operator obviously still held over from Texture, but the rest of the buy, likely going to be some Sheriffs, maybe, you know, a force up on something like a Marshall. We'll just wait and see what they have. But
Nice on,
very
kata
nicely
Aaron.
taken.
Nice on.
And okay, looks like a hero rifle in the hands of Meteor.
Yeah, you want to support that operator at least one way or another. Make sure you don't go into rounds back to back to back where you're just trying to save it.
He's all the support he can get, because right now, once again, PRX looking to just send it over towards A.
And the showstopper this time, it can be even quicker going in through tree.
Nightfall at the ready, Lakia, ooh. Tap here, oh, through the torment, what a great headshot, finds one.
Nice banget, Ron. Apes banget cahaya, lu lihat tuh. Lagi satchel ulti ya, di one tap loh.
Trying to work his way down rope. Creep in, spotted. Meteor actually tucking below the spray there of
Wah,
something.
kaget tuh Jason tuh.
Avoids it, but eventually is sussed out. Ends up falling, and now it's down to Karon to see if he can deal any additional damage here. He can. Finds the headshot.
Wah, senjata dia lagi.
1v2. Bye. Gonna stop him before he
Let's
can
go,
start heating up.
Albi.
PRX tie us up 3-3.
Karon once again proving though that he's not a guy that you can underestimate. I mean, that was really anybody's shot there if they kept coming out one by one by one. So keep your eye on that new recruit. We've had so many successful new recruits here at VCT Pacific as we watch them grow even just within the past week of kickoff. But obviously Karon, one of the brightest shining stars as he has already reached the finals, going for that Royal Road here. Now the Odin. And we're piecing together the true PRX one piece at a time. We've got the Arena, we've got the Odin.
Now they're very well aware of this. Want to try to back away. Take some safer positions outside of the A site. Munchkin setting down that bite. Lear going to be cleared out. Just delaying the Trailblazer for a bit. Dive in should clear that close left side.
Walk dulu awalnya
The
anjir,
Nanoswarm's still
ketahan
here. That's been the real bane of it. The Poison Cloud into the Nanoswarm, and just one Snakebite still on hold. That's good enough.
Gak nyampe, Ron.
Bulls biting that Shadow Step. There's still two members in the side of C, and PRX is not exactly aware of that.
I mean, it's effectively 3 players here. You still have Lakia lingering around Waterfall. Tap onto the door. We'll make him rotate maybe back over towards this B site, but for now it is going to be Karon who's looking to intercept all of this aggression that's coming through. To the blast packs forward.
Ayo, bunuh si Karon, Cah.
Shots exchanged. Karon getting the worst of it. Now it's down so very low on HP. 2 health remaining for him as Mind Freak TP's in a drop.
Ya, ketahuan ya.
Mind Freak's been hit.
Prowler not scouting
Oh,
himself.
nggak kena,
So
lawan.
he swings out, he finds one.
Aduh,
Karon
Ron.
coming away with a headshot. Does manage to shut him
Baru
down.
kali
Now
ini,
the
anjir.
shift. PRX working their way over towards C. The
Karon
Nanoswarms, the
kalah
alarm
sama
bot still
Karon.
available. Karon as well. Also going to be TPing over.
He just wants to buy time. It doesn't matter if he's low on health. The Nanoswarm should be enough to help him peek out just one more time.
12 seconds remaining. Spike still being brought forward into the site. Handed off now to Monyet.
Nice.
Moving onto the corner in towards Waterfall. Something finding one, but Texture quick to reply. But there's the Odin spray.
Bagus banget jaganya.
Now it's all on Munchkin. Clears out the cam, but displacing this Odin is going to prove to be a pain in the rear for him. Jump up, Monyet in a high ground position. And a little bit of damage there. I mean, taking knocked down to 6 HP. This is still such a rough task for Munchkin.
Such a strain. Yeah, you have to save. I mean, maybe looking for that early kill, knowing that you might have gotten the tags. Maybe see if you can take down the op, bring it back. But outside of that, it's PRX finally gaining some momentum.
Gonna be taking the lead here. The first time on
Cahaya
Lotus.
udah mulai senyum-senyum, guys.
GenG just continuously getting knocked down time and time
Udah
again.
good
when it comes to
vibes
this
dia, udah
economy.
good vibes.
But that's sometimes where they thrive. So I don't know if you can really count them out just yet. But the calls have been good for PRX. Yes, they were cutting it close. I won't say that rotation was necessarily very well calculated. But of course, you know, the push onto the site, drawing them all the way over because of the From the Shadows. Him getting that kill onto Lakia really sells it all the way to the end. Forces GenG to have to come in. Karon saves it because if he doesn't get the kill there, surely it just ends on the A side right away. But outside of that, it's PRX just saying immediately, okay, we still don't know exactly how many more have arrived just yet. We don't have anyone in the site to help with the pinch. That's the call to rotate over. And of course, you can see Coach Alex also not entirely happy as it has been a close map here on GenG's pick.
Doing a lot of talking. Solo here doing some listening, allowing for the secondary coaches as well to get involved.
Yeah, and I want to give a good shout to HSK as well. We all know Solo from his New Turn days, but HSK also kind of from that era and squad alongside Solo and Termi from the old days. And now, after finishing his military service, a lot of the Korean pros were wondering if he will enter Valorant, if he'll enter as a pro, if he'll come back as a coach. He had a very brief stint as a player, and then a disastrous first year as a coach last year on the squad of DFM and ACT Pacific. And just building doubt amongst the entire global community. And he comes in and builds this squad, taking down PRX, taking the title of Korean Kings, and now looking to take it over for Pacific.
Time out.
Ayo kena dong tembusan
here on the round, where PRX are going to be able to stretch the lead. Spy still not looking great. Straight through, Texture hanging far enough back to not get clipped by anything. As Meteor with that Marshall for shot to go wide. Swing out from Munchkin as well. Not finding purchase. 2 kills picked up here for Divide. Now the Trailblazer into the site. Try to scout Caron around the corner. Is going to be noted over in Waterfall. Something wants to push the issue. Full flash into his face. Shorty claims the kill. Nice and easy setup as PRX way out in front here on the round.
Yeah, turning that corner with the shorty,
Tapi
knowing
seharusnya bangga
that it's
sih,
going to be a
sampai
shorter guns
ada
here for
mindset
GenG.
insecure
That's
gitu.
just some heads up, classic something maneuver. And this is a good round to abuse that C site, knowing that they're going to have weaker weapons, weaker utility. Plant that seed of doubt that the C site can always be struck.
Hello.
Oh, that's a nice track.
Dia lihat lagi, lagi manja.
Lakia still in a really rough spot. Will not be able to hold on to Vandal, not be able to do any additional damage. 4 players strong here. And plenty of cash is working out those legs. The squats are coming in.
Yeah, a little bit of a rumble from the crowd. Of course, you know, the Korean fans, no strangers to it, thanks to particular members on DRX. Won't name any names, but nice to get a little bit of that rivalry going. You can see just how tough it's been for both of these squads. I mean, PRX usually all just laughing and enjoying the game regardless of the scoreline, and right now they don't want to lose that title. They also, obviously, both teams looking to get the higher seed at Madrid as well.
Higher seed, but also championship points on the line. As they're trying to go Odin v Odin, and it will be Forsaken getting the worse end of it, but still relatively healthy. And Divide, of course, with the heals could just hop back up to 100. Tap on the orb, something checked close. Poison orb obfuscating as much as possible as the Lear now going to be sent in.
Heard the Prowler in B as well.
I'm getting the reveal, but Meteor not spotted. Quick little jump peek, checks down below, Nightfall, cross, Trailblazer coming in from behind though. Meteor noted, taken down. Monyet trying to get through. Falling, and now the pit going to be invested.
Dapat Aaron
finding frequent Munchkin gone. The pit instantly dropping
nice.
the buy, brings it down, pops up from something, whipping a bit. He re-peeks, and Caron has to swing back. Showstopper in the ready. Is he ready for him to be close? Yes, he is. Texture taking him down.
Nice.
But now dead as the paint shells come flying through. Divide force back.
Satu, Karon melawan Davai.
Players having been so clutch for each will be able
hampir
to get the
jai.
kill. Had the HP advantage, gets it. GenG will stop this round win streak that we saw from PRX. 5 consecutively. They keep it close.
You know, I just thought maybe PRX would try to sell this as much as possible, draw out that Nightfall, and rotate back over to B. They still had time. They still had Mind Freak on B, because again, this C site has just been a wall against their opponents for GenG. And they are pushing them into that C site. They're doing everything they can to force him out there.
Jump forward. Texture likely noted. Yep. Has been spotted. Has to try to blast back his way out the safety. Does manage to do so. Avoiding all this forward aggression that we're seeing as the push it comes in and something.
How does he do it?
Continue the blood pour towards these operators and find the kills. Lakia flushed out, Forsaken with the elimination. Managing to find it. Neural Theft hitting the spot. The instant headshot into the sprayed out Mind Freak eliminates Meteor. And just like that, PRX say, okay, you want to stop our win streak, we're just going to hound you down.
It's just unfair that PRX has this hidden card that they can use against operators, and it's simply called something. He just swings out, takes down the
Mesti
scope
nahan
every
sabar
single
sih.
time.
Push forward. Judge able to find one. Monyet needs to be the one to wide swing in to try to save them here.
Dah,
Dink is
kalau
going to be
mati
found,
lagi
but
sih
20 HP.
bersoek ya.
Heron off in Narnia. I think much else is going to be found here for GenG.
Sabar nih.
PRX is going to be keeping
Harus
them
belajar
at
sabar, guys.
arm's length distance.
Tim tuh.
Oh, they want this kill. I mean, he's not
Kalau
that
emang
close to
dia
his ultimate. Credits are running
ngeselin atau
very
apa,
dry. I mean, absolutely dry for
kita
Caron.
diamin aja.
So PRX just
Rank
trying
kan,
to snowball
kecuali
whatever they
turnamen
can.
ya, rank itu kan
That's the
sebenarnya
confidence they have. Now
ngelatih
reaching that
individual lu
6
kan,
on the scoreboard.
sama
They would like
komunikasi.
nothing
Jadi
more
kalau
than to
misalnya
extend it at least to
itu
that
nggak,
7.
ini yang
Feel
penting
a
lu
bit more
ngelakuin
comfortable going into the
apa
second
yang bisa
pistol.
lu improve. Lu nggak perlu, ya udah lah rank kalau kalah gimana sih?
Yeah. Not much more to break down on that one.
Something on the arena. Delivering once more.
There.
Another weak buy for GenG, and that's when PRX look to C-site once again. I mean, they always start to try to shake things up. The problem is there's so much utility to try to get through before you sell the fake. But now they know it's a weak buy. You don't need to sell it. You can just commit to it.
Haven't spotted that Nanostorm quite yet. We're fishing for it. It looks like something, he says, I'll just heal it back up.
Yeah.
It's gonna kill, and then I'll just, go ahead and use a Devour.
That sounds like a
Kalau
good
ada yang
counter
ngeselin
to
biasa
Medusa.
gue
Space on the side,
aja tuh.
spotted. There's the dismiss. Takes himself out to safety. Meteor finding one, finding two. Caron getting involved, gets another. Now suddenly it's just Mind Freak and Forsaken. Mind Freak still rotating over. The cam goes in, tries to get the dart out. I believe he actually whipped. Comes up onto the box, finding the one elimination. Mind Freak now put into a 1v1. Meteor swinging out, down so low. 7 HP from him. Kind of toying around with Mind Freak, who's now going to drop down off the box.
Sabar banget.
Meteor solo. Mind Freak has to know this.
I mean, he knows exactly where he is. It only took one bullet. The fadeaway shot finally will find him. The tan close. GenG just
Hampir aja kok
not as
Aaron.
reliably able to find the thrifties here today. PRX counteracting them nicely.
I was going to just be blown out of my mind if they got that thrifty once again, because this was again, very targeted execute onto the C site. And it's just a classic flood, even with the Nanostorm, like you said, just fully confident that they can overpower him. But it wasn't as easy as PRX thought it would be.
Certainly not, but just given the bank, I mean, they've been fine, for this half.
Showstopper. I would love to see some other way to break this setup on C-side. No one's done it successfully so far in Pacific.
And Meteor in a far forward spot. Poison Orb does give it an opportunity to maybe rotate up on top of the side itself, back away, and get into a position where that lockdown could find value.
That's already both guiding lights gone, by the way, for PRX.
Just popping them off the rip. Now
Aduh, dibuka pintu cok. Wah, gila lagi ya. Wah. What the fuck, yang ketiga dapat anjir.
Going off right before he gets taken down. Could be everything for them.
You just gotta hope that the Empress comes in big for something.
Ketiga bisa dapat gitu dah.
Lockdown still held to creep up. Clear out. Something swings the corner, but no, not going to come to play. Monyet now.
Yeah.
Everything to do, and as he tries to get himself up onto the site, Munchkin nails the headshot. Last round of the half going the way of GenG, 7-5. Scoreline separating the teams.
And this is where the trouble is going to begin for PRX, because sure, when you're on the attack, you can throw all those blinds alongside the guiding light, the leers, the paint shells, everything to distract him. But on defense, yeah, you can do it. But if they don't meet you where you throw that utility initially, that retake is looking nigh impossible. And it's a great idea against, the enemy Viper. Try to break through that toxic screen, even with the decay. Just kind of eat that disadvantage and go through it. But again, GenG, after a couple of rounds, surely, if that's the style that PRX brings, they read into it and they hold back. And PRX just won't have much to work with on the retakes.
20 more seconds to gather their thoughts as we get ready to swap sides and see how GenG is going to be faring on this attack now. PRX making this look a bit more like an international Lotus rather than a Pacific one.
That's true. Keeping it on the side that it should be. Pacific's always had these weird tendencies across a lot of the maps, quite frankly.
We'll see, though, if they can maintain the dominance here on that defending side. How they're going to be piloting this Reyna.
A big part of it you have to imagine is you push them out on one side, funnel him into Forsaken setups as he's always been so good with the Cypher, especially once he gets the Odin. So GenG, if they can shut that down early, they should have a lot more breathing room.
There.
So far, I mean, the biggest achievement really here for PRX has been just denying Texture from finding value.
Caution here.
Karen as well. Both of them down there at the bottom of the scoreboard for the side of GenG. We'll see if that changes now that they go to the attack, but with Texture not finding nearly as much value, PRX got to be feeling pretty cozy.
Turret, hancurin dulu turret.
Okay, turret noting one. Meteor trying to break line of sight, makes it around the corner just in time. Now re-swings.
Yeah, should have caught sight of multiple as well.
He's going to continue to hold decently close here. Sheriff shot's not connecting yet as there's the jump forward, but Munchkin with covering fire, hoping to find the elimination. With Paranoia, Munchkin coming up huge. Texture in the meantime, taking out Forsaken to take on the Divide. Finding value here for PRX. Nade goes
Iya,
for
lucky dong ini.
Finds the enemy sky. It's going to be a flawless missile round for GenG.
Well, the GenG marketing team smiling on that one as the GenG Classic comes out on top over PRX's. But it's a good call from GenG. They realize that PRX is just not stopping at anything, and they just say, hold, stop, turn around, just one person watch out for the peek out from whoever is anchoring on A. We will meet them right here on Rubble. A very different look of the Rubble fight, but a Rubble fight nonetheless. And good shots from Munchkin. He's feeling that confidence once again. Back on top of the scoreboard as the IGL for GenG.
No force buy this time around. PRX just gonna see if they can try to get a thrifty done naturally. Just that Sheriff here in the hands of Divide. Once again, everybody overall in that C site.
You can just tell exactly the positions they're holding on the minimap as well, just stacked on top of each other at close range. Yeah, at least get that ult orb. I like the timing of it. But that's all they'll get, quite frankly. Haven't been as successful as GenG on these thrifties, so not going to hold my breath too much on this one.
You say that, I'm thinking about yesterday on Ascent. Crazy one that they were able to close out, basically just classics. Forsaken will be able to find one kill, but
Ini 5 aling nih.
good use finding now 3. Looking
Kaget tuh Lakia, ada lagi nggak tuh kata dia?
Any more than that would have been a big cause for concern for GenG, but they'll hold on to the most expensive weapons, upgrade it to some sheriffs as well, and tie things up at 7-7.
Yeah, considering the circumstances, you know, PRX, you did what you could. Got a couple extra ult points. That's all you were going to get, especially coming out of that choke point or by Baby Door. But now the real question is that Odin is going to take a little bit. Wow.
Hangatkah ya?
You know, there's something about Lakia. He just hides his power until Texture needs a break. And then he just rises to the top. Has some impressive multi-kills on a lot of these maps. Some good acrobatics as well.
Nade going forward. Swing C's coming out. It's Mind Freak. They're swinging out the door. Not yet, however, going to be able to find an opening kill. Texture going to be taken down. Locking as well. Found Parent on that swing. Able to get a connection. No HP bar on something. He'll back away. Fly doesn't have the healing. With no charges either. Something's stuck at
Tetap
20.
masuk ya PRX walaupun kalah. Iya. Tapi jangan sampai kalah lah. Karena butuh buat ke champion itu butuh ini coy. Poin. Harus juara 1. Lotus map attack harusnya sih.
Through that smoke.
Lah pintar ngekontrolnya.
Divide will be able to find him now. It's all on Meteor.
Masih
1v3.
sama.
Alarm bot going to be set up. Spike is in hand. He wants a challenge for a kill first.
Exactly. He wants to dwindle the numbers down, and he knows, he should know something is low.
Well, push out. Okay, Device swinging.
Wait.
Something. Again, just chipped away at. Now
Banget,
looking for the
anjir.
double push. Can't even get the one somehow. Something dodging out those bullets. Keeps himself alive. Hopes the saves around here for PRX.
Something swings. You know, his swings have been just so good, whether it's against the Scopes, whether it's against the Rivals. 20 HP, and to be able to get that last kill. They're even running forward as the person who's supposed to be. Had a great dismiss amidst that chaos and rubble to keep the aggro going. And again, that's why you pick the Reyna. Now, we've seen it try time and time again. Of course, as always, it gets shut down once you can't get that first kill. But in a team like PRX, it'll work.
Look at the Vi though. Glass cannon.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, no armor. Just the cash right now. The situation not looking good for them. They want to be able to have
Iya
this
lo, nggak beli armor.
full rifle in his hand, I suppose, instead of going for something like a bulldog. This Texture wanting to grab that
Rifle
orb,
nggak
but
beli armor.
the camera is enough to dissuade.
Going for that no armor, just trying to get some extra damage, and I think they're really trying to feed something these kills, make sure that they can go for the trades. But that means they're banking a lot on this round to try to win out the map.
Here.
Station's back over towards the safe site, already begun. Meteor pushed up just outside of B, alongside this trap wire. Clears it now, so Monyet made aware. Just gonna go back and away. Mind Freak trying to swing out, but Karen finding the headshot. It's down the enemy open.
Polos banget ya.
Not gonna be in this retake attempt. Forsaken goes sliding down, gets himself situated over a drop. Pushing forward ahead of his own trap wire, up against the side of the cage. As it drops, he tries to get that transfer. Nearly had it. Karen transferred back. Putting them in the lead. Paranoia now going to be sent out, connecting on Monyet as he pulls away. Something starts swinging in behind, open baby door, which now is going to be broken. Clear.
Nah, itu cuek banget itu. Oh, dijagain, Cok. Gila, bagus banget. Padahal lihat dah. Udah ada yang jagain si Karon. Oke, cuek.
I don't know if they come to the head, if it's just built in to their protocols, whatever it might be. They did not all turn to shoot down the Lear. They knew exactly what each other's jobs were, and this is where this team starts to get scary. All of them have the ability to shoot back, pick up those kills on those trades. So as long as you're not all distracted by the same thing, you are usually going to win out on these fights. Very good post-plant setup from GenG, and that'll draw the timeout, especially with that buy. PRX doubling down on that 16th round. Now they'll have to take a bit of a breather.
For the life of me, I mean, Munchkin just right in the line, standing right outside that door, trusting in Karen to be able to get the kill.
Yeah.
Ends up working out. 8-8. So, timeout called here from PRX. One apiece, burned so far in the map.
Bau. Ya oke habis itu ya.
Can be utilized. Alex wanting to
Air tuh emang ada yang
sure that they're not letting this slip away from them.
Ada. Cuma nyaman-nyamanan player aja.
Get the win here. Take
Ada
this
nggak
all the way
harusnya.
up to that match point.
Wonder if GenG is going to suspect a different default setup here and maybe try to go for something like a B push, because I would have imagined that one of the things PRX can try, of course, I guess this one's going to be an eco, but outside of it, will be to try to really push out from one side, hold their defender spawn entry points with 2 people, and then go for the retake with something like the spy cam. We'll see if it comes to fruition in the next buy round, but for this one, just the singular outlaw. And it, of course, Outlaw on the other side to really abuse the econ situation as well.
Tuck behind the box, Haunt not going to get the reveal there on a Forsaken. And shots gonna fly. Extra low, swaps over the classic easy.
Ayo.
Munchkin, however, finding one. Heron situated forward. Trying to hold the line, but I mean,
gila.
it's another blink and you miss
Padahal udah lihat kecerahan tuh Jason bunuh awal.
GenG very
action.
swiftly dealing
Gila,
with what
kebaca
limited
loh.
firepower PRX had.
You know, Munchkin's been hitting amazing shots throughout this tournament, but if you look carefully, a lot of it is, again, that experience shining through, just knowing how these trades are set up, how the crossfires are set up, going for those pre-fires. That's how he's so snappy. A lot of times he's correct. That's how he gets these 17 kills so far in the 17 rounds, leading by example. Now the operator in hand for something, and the Odin. I mean, they desperately needed this. We'll see if it works.
Yet again, rushing forward, trying to get a catch.
Matang ada nembak.
Get pinged by the Haunt. Ultimately, there's no one there to find. Everybody from GenG. Stand out on this left side of the map. As Prowler goes and checks forward, nothing going to be spotted. Actually, just going to be leading in. Cam's still set up here from Forsaken.
Oh, they
now
find
going to be
it.
spotted. Clear out on the dart, and wisely does back down.
Ah!
Not a default plan. Just off to the
Crosshair
side.
pertama udah bener.
Seekers are on the way.
Mampus.
Something gets a nice opening kill through the door, though.
You're gone, Aaron.
Ketahuan. Gak cek angle.
With that dismiss. Now Devi swinging back out to find him. Showstopper in. Texture fighting one, but Monyet with a nice headshot equalizes. Gives this advantage over to PRX.
Nah, ini grand final bukan grup lagi, udah grand final bener.
Spammed down. Will be eliminated in PRX very nicely. will tie us up once more at 99, just trying to stay inseparable.
I cannot imagine having to play against PRX in any capacity. Not that that's ever going to happen in my career, but the chaos that they bring, just the way they use the Odin, and you see this with a lot of teams that use the Odin often, is that more often than not, it's not even suppression fire to keep them kind of zoned in. It's just this distraction in the audio, really muffling everything up, just trying to make sure they don't know where to look, that they can't find the other tracers, and you just don't know where else you can move. You keep them pinned in, frozen like deer in the headlights. And that's the retake for PRX.
Wah anjing, itu kalau nembak, enggak ya? Matanya nggak ada yang bisa nembakin sih. Ya.
Texture. As Rhea just finds the elimination. I cannot believe my eyes.
Apa nyabun, Cok?
Something now with everything to do, but Texture is so hungry for it. Won't be able to get himself
Siapa
an
yang
ace.
nge-wipe?
He will take that kill away. But good God, it feels like Texture just bailed GenG at the start of a
Error
round.
kah,
They
coy?
had no right to win.
And that's the
Oh, gua kira DC itu gua.
against
Dan
PRX.
gua.
I mean, if you're gonna have the Reyna, ideally you want something like the Lear that can really help you push up against that toxic
Kalau kata
screen.
orang nge-wipe.
Without that, Monyet. Oh no, not again.
Anjing,
That's deja
tekstur sih
vu.
bocah
Just
loh.
give this man his ace, man.
Happened yesterday on mine. It happens here today. Again, I mean, Texture is just, he just is a content mill. It's just GIF reactions.
Oh, and Solo
Bayi
was
banget
a
anjing itu.
Very rare smile.
He's very happy. It's got to be something that he's hearing in the comments, right? Reactions like that, knowing that your players are kind of feeling good, able to joke with each other despite it being a very tight game, and knowing that your players had the right read in that last round to bounce
Aduh,
back.
Alex ngomong apa ya?
I mean, Solo looked so nervous coming into kickoff, and I can't
Penasaran
imagine
gua.
with the pedigree that you have as a player, people globally looking at you as a legend for Asian FPS, and then, I mean, quite frankly, tanking your stocks quite a bit as a coach when you first started over on D+. Now saying, I'll take one more shot, be the figurehead here, be the grand leader for GenG alongside HSK, and really guide these players who are just looking for one more chance to prove themselves, and he's seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. And now another absolutely broken buy, a judge for something, buying down to 850. Sure, it's the Reyna. You can always kind of try to rely on that half armor, but the Outlaw is in the hands of Meteor. Don't know if something's going to account for that.
Showstopper at the ready from Monyet. They feel that they can get this into a winnable position. We very well could see that pulled out. Try to turn the tides. Now GenG taking things very cautiously. Spamming boxes, checking corners.
And it's just going to be a
Majuin
stab,
aja
no
ada
early
adean.
bubble fight.
Dan
PRX
bikin
just
susah
saying,
gini.
this is the best shot we got. Again, you got to take your chances when you're on these broken buys, these ecos.
Tap on the door. Something on the opposite side of the box. Not going to be spotted. As Meteor, he's pushing
Maksudnya
in
umur
this one, but he's
25.
got the Outlaw.
Mampus.
Something says hello.
Now he can open the door.
Snatches up the weapon. He's going to look for it. Gets
Wah,
a shot there
gila.
into Munchkin, putting him down to 10 HP. But Munchkin again with a nice headshot.
Langsung instan
Straight
pala
this
loh.
one back with the door getting opened once again. PRX reading a rotation.
Ini mah.
How far forward do they want to try to push here? Looks like Forsaken wanting to maybe get posted up top of A over at Rope to try to put this Outlaw to use.
Yeah, they don't spawn anyone B main either, so he's got
Hasan,
to have a
dapat.
shot, but he's
Ya!
sneaky with it.
Just on the opposite sides of Munchkin's legs, cannot find the connection
Gila
there.
juga nih Munchkin anjing udah low loh.
Still in this fight.
Masih selamat loh
Paranoid
beliau.
Cross back sight, Mind Freak getting clipped by that for now. HL sent his way. Showstopper up close and personal. Monyet putting it at the feet of Lockheed, taking them down. But yeah, time is ticking. Mind Freak.
Ya!
Caught off guard. Texture comes in
Anjing
from the
tekstur.
side. Spike gets planted. The jump shot there from Defy. Good for one. Caron quickly shuts it down. 11-9. GenG. 2 rounds away from moving up 2-1 in this series.
It's a Hail Mary from PRX, but one that was
Kalau
worthy
kalah
just
ada yang
because of
bilang
the timer.
sama Dadean
The Mind
di
Freak
final gini.
had gotten just one kill up into that tree a bit earlier and really shut that down. But Texture's just so fast with the reaction, peeking back out right at the 5-second mark. Say Munchkin had a little bit more to share just to make sure they can close out this map. And they're ready for it. Showstopper online for Texture.
Smoke down. Aggressive push out of B. Just to clear the turret for now. You're back away, avoiding that aggression as Munchkin, the lone operative now.
Biar nggak semena-mena harus
Quite a bit
dihancurin
of space
turretnya.
over at A. Seems like wants to see what the rest of the team can report as far as the setup here on B. The smoke as well going to be coming out of Mind Free. Both of those now on cooldown.
Udah di nerf ini.
You just have the double
Wah, gila nih
wires
Munchkin.
right up close to the entrance here for Forsaken. It's a bit of a gamble, especially with the Raze as a showstopper.
I spotted him. No movement here from the PRX camp. Not necessarily believing that this is going to be a stack.
Careful here.
Gila
Man,
tuh
it was a
trap.
double for the jump. I thought it was one above, one below, but you really want to take down the showstopper. Forsaken has the read that if that's going to be the execute, you know the ult's online.
And Munchkin dead.
Nice.
Something finding him as he tries to cut across the rest of
Ah,
the team.
kena.
And there it is. The trap wire coming through has the reveal.
Ya.
Also finding
Udah
Forsaken.
kena
He
loh
tries to
padahal.
backpedal, get himself out to safety. Rocket. He goes too deep. Kill not going to be
Ultinya
found.
miss anjing.
Meteor dueling with
Ya.
One trying to push back up.
Masih hidup kah?
Space here on the side. Lockya able to shut it down.
Oh enggak yang dilepas.
Forsaken creeping back out from waterfall. Angle watch. Karen finding it. Lockya trying to go for the plant, but just baits the vine
busuk
forward.
banget,
Finds the
Cok.
kill now. All on something. Heal rolling. They interrupt the plant again.
Eh,
Passing it out
waktu.
over to Karen.
Ada something.
Looking to hold the corner. Swings back around. Puts him low.
Oh,
Puts him
dijagain,
down
Cok.
21. Spike planted. No leers. No dismisses. No nothing. So Haunt goes out. Something
Ya
now.
Allah.
Revealing himself. Another smoke invested. He's looking for the cross. He's trying to get the headshot, but he cannot. Karen stands tall. 12 to 9.
Gila,
And
anjir.
GenG now at map point.
Lockya with the mind games, running across the screen one last time before B to make sure
Parah
that
nembak
something
gini.
doesn't have the opportunity to disrupt the plant. And yeah, it's back-to-back rounds where it got dicey with the timer.
Belum masih ada map
But GenG
45
keep
coy.
their calm. I mean, PRX had some decent setups here. It's unfortunate that Forsaken not able to get that initial kill.
Yung Meo. 5 oi.
Bold call to shift that spike over as well.
Baru sisa ini line up ini.
Want to make sure that they can try to get it planted down, but now PRX looking to fight fire with fire.
Yeah.
Fighting one. Mind Freak getting texture.
Up.
I mean, it's just a quintessential PRX round.
1 lawan 2.
We now find ourselves in a 1v2.
Yeah, you still have all your setups for Cypher on the other site, so just stay doubled up. That's the
Saya
game plan
lagi-
for PRX. Surely they'll just hold that rubble. Not sure if they'd be
Saya
curious
harus
to push all the way through this toxic
harus
screen.
perform sih.
Munchkin wanting to go to B. Trap
Udah
wire is
3
there.
map coy.
Destroys it. Just going to be a plant here into
Oh
the
nggak
open.
mau ini.
Does he get the read that this is going to be approached from main? No bites to speak of.
Roster baru semuanya baru kecuali Meteor.
Flush against the wall.
Munchkin dulu T1. Lockya dulu nggak ada tim.
Yeah, try to act
Texture
like he might be
GE.
out in the smoke as
Karen
well.
baru.
Just some extra distractions. We'll see if it
Meteor
works.
doang GenG.
Smoke comes down. Here's one.
Ayo 2 lawan 1
Poison
guys.
coming down, and they're just holding for this one. The spray. He gets him off the defuse for a moment.
Nice.
Mind Freak swings back out of the smoke. He's able to collect the kill. PRX hanging on
Wait,
by
defuse anjing.
a thread. As they decide who wants to defuse it.
Yeah.
If there's any weapons they need to try to recover. PRX, they keep themselves in this game. 2 rounds. They try to take us into overtime.
You just know it's a good match so far when we have back-to-back in these rounds where the double left just have really good teamwork. You see Forsaken sticking it and then goes for the spray first, gives the chance for Mind Freak to pop out as Munchkin is distracted trying to fire back against the Tracers. Small things like that really make the difference between a clutch and just a standard 2v1 victory. Now the Odin for Lockya really trying to bully their way and punish PRX for pushing out aggressively.
Iya lah
Seekers
Cat.
at the ready here
Sama
for Dubai
Sens.
as well. Once again, I mean, they're looking to take the fight again over at A, but GenG saying, we didn't like how that went for us. So we're not going to try to challenge into it again.
But that's all of Rubble cleared. A main cleared. I mean, you could just leave one person holding here and you have the entire map figured out.
At least for now, especially considering the trap wire is still set up. Double push in towards B now.
Sudah.
PRX expecting that this is just going to be
Saya ditinggal sendiri
pile
dia.
into the site.
Oh, this is good from GenG, though. Before the 1 minute mark, they're going to reclaim some control. They heard the footsteps, it sounds like. Munchkin making that call immediately.
Cari info dah.
Now they know
Prowler
what
to check. Double push out, turn for the flash. Meteor. Himself safe for now. Now Manya going to be taken down. Tuck into the corner. Meteor trying to survive, but cannot. Ends up falling.
Cahaya ditinggal, Cahaya mati, Cok.
But if GenG gets to the side, they still do have that pit that Munchkin can invest.
Busuk banget, Gong.
Yeah, Divide going to be looking to use those Seekers, but you're going to have to give up the site for now, so it has to be used to
Cahaya ditinggal sendiri harus.
attack through the pit.
Dia mencoba untuk fight tapi lagi bau.
Oh,
As the spam starts coming through, trying to prevent the grab of the
Oh,
door.
nice.
Whoa!
Whoa!
The one tap through the smoke finds Karen, and now spots him out. What is that retake?
Aiyah.
Oh my god! I thought only Forsaken was close enough to follow up against the Seekers through the pit. But as soon as they go through the site, as soon as they figure out everyone's next to the door, they take the gamble, open it, hold the doubles right around the revolving door, and something just with the one taps, the dismiss end to the site to get them vision.
I mean,
how does
good God!
What?
And then just scouts, and there's just nothing more to be done. Timeout now called, and we'll see. It is going to be from the GenG camp. This one was very much up in the air as far as who could be. Oh, never mind. PRX called the second one. I didn't read that.
Penentuan OT atau kelar.
Oh.
I thought they still had one.
You know, PRX, yeah, I think they used it a little bit early on in the second half, but I mean, it's been tough from both sides.
Iya, Cok, harus di-boosting nih Cahaya gimana ya?
I think that had to have been off of the Seekers. Just kind of keeping track of that. Whatever it was, a one tap is just filthy from something, and it's what's gonna maybe give them this chance for the overtime. Now, lockdown still available on the side of GenG. They didn't have that ready to go as Meteor was taken.
Cah, jangan dipikirin, Cah. Mainnya lepas aja, Cah.
PRX will look to do again, cutting off the lurk nice and early. So I
Mendingan
wonder,
main
GenG,
lepas
do they
daripada
just go
ke
for a
pressure.
rush this time around? You have the Nightfall as well, just push through, then put up the lockdown on the post plant.
Monyet harus cuci
It's an
keris.
option. It looks like it will be it.
Immense amount of options here for GenG. And one that, you know, if you dump these many key ultimates into a round and end up going into overtime, could be a little bit tilty.
I'll find you.
Launch out for now, up over the top, the check towards Mounds. Nothing going to be spotted. Forsaken again, just playing the side solo with that Odin in
Anjing
hand.
beli Odin. Tapi nggak kecek.
Checking the B box, lockdown now going to be invested. Look at the shove them back, but I mean, you see something. Mind Freak, they're actually inching their way forward. Paranoia going to be sent in on Munchkin. Not going to be caught by it. Ends up finding the kill.
Ya mau ngelawan ide
Knock
buruk
him out,
anjir.
ready to roll through. 1 more second remaining. They managed to back out. No one going to be detained here. How smoothly can they try to retake? Boombot not getting clear.
Wah, Cahaya nih lawan tekstur nih.
Over towards Texture. Finally managed
Wah,
to clear
Cahaya
it out.
sendiri
Right
lagi.
up the door. Versus Monyet.
Buruk sih enggak sih ngelawan itu, cuma
push through that position. The flash goes in. It turns
nice
from it.
banget.
No, Monyet still able to get taken down.
Cah.
Now trying to survive, trying to backpedal, but Karen swings in from main. From the side itself, I should say, to find the kill.
Anjing
Finds
Karen
himself
kontil.
another one. Mind Freak and Divide. The last one standing. They know where this guy is at. Now it's all on the Sultan to try to get it done.
Ya.
He finds the second kill, but cannot get the third.
Anjing nih Karen.
13 to 11, GenG will narrowly close out their map pick of Lotus. They now move
Ini
up
pasti
to
callnya
match
si
point.
Munchkin tuh barusan.
It's a good call after
Nah,
that
apesnya
timeout.
ini
In
Cok
fact,
kena
just
terus
one
smoke.
step further, not going for the rush off the bat, but trying to figure out who's
Anjing lah.
stationed over by Mount, who's there. They hear the Odin, and they immediately say this is our chance to go. And what a punish from Munchkin against something.
Apakah
Just the hard read
dari
that you
sampai
know PRX is a
game
team
5?
that will try to push out from
Aduh,
this rather
garuk-garuk
than lose the
lagi.
site. Because again, their composition and their playstyle
Cah.
didn't cater for a retake on
Ini udah
that
3
B
map
site.
nih.
It's a hard read from
Cah,
Munchkin, the
udah 3
IGL,
map
and
Cah.
this
Ayo
time
Cah,
he's just
waktunya
one
lu
step
Cah
ahead.
bantai 45.
PRX.
4, 5 lu.
Very
Kasih
nicely
tahu
done here
Cah.
from GenG. Match point in their pocket. PRX, so can they reply to that next map of binds coming up? We're going to find out, but first the analyst desk will break down Lotus.
What a game! What a series! GenG comes back on Lotus, proving themselves in this rematch on this particular map against PRX.
Yeah, I mean, I really like what I'm seeing from them on their attacker side. Their defender side looked a little bit strange.
Game 4 langsung
A lot of that
3
is just
menit.
like losing holding angles. Like Texture so many times with the operator was just sitting there, and then you know something would just swing a corner and just take him out. And I mean the player, not just like randomness. Like it's like literally just walking corners and just smacking Texture out of the way. So that their attacker side looked good, but it's always the concern with PRX. Like their defender side is always a little bit shakier than their attacker side. And GenG is slightly better so far this year on their attacker side on Lotus than on their defender side. So it was just enough to get them over the line.
Definitely. I think the Reyna probably threw them in for a little bit of a loop. They probably prepped to redo Lotus, and the Reyna kind of threw them for a loop. So they're...
Anjing! Kan kentot. Hey. Waktunya nggak sih Derek main, coy? Kalian gimana? Abi ini iklan nih. Next map, Bind.
Down Lakia's Odin and everything. That just, you know, kind of brought them to that almost overtime. But by the end of it, I mean, you could still see how sharp, my goodness, these GenG players are.
Well, it really felt like both teams had a good read on each other's operator positions. Like neither side was having any success with the operator. So credit where credit's due. Both teams able to, in a short amount of time, kind of identify some weaknesses in their opponents, and that's why it's really so back and forth and why neither defender side was really able to get the ball rolling. And it's quite surprising that only 6 and 9 in the post plans, which means they're winning those scrappy duels in the PRX like scrum. You know what I mean? Like, they're just like trying to duke it out sometimes, and a lot GenG is coming out ahead. The post plant's something to be desired here in terms of fixing that for GenG, but like the fact that they're able to go toe to toe with PRX like this in these just intense, chaotic battles, you know, the blink and you miss it rounds, is super impressive.
I think that is going to be very indicative for the rest of the year. You know, even when kickoff's over, we saw our two splits. And GenG, the way they are dueling against PRX right now, the firepower is, I would arguably equivalent here.
It actually does feel really pretty much equivalent, if not slightly higher, actually.
Yeah, well, they're winning today. They're winning these duels.
Really, that's the wildest thing. I remember like round 20 off of Alex's timeout.
Breaknya paling lama 5 menit.
Retake ideas coming through. Some of the
ini tunggu analis ngobrol-ngobrol dulu nih. Kalau mereka istirahat bentar. Ada yang toilet pasti.
Against PRX, like they would swing out really wide, really.
Let's go,
but the reaction time from these GenG players, they were able to take them down, and it just feels as though, you know, PRX needs something extra this time, and that's crazy.
It's hard to think about.
It is. I mean, I'm getting ahead of myself here, but I'm already thinking of Bind, and Bind was the 4th map of Champions too, and we're like, oh yeah, PRX wins Bind, but then you look at GenG, and it's very much, actually in this order, it was Lotus and Bind, and yeah, I don't know how this is gonna go. You might be right with your predictions today.
Yay! I did it. Look, all I know is no matter what happens today, I'm beating Achilleos in the predictions.
You already won.
So I've already won. This season is over. Like, I've done it. Like, I'm already, like, popping the champagne. Like, we're good to go. No. I mean, like, I just think, like, what you're seeing here from GenG is right now, you're still seeing Monyet really struggle on some of these maps on the race. I mean, 11-21 is really painful on a team that used to rely so much on excellent raise play to really break open sites, to break open fights, to hit opponents in timings and flanks where they're not expecting it.
Think about that 1 HP clutch. I don't want to draw too many comparisons, but that's one of those plays that lives in your mind. You know, Jay coming up with 1 HP clutch against EG or whatnot.
Gila, gak ada yang menang fight dia. Gak ada yang menang, dia head to head. Cuma sama tekstur 4 sama. Pemain skin. Teor kalah.
Going in as a distraction, and then the rest of the team has to follow up. But sometimes that impact is not quite felt. There are times where Monyet is not quite able to hold a site by himself. But even if he dies, he gets information for the rest of the team to respond quickly. So when it comes down to it, drawing the comparisons now between
ini Bind,
Mind Freak and Munchkin, who Munchkin stepped up on this map.
Gila, Munchkinnya juga gokil lagi. Munchkin tiba-tiba jago ya. T1 biasa aja loh dia. Sumpah di T1 dia biasa aja loh.
It's not the most successful. It's a different map.
We haven't seen him be what we're kind of used to with Mindfreak in some
terakhir
ways.
ya.
And he's usually a pretty good big game player.
T1
Like he's a guy who steps up multiple times. Like the casters were talking about earlier at Copenhagen, you know, he was one of those players where everybody was like, "Whoa, this guy's amazing." You know, he's up and down sometimes, but he's been generally pretty consistent. I think this is more of a team thing right now. I feel like
beda role ya. Di T1 dia main initiator killjoy.
Be where it used to be in terms of that speed and that tenacity. Like you see it occasionally, round to round. But overall, like teams are able to handle it, and GenG in particular seems really good at anticipating the pressure. Munchkin's really good on First Bloods again. He's like 3-2 on this map, so he's still able to like kind of do his thing. The last thing I want to say is like in terms of other controllers is Karon, who was so good at like covering.
Yalah Cah, gue berharap banget Cah. Bantai Cah, kasih tahu Cah. Bungkam. Biar Cahya megang piala, coy.
And Karon's holding the other angle after winning a fight in tree, so he's really aware.
He knows he can trust in his teammate. That's the thing, you know. Karon is able to find so many of these impactful frags, and the feeling is just security. And I think that one of the things is that also PRX is now, they're so used to just kind of like aim dueling and really getting these confident big swings against their opponents. Very overwhelming stuff, especially with some of the chaotic utility that they throw into the game. But on a map like Lotus, especially a site like A site, for example, with the changes coming in, you know, you gotta really think about your routes. Tree is now like blocked off so much, and it's very difficult for some of these PRX players to come in with these big swings and big plays.
Now we're going to recap a little bit what's happened so far. We are going deep into the series, and I really think we're going to see Breeze again between these two teams, which I'm very excited for. And I think you guys make a really good point. Earlier we were talking a bit about our predictions and GenG. I've said this a couple of times. While I really believe in them as much as Paper Thin does, I thought they would have needed more time to really pull together and see, you know, their top form. But maybe it's actually PRX. They have amazing creative plays. You can see them cooking constantly with their ideas, with their team comms. But maybe you guys are right. Maybe they need actually more time to adjust to this new style with Bonyet in the loop, because GenG is one of a kind.
Yes.
There is no other GenG in this world.
There's no other Bonyet.
And there is, but Bonyet too is fantastic. So the thing is, a lot of their plays in the past was circled around GenG's particular playstyle. So they just need to figure it out again. But that said, they're not a pushover.
Tapi mungkin iya ya. Kalau si Cahya mainnya bisa kayak King ya, easy win coy. Dari udah 3-0. Atau enggak anggap yang main GenG gitu, 3-0 sih. Dari final ini kayak masih kelihatan firepower. Belum kayak GenG. Cuma ya kita berharap. Tapi kalau dibilang AIM mirip, Cahya juga jago banget AIM-nya. Cuma timingnya lagi kayak beda gitu kayaknya. But execute.
Like only Coach Alex knows. Like he's the only one.
Haven't seen it since Chaps.
You can literally do a roulette.
GenG Army dia. Bisa wajib militer dia. Wamil. Dia lagi apes.
We would be like, oh, okay, cool. PRX is doing crazy things again.
Deadlock, let's go. ISO, you were kind of I think this is a map for ISO. I think if there's ever a time that you're going to pull ISO out, I think it's a really good opportunity. I've seen some teams do this on Bind where they really isolate like the Sky player over at the long B side, and you can really punish them with some of the Deadlock utility, particularly the ultimate, when you can just take them out of the route. And that makes it so much easier to get into that B site, get the plant down, and utilize the natural advantages you have as an attacker post-plant on B site.
Do you think ISO would need to be paired up with another duelist, though? Or do you think he's like pretty good
PRX,
as
so they will, but
sepanjang Pasifik kayak ke Pressure nggak tahu sih Pressure-nya kenapa juga. Iya, nggak have fun mainnya.
Very dominant by PRX. How do we think, like, yeah, we don't know
enjoy
what they're
kayaknya
gonna
dah.
do with their comp now. But
Padahal dia ditanya vibes-nya lebih enjoy di PRX, tapi kenapa di GE yang lebih serius waktu itu dia lebih jago, ya kan? Ya nervous wajar, tapi gini loh, Onyol. Ini kan salah satu jadi kerjaan kan, dia mesti cepat ngeselesaiin itu masalah nervousnya dia. Kalau mau sampai kapan nervous terus, Cok? Mesti dia harus cari jalan keluarnya dengan cepat. Awal-awal ya wajar. Itu udah tugas individual masing-masing player itu. Kalau misalnya lu ngerasa sesuatu yang bikin lu nervous atau apa gitu, lu harus kelarin problem solving diri sendirinya tuh harus selesai.
Yesterday, you were
Oke gitu.
here yesterday, right?
Kalau dia, kalau bukan dia yang memperbaiki, wah berat sih. Menurut gua bisa nggak stay di PRX kalau kayak gitu mah. Oke, lu gua ngeliat si Cahya pas masuk PRX, menurut gua malah lebih ke pressure gitu loh. Soalnya dia gantiin Jing kan. Terus cara main si Cahya sebenarnya nggak terlalu banget agresif. Kalau Jing kan agresif banget. Jadi emang harus adaptasi Cahya. Analis yang pakai kacamata mirip Paldin ya sih. Yang mana kacamata? William.
Have kind of a reputation of maybe being tiltable, but it hasn't shown so far this year.
Yeah.
Not too much. We did see like Texture start to like.
Well, he is the one I'm talking about.
Gak bisa. Kalau misalnya lu bilang Cahya karena udah pasti ke Madrid, oh kalau kayak gitu kasihan empat teman yang lain dong. 4 teman yang lainnya pengen juara. Ini walaupun nggak mungkin Cahya mikir kayak gitu ya, tapi kalau gua menyimpulkan kata-kata dari si Xases ini, kalau kayak gitu kasihan 4 teman ya, nggak mungkin kayak gitu. Itu nggak mungkin ada timbul di pikiran seorang player sih.
Like sometimes I don't know what has gotten into some of our Viper
pasti semua orang pengen juara, Cok, nggak cuma kayak ke Madrid udah gitu.
And I'm not exactly sure what's going on, if they're just forgetting about it, if it's just so
Kita lihat
intense,
di
they're just
ban
kind of
ya.
like getting lost in the moment or
Kayaknya harus
something like that.
cepet
But all right, here we go.
ngatasinnya sih.
Okay,
Gua tahu cara main PRX, cuy.
This is basically like.
Tapi emang kemarin kayak gini juga sih line up-nya dia. Ketahuan. Cahya udah Cah, apa aja lu sikat Cah, anjir, majuin aja tuh. Sacel-sacelin, Cok. Aduh, ada Cypher lagi ya. Kita jadi problem entry kan. Kita bisa bikin map 5. Ini map maksudnya.
We don't believe
especially PRX. Look at them. They're just like, I don't want to use.
Ya, loncat-loncatin aja udah. Layaknya monyet main di GE.
Alright, we are gonna go into our 4th map, Bind, and we know this is gonna be a hot one. Let's go back to our casters, Achilles and William.
Thank you very much. Here we go. Bind for map number 4. We'll load up and see if PRX can rally back on yet another one of their map picks.
Gue udah buka bettingnya belum sih?
If this is going to be GenG walking away with a 3-1.
Ayo Cey, dukung Cey. Ini gak ada yang mau. Ini lagi milih tim mana yang menang di map 4. Detik 10 gue matiin ya.
Is onto that PRX having just one controller. This is something that a lot of us talked about being such a weakness of the composition that Global Esports brought out at the very beginning of this tournament, saying how are you going to play this map with a singular controller of Brimstone. PRX says, well, we have our own ideas, this time putting in that Euro alongside, so it really feels like triple initiator alongside the Rays. Now it's going to be a huge fight here for Shower's control.
Texture. Able to find something. Does take down the enemy Rays. TP's now coming in around the back with Meteor holding in that cyber cage. Able to find one, toggles over onto the cam. Dart going through, swings back out. By now, drop something. The last one standing.
Hey, gimana cerita begini cuy?
Princess sights back over to Showers, but Munchkin just re-aggro swings.
Gila pistol
Takes him
runnya
down,
kalah
GenG.
lagi, Cok.
Get the first pistol here on Bind.
And it starts to feel like the fans feel that they're close, that we're close to bringing that title back to Korea. But PRX, they're no strangers to this. Had to play in front of a massive crowd last year against PRX at the Junction Stadium for the Pacific Finals, and they overcame it.
And they were swept out.
Pistol doang, aman.
But of course, Texture
Santai
feeling it
dong,
too.
jangan kayak dimakan gitu
They're one
orang
step
ya.
away. Just a sheriff for Davai. Hasn't had as much of a blow-up performance as we're used to seeing from him.
Oh, not yet.
Hampir.
Greedy orb.
Wanting to get this.
Aduh, kejepit lagi.
And TP coming in to try to bail him out. Munchkin just one taps Forsaken as soon as
Jason
the door is
sih.
open. Good lord.
Jason datang-datang langsung di hang hot baru buka
Something
pintu.
trying to hold him here for the orb. Will be able to get Lakia. Nice reply fire from him. As Mindfreak and Davai going on a bit of a push forward here. Karan hanging very well back. Spots one, takes him down, saw the other. He's going to re-swing aggressively, but Mindfreak does punish him for that. Weapon can be recovered. Site taken. Texture not looking to try to guard things. Needs to bring this spike forward.
Saya smoker.
Yeah, considering that only we had 3 people buying up from GenG, this could actually be a bit of trouble and a lot more damage that PRX could do. Now, of course, that does mean GenG can also buy up to match in the next round.
Fokus duelis ya.
But right now, Mindfreak has a good opportunity alongside something.
Launching smoke.
On the trap wire, something still making his way over. Gonna set up Texture, looking to take those hopes and dreams away. Your Munchkin can also rotate over to try to grab that Bulldog. Here at the end of the round is something hearing. Toggle on the camera. It's a trigger there, and Meteor just swings out behind the box. Catching him in the back. They lose 2 players, but widely, you know, some of the weapons recovered here. It's 2-0 start for them on Bind.
Yeah, great start. And a good read, too, that it could be the split just to try to take away more weapons. You know, having that Cypher utility set up across all the different ways that they could get taken out here on the retake. Wow. Yeah, just keeping calm. They know they're close. Don't want to overheat just yet on the 4th map. They haven't won it till the very end.
Neural Theft nearly online already. Meteor just 1 charge off of that. It's Forsaken getting darted. Staying tucked for the time being.
Yeah, we're seeing this a lot with the teams that are experimenting with Yoru. Again, with the Sky gone, you know, not able to just constantly cycle through utility to check B long, you have to kind of invest 2 people there alongside the flashes. Now they've been pushed back.
What? Okay, Meteor. Neural Theft now online. Makio goes rushing forward. Forsaken swinging out. Sprang does get quite a bit of connection there.
Doesn't have help.
But now, yeah, is getting flushed out. Quick through to the flash, and Neural Theft going to be invested. Wait to see if they can try to take him down. Karan able to find it in the end. Drops down off the top of who come on yet. So finding one. Smoke dissipating. Karan just re-steadying the aim there. As Blast Pack sent forward. Molly out from something. Will be able to find the elimination, but now it's all on Money. And he takes Meteor so low. Now the heals come in.
You have to save. You don't have anything to work with, and you're already going to be down
Bener kata
3-0.
Wilson kemarin maunya bakalan kena pressure banget
Not
di
the start that PRX was looking for on their peak
ya,
of
soalnya
Bind.
dia udah lama
Haven't
nggak
shown it
turnamen.
this year. They've been known to be the leaders of the Yoru compositions on Bind. Really brought it forth for the entire world to see
Cepat recovery
last year.
Just going to say tucked right alongside this trap wire. Doesn't want to give them any inkling in case they come for the hunt.
The crazy part is they know, right? Because of the double trap wire set up, but they're not going to risk anything further either. They want to snowball the lead as much as possible. Just being wary just in case. Maybe he had another blast pack left over.
Saya cuma butuh timing yang pas aja. Kapan dia harus fight, kapan dia harus nahan.
Carries over one of those rifles, so it's only 1 weapon lost.
Kalau timingnya bagus,
Meteor already has 5,000 creds banked up here.
It just hasn't died.
Yeah. Activated that first Neural Theft already.
Okay.
Oh, okay, yeah, just going through the comms as well. It seems like that's what they talked about during this break, just saying, don't get overly excited. Let's just win and then celebrate. And they're only 10 rounds away.
Ayo, Cha, samperin, Cha.
He's trying to catch somebody off guard there with that carryover rifle.
Ya, ini
Back
perlu
away though
sedikit
is GenG. Now turning their sights once more over towards the B side. Trailblazer rushing forward. Not
push
catching
mental kan.
a glimpse of Divide before he makes his way back over in towards Elbow. The lockdown, the drop into the smoke and Texture. He's taking him out. Spray as well.
Cahya mau mati lagi aja tuh.
Paint shell does come through. Will interrupt the
Lihat
plan
tuh
for now.
digituin tuh.
Shifted around now within the tube.
Mau meninggal lagi ya dia tuh. Terus mau.
Okay, the check.
Ya nggak kena.
Not getting caught by it. Swings around. Will finally be felt, but
Kata
not
Aaron
before finding Mindfreak.
Bosowek nih kirain free kill.
To build up for him. Forsaken trying to find something with the Sheriff in hand. Can't make it happen. It's now once again on demand yet. But given that he was the one that saved, doesn't have the money built up, he's going to have to be the one that saves again.
Saving lagi aja.
So
Pausi,
far,
pausi.
obviously, 2 rounds with some iffy
Alex
purchases on
harus
the side of
ngobrol
PRX,
lagi.
but what we're really seeing here is GenG aware that that's going to be the setup that you often find
Alex
with these
harus
Euro defaults. It's
paus
the
ya.
Euro on B, trying to gate crash out somewhere else, maybe ready to take the TP just to throw a bit of a curveball. But oftentimes you're going to need some other support. So the
Mau
fade is there with him.
agresifin
They try to pressure it, they try to
Shot yang
push it
main
back into the site as fast as
Hyper
possible.
bukan
Worst case comes if
Hyper,
the TP
cok.
comes through.
Ke Viper
Meteor's
bisa
ready
di
for it. He's watching for
tower
that
atau
teleport,
shot
for
ya.
that showers control, so he's not giving it up for free.
TK
It's a
belum
strong
belum.
default
Pas
from
dulu, pas
GenG,
dulu.
and quite frankly, one that PRX, as the defending team, has to figure out the answer to.
Masih bisa coy, masih bisa 4-0 masih bisa.
So clean so
Mana
far
nih kan
in this
Niki?
map. The movement there, dodging out on the thrash into the cyber cage, being able to trade one before getting taken down.
Ayo pikirin guys, apa yang harus
For
dilakukan.
PRX, which is why we see the timeout again being forced out very early on.
Yeah, and you're not even on the attacking side right now, so you can't even just say we're going to rush one site anymore. That's not going to work.
You can rush out of one side.
Genjinya oke banget sih mereka. Jadi kayak kita nggak bisa menyalahkan full ke Cahya atau PRX gitu. GenG juga lagi step up, tapi Cahya jangan sampai kelihatan bau juga, karena emang kelihatan nggak nyaman gitu Cahya main.
This time GenG is
Jadi
just
nggak
saying,
pas gitu.
let's try to get a read on
Harus
PRX
pakai
first.
Jeeper
Let them
super
make
light
the
ya.
first move. They're going to be antsy for it, and they would have identified that absolutely correctly.
We'll see what the call is
Tanpa
going to be here.
3-0 kan
After Alex's
PRX menang
intervention,
1 match.
operator does come through.
Kalau Genji
Look to the
menang ini
hands of something
3-1.
now, which I don't have the updated
25.
stats right
Ke
now.
map
But coming into
keempat
this
ini.
map, even being down in the series and having GenG be at match point, Something's impact has been impeccable.
Yes.
Tied for top fragging alongside
Double
Karen.
plus
Both of
gitu
them
nggak sih?
dropping 50 kills so far
Son,
in the series.
Pikuka Son. Nah,
65 in
Jason
first kills
Pikuka,
versus
woi!
us.
Observer! Pengen lihat. Nah,
The
ini
start of the
langsung
value
banget.
here. Something that's been amazing.
Aduh,
Forsaken now,
keding
trying to
doang,
get a first
cok,
kill of his
itu
own.
harus-
Does so.
Aduh.
Something pushing forward, trying to take that hard angle outside the B.
WP-nya
Man, he just thinks because of the hard
Lagi
push that they're going to be
mantek
holding further back away
di
from Fountain, but
handphone.
Meteor's just up close.
Tell him, Hank, this is how it feels. To be scoped in and
Push,
instantly
nice,
known.
nice. Wow! Top G!
Finding three.
Siapa yang taruh S
One
di
back, yet. We'll be able to
bind
finish him off.
coy,
Ascent
dingin.
done by Mindfreak. Open the bell
Masih
now.
ada harapan coy.
Get another round
Top
lost,
G
keeps them
meng-
alive, gets them on the board.
It's
memberikan
great to see
harapan
Mindfreak
coy.
performing as he has been the entire kickoff, because he's had some ups and downs throughout his career. Obviously very storied alongside the rest of the PRX squad. But when he's
Itu
at
loh,
his peak,
emot
he's
itu loh, keluarkan emot. Emot dinginnya keluarin coy. Jadi ingat Aaron Vandal per second clutch lawan Optik ya? Iya sih, Optik apa IG ya? Yang per map.
Really trying to continue to be at the top of the pack. Oh my!
Wah gila, Cahya di benar-benar diusir coy. Emot dinginnya manis.
Move out into the corner. Forsaken
Ya,
makes his way
Jason
into
kena
the
damage dah.
dimensional drift. See what he opts for here.
Anjing,
As okay, flash out, showstopper
bunuh
sent
kek,
towards
bunuh
heaven.
kek.
Mask comes off. That's the fake
Ya,
out
ketahuan.
picture. Now falling for it,
Tonton,
but
Nestor.
eventually just gets flushed out into the
Nice
open.
fight.
Kill comes in.
Nice
Live
on.
finding one. Forsaken with a nice tap.
Dua-duanya coy.
Once again, lock in
TP
now the
nih.
last one standing. Spot on the one. Mind free.
Please.
Heading across towards showers.
They should know that he's trapped somewhere at Lamps. He saw a little bit more info coming out from that Prowler as well.
Not going for the teleporter play here. Is Mind Freak going to be creeping all the way around over towards short?
Oke, posisi 3 lawan 2, tapi udah Velo, masih oke. Aaron mantep banget dia. Tinggalin shower, dia nge-clearin shot.
figure out a different exit.
Whoop!
All that
Main
time,
break nih,
Mind
bos.
Freak just go on a walkabout.
Level.
Rotate it around.
Udah biarin aja, kasih
Jump
plan
to
aja.
Dizzy,
Jangan
going
di-pick.
out, Munchkin
Ah.
only click clear. Doesn't seem to be worried
Biarkan
about
aja Munchkin ini bermain dengan game dia.
Very
Nice,
nicely,
double.
but Mind Freak nails the shot.
Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. Top G.
Well, if it's not going to be your crazy duelists that are putting the
Gila.
round wins on the board, someone's got to do it, and Mind Freak's here.
Emot dingin dulu coy, spam coy, emot dinginnya coy. Mode BU kah?
Just to make sure they can't commit the plant, then the orbital strike, and then the flash as well to try to trap some of them with that blinded vision within that brimstone ultimate. I like the entire
Kenapa
sequence of
Top
it.
G emang
And it
panggilannya
eventually
Top G,
leads
gue
to that
nggak tahu
round
dah
win that
kenapa.
PRX oh so desperately needed. Op still, of course, in the hands of something as well.
Karena semenjak turnamen Ascent emang jago dia. Karena dingin bang, sampai masuk angin, iya coy.
Aaron just holding back to see if there's going to be another
Dingin.
aggro push out from something with his op.
Iya, padahal mapnya gurun pasir gitu sih, tapi dingin gitu. Karena Top G main kah? Up, Cahaya lagi yang ke gap. Kenal. Lu lihat, Cahaya jiggle aja kena tag kamera, cok.
The classic Forsaken Yoru.
Blown out, jump peek. Not going to be spotting anything here. So for now, PRX still trying to really get a read on what GenG's movement's going to look like. This does send Forsaken back over towards
something,
this A site.
AWP-nya.
Stack there, but the operator
Kalau bisa wingman aja nggak sih bawa AWP? Yo, kena kaki. 145 cok. 145. Apes banget cok, 145. Aduh, TP lagi. Ada sentinel lagi. Granat nggak sih, Cah? Cah, please, Cah. Granat nggak sih? Aduh. Apa delay plan? Boleh, delay plan juga. Cahaya kejebak. Cah. Tapi sumpah, kalau Cahaya granat ke delay bisa ambil posisi enak.
That's a really well read round. A quick adjustment to PRX. As soon as PRX starts to pressure the initial default just a bit, GenG just cuts all audio, doesn't invest more util, creeps up to the starting line, which this time was a little bit further behind, but it's going to be an entry point into B long. They want to suss out this operator to get it correctly. And that's what you get when you're not using something like the Race with the Jet. You just have no escape.
SGE lawan SGE makanya.
Those Seekers, leading him to victory.
Makin anjay.
Wide peek from Texture, just looking to get swung out. By hearing a decent amount of noise, wisely decides to creep back. Just has a stinger.
Ayo Cah, ada ulti Cah.
Not going to be doing him too many favors.
Hop!
Forsaken, what a shot!
Right above the Trailblazer.
Yeah.
Waduh, di rush B-nya sih.
Taking him down, eats a bit of damage here. Spamming through the cyberspace, trying to find the shot. Lokia will be able to get something.
Cah, ulti Cah. Oke, satu. Nice. Nice, guys. Drifty manja, guys. GenG kalau main cepat busuk, coy. Ayo dah, main cepat terus aja GenG.
Forsaken and Divide. Divide, of course, is backing out, holding the cross from elbow. But it's Forsaken who not only gets the first shot, but sends that fake gate crash early on and keeps him tied up, buys all the time for the backup to come in the form of a showstopper.
Great re-entry from Mondiet.
Yeah. Beautiful. Finally getting a little bit of that shiny moment as a race. He's really been thrown into a couple islands here by PRX.
Dia mau li market sih. Agree mid.
Mosh pit over the top, right off the rim here. As Forsaken goes rushing forward, managing to find one, but the trade back.
Something mati.
GenG finding 2 kills. Trailblazer.
One way run.
Cleared out the molly, trying to slow the Meteor, looking forward in the showers. As soon as Mind Freak realizes it, he's already dead. One player's alive. Here for GenG. Prowler scouting one. It's Mondiet who's bouncing forward. The boom bottle. Kill off Texture. Meteor finding 3. Again, just 2 charges away from getting another neural theft as GenG lock in 6 rounds on this attacking half.
Now, again, looking at the competition, as crazy as single controller does sound for either side of Bind, you gotta imagine that all the projectiles they can throw on and execute benefits PRX a little bit more for the attacking side. But all things considered, it does feel like PRX is just not used to losing out on these trades. Yeah,
Quantum champion, coy.
They lose 2 people to
Gimana
1.
nih coach, nggak
You've already
tahu,
invested a ball.
coy.
You have to use the second one just to buy time.
Nggak ya,
After that,
menurut
you have
gua.
nothing to delay. GenG does not respect it.
Nah, kayak
They just push
gini-gini
through
nih.
from both showers and a short.
Ambil shower,
I must wait a moment.
pack smoke,
Clear on the camp.
short.
Dart not found, but looks like GenG not looking to waste
Jangan
any
ditinggal
time.
nggak sih?
No
Showernya
more
tetap
gonna be
lawan
insane
nggak sih?
here.
Jepit showernya nggak
Will be
sih,
blocking
guys?
the back line. TP actually back over towards the defender spawn. Top flash gonna be sent
Kalau
out. Just enough
kalau
to be
misalnya
able to
dikasih
gain
masuk di pins, itu mau nggak mau ya si Jason tadi TP. Udah lawan showernya aja.
Ultimately,
Perangin,
may
coy.
have to just call for the
Lagi,
save.
anjay. Mode
What's
netizen.
crazy is Texture anti-flashes away from that bite.
Makanya,
locking
jadi
down because it's the
coy,
Euroflash
ini
bounced
kalau
up on the
Genji
pop
juara
flash,
wajar,
flicks
coy.
right
RL
back
bisa
up.
kalah lawan Genji, DRS kalah. PRX juga kalah, emang
Yes, he is
Genji
crazy, you're
jago.
correct. Sometimes a little long-winded on my commentary.
Berarti
impressive, this
posisi
guy.
apa namanya? Grupnya grup C sih terlalu keras ya.
And he's always
Big
been great.
Coach Asteris 2024.
Lockdown, the hunt attempt will be staved
Ya nggak
off.
sih, Taniki?
Actually, just making sure there's no attempts at some ninja diffusery going on here.
Emang line up Genji ini
Make his way back out to
serem
safety
sih.
here.
Jago-jago
Damn
semua
near
nih bukan?
flawless round for GenG. Now 7 rounds on this attack side.
T1 lawan Genji gimana tuh? Udah pasti T1 yang menang,
I agree with you
pasti.
in regards to PRX's calm.
Coba aja suruh
Likely
coba.
having just,
Anjir,
you know,
suruh coba.
better legs under them going onto the attack, but eventually you do hit a point where it feels like it's the point of no return.
Ya,
Yeah, and I think that's
udah
right
banget
here,
yang
right
itu
now.
ke situ.
A little bit, a little bit left to the ground and flicks right back up.
Ayo,
Not surprised
ayo,
about
ayo,
this
coach,
timeout.
coach.
Want to get these last 2 rounds.
Ayo, coach Alex.
I mean, the
Nih,
7-5 score
kalian
line
kalau
excuse me,
misalnya
is the
ambil
halfway point as
kontrol,
close as you can get without being a 50-50,
udah
but
fightin aja.
really more than that, as you
Daripada
mentioned,
kita
you need
balik
something
nggak tahu mau
to hold
ngapain,
hope on, and again,
mending
just
pin
you
sekalian.
absolutely have to win the
Gunain
You need a
TP-nya
little bit more than
semaksimal
that,
mungkin.
especially with a risky
Bunuh aja
composition
tuh
like this.
meteor. Anjir.
Just a one
5 map
brimstone.
dong, gue lagi bikin nobar di
I mean,
cafe nih
that
biar
gets
pada
so
jajan
tricky on
lagi,
when and
bener
where you
kak?
use those smokes.
Woi, 5 map
All
dong,
three of those
Kaniki
guys
biar
smokes have to find
cair
value.
tuh bisnis kopinya.
Plenty to be said here from Alex.
Kenapa kamu ketawa?
Last
Bro?
few seconds, getting ready to dwindle out. See what kind of impact he's going to be able to have, and whether or not they can try to rescue the remainder of this
Lu
half.
pembaca
Since
gerak
7-5,
bibir gue yang
keep the
asal.
composition, the setup here from PRX.
Tuh maksud gue.
I'd say those are pretty decent odds for them. They need to be able to get these last 2. Showstopper pit available on the side of GenG. Yet another dimensional drift here for
Ayo
Forsaken.
coba punish dulu itu Cypher itu. Mereka kalau dia kamera luar shower, kemungkinan dia ke A. Jadi coba cek dulu ada kamera apa enggak ada. Ya udah, jadi B. Anjir. Oh, ada ngambil crash. Aduh, langsung action lagi dia kontol ini. Run, please run, jangan kejam. Wop! Nice, backup, Davai. Cah, granat manja Cah. Cah, careful timing Cah. Nice, Son. Granat mantap. Dipis, bisa dipis guys. Wingman. Wow. Gelo bisa bunuh 2 gitu, muncikin ini munyuk anjing. Dengan Imnida manja kan cuy.
I didn't mind the idea to bait them out with the fake diffuse, but lining up like that against someone like Munchkin and Charon, a risky endeavor.
I didn't see that one back here. Texture trying to find the value here in that Odin spamming through lab. Good covering fire from Divide.
Sugaris.
Apa
Jimbit?
Something with those 2 kills in the back end. Whew. Bailing them out when it looked like it was going to be.
Nih, lihat nih. Nih, dia udah kamera shower nih, lihat. Harusnya cek lagi showernya ada kamera apa enggak? Nah.
How does he win out against both?
Well, speaking of
2 lawan 1
in this half. Not the spot on a mind freak flash goes.
Coy, meteor. Lagi masak coy, Meteor lagi cooking.
Some of the crowd start chanting it.
Coy, Meteor cooking manja coy. Ya.
Odin in hand, just wants to start slow swinging onto the box. They
Ya.
don't face it. Karen will be able to take him down. No
Meteor
HP
cooking
down, 4K
solo
on
anjing.
Meteor is more than happy with that. GenG will start off bind 8-4 on the half.
Wah gila sih, apakah ini
nasty double kill from Meteor to open that up. I'm not quite
masih
sure
bisa,
if
masih
that
bisa,
first
masih
shot
bisa.
from PRX was intentional
Kalau
or
misalnya
not. They could've
13
worked in their
GenG
favor
baru
to
nggak
try to
bisa.
bait out the swing. They had the
Masih
double.
bisa, Jay.
They were already spread out. But Meteor just too quick. I mean, he's not a stranger to having to
Karen
swing
ini
out
kayak
with
prank
these
Asterix zaman
impossible
BWL.
rounds.
Anjay nggak sih
He's so
kan ini?
used to fighting these 1vx situations.
Ngeri nggak sih?
He's frowning and smiling simultaneously.
Yang pakai baju PRX sudah mau dicopot. Tuh jangan anjir. Jangan murung, masih bisa coy, masih bisa.
It's not over just yet, but it is looking tough. And PRX, here's the thing: is that forget, trying to defend the title of Pacific Games champion.
Let's go Cah, let's go Cah.
They've been here.
안녕하세요, 감사합니다.
So close to try to lead and close out a match.
Tahu cuma itu doang.
They just haven't been
Wih, ini
able
keren
to
banget
do it.
cok.
As soon as they face an
Ini keren
opponent
banget cok gambarnya
that they thought
Omen.
they should beat, and they were challenged. They've crumbled in the last leg of
Kayak
it.
gua gambarnya. Gua kalau ngegambar Omen kayak gitu juga kan.
A monstrous run back ahead of them if they want to extend
Champion
this
2024 kapan
into
keluarnya?
that fifth and
Bang,
final map of Breeze.
campaign aja belum 2024. Udah mau keluar aja
Now
skinnya.
it's just been such a
Kapan pas
dominant
udah
showing.
mau
12 rounds played, 5 deaths only for
keren
Meteor.
gambarin muka-muka daerah kemarin. Iya.
Been impeccable for him.
Yeah, such a clean game.
Apakah maunya akan ditendang dari PRX?
As that Cypher and what a pick.
Enggak lah. Tapi kalau berkelanjutan terus-terusan kayak gitu, nggak tahu sih. Saya harus selesaikan masalahnya cok. Apa yang menjadi dia kayak nggak.
Very fanned out. Cypher Util set up here on the A site, but Meteor still going to be playing over towards B. Seems like they're very much expecting that PRX are going to end up going towards the site. Is okay, Lakia.
Jangan ribut ya.
Out of play spotted.
Harus fokus kita nobar bersama.
Now, the forces of PRX start gathering up,
GenG
getting ready to
wajib
attack
militer
A site.
nggak bisa ikut ya.
Yeah, I mean the A site, even the spy cam and everything.
Nih, Najis
set
tuh
up
main delay
for
doang
retake.
tuh.
You see that team tripwire. They just
Lihat
want to know
tuh.
if backside is taken
Najis
or
banget
not.
main
Munchkin
delay.
will try to get some
Ini
shots
kalau
in.
dapat terus smoke ya binatang anjing. Mampus lu. Cah, sikat Cah. Ya, jangan kalah Cah. Cah, itu udah hanghot, nggak ada peluru cok, emang busuk banget anjing. Cah, bau banget. Aduh, Aaron di smoke lagi. Dimoli lagi, retake-nya gila banget. Weh, Jason nggak sadar cok. Wah, udah miscom cok. Cok, ini udah miscom parah jing. Davai, 1 lawan 1.
Last one standing by, rushing forward, and he gets it. The half already finished, but either way, he had all the time in the world. Lakia, the last one standing as GenG move up to 9.
It's such a good setup from GenG. Abusing the fact that Cypher, obviously global utility, sets it up in A, but
Oh, itu kenapa bisa nggak ngecok?
It's just meant to make sure that the retake is easier.
Jason kenapa bisa nggak nge?
Of the early kill onto Manyen.
Miscom kah?
Had the trip set up, the spy cam set up to make sure that PRX can't find a good post plant position.
Woi, mau berantem lu anjing. Bangke lu, santai dong. Mau berantem sama Davai, maju Vai. Dia nggak tahu hantu Kelantan ya. Anjing mau ditinju anak orang. Ini Beyond Combat bangsat. Alas ya boy, alas ya boy, Naj.
The long range support from the Guardian as well.
He's looking to shut them out of this one. Tucks away, the Prowler coming
Aduh,
through.
flawless,
He'll get himself the
cok.
second.
Stop, please, comeback, please. Gue percaya comeback itu nyata, coy. Sebelum GenG menuju ke angka 13. Ayo, PRX 13 duluan.
And even a cracked gamer like Karen's going to be using the judge as well, getting the full Valorant experience. playing like a cracked aimer, swinging out on those wide swings, sometimes playing like a rat king, and he'll do it all.
Lemas gini nonton coy. Lemas ini udah nembak-nembak coy. Cahya udah nembak-nembak. Biasanya kalau orang nembak-nembak lagi bawa soek tembakannya coy. Line up aja. Woi Lakia. Bangsat. Cah! Jadi tumbal ke Cah. Astagfirullah, Cahya lagi yang kena coy. Coy. Rata coy, kena bonus aku. Anjing lu GenG ya, bangsat lu ya. Awas aja lu next turnamen lu babi. Coy, ini susah sih coy. Gue bukannya nggak percaya comeback itu ada ya, tapi ini berat banget nih. Satu, kenapa? Menang bonus, ekonomi busuk, dia harus. Wah, apa lu? Hah? Terak-terak lu Beyond Combat anjing. Tuh, force buy, lu lihat tuh duitnya. Mau nggak mau coy. PRX bukan BWL anjing. BWL 6-12 kan? Please. Ayo, force buy-nya menang. Nice.
Full flash though on a Munchkin. Drop in, Lakia lurking. Outside Garden, managing to find something with the Guardian. However, able to get texture, but now Meteor arrives. Forsaken, no HP.
Satu lawan satu. Astagfirullah, darah 7. Apa-apa. Ya, kebaca. Weh, Karun, bangsat lu ya newspaper anjing. Aduh.
GenG now at series point.
Gelo coy. Gelo banget GenG, respect GenG. Kalau GenG menang respect cok. Gila coy GenG coy. Jago banget anjing. Itu loh bisa mati dua loh sama si Meteor beliau. Koran dong. Mantap anjing. Udah lemas gini deh, nggak ada. Aduh, muka udah tegang, udah lemes ya. Poin soalnya. Meteor! Wah, ngentot, masih bunuh juga tuh orang anjing. Bangsat lu ya Meteor. Tuh kenapa ya? Gua kalau dipikir-pikir ya. Mikir apa yang salah ya?
Being decayed down lower and lower. Lamps the target here as Texture tries to make his way out the safety. He barely does. Flash from Lakia. The drag across. Finds one. Munchkin swinging the corner. Finds another.
2 lawan 2. Please. Ah! Ada newspaper segala lagi hidup. Kontol nungguin TP lagi si anjing. Please cek kiri please. Wah, itu klasik! Guys, itu klasik guys! Oh, please. Satu HP lawan satu HP. XGE melawan XGE. Siapakah yang akan menang? Raje melawan Raje. SGE melawan XGE. Monyet melawan monyet. Monyet melawan biawak. Timingnya ngentoy. Coy. Wah, emang harinya GenG coy. Lu lihat timingnya cok. Bisa tiba-tiba noleh ke kanan coba anjing. Wah, santai. Wah, gelo. King of Pacific 2024 GenG. Gelo anjing. Gila, orang ranked Karon juara. Lakia yang dibuang DRX juara. Muncikin dibuang T1 juara. Tekstur busuk di GE ini tadi pakai lagi juara anjing. Meteor abangnya Tenten yang dibacotin sama Bani juara coy. Aduh. Pelukan guys. Apa baca ya? Yang penting ke ini coy. Kandang home-nya GenG. Harus main di away dia. Nanti kita lihat aja ya. mereka di Madrid ya, kalau Bosoy kita babi gitu ya, mungkin. Ayo, anjing Dun Combat tuh, ajakin Dun Combat. Teknik dibuang-buang apakah next tour juara? Itu coy. Gila. Nggak ada piala. Masya Allah, emang nggak ada piala cuy. Emang cuma plakat doang. Wih, tapi kok keren gitu ya? Emang udah disediain ya? Buat banner PRX sama GenG, emang gitu doang ya? Emang no piala? Udah kayak gitu doang. Ditutupin logo PRX, gua tandain muka lu ya. Ntar awas lu ya kalau PRX juara lu gini-giniin ya logonya, bang. Beliau ada main loh. Unlucky untuk PRX. Babat juarain di Madrid. Piala nggak dipajang ya dari awal, nggak notice juga. Iya emang nggak dipajang. Tapi masa nggak ada piala itu doang? Apa namanya? Plakat ya? Apa sih banner gitu? Kata udah nggak mood gini coy. Kalian mood nggak nontonnya coy? Rayak versi lebih kurus mana? Gak mood gue coy. Siapa yang gak mood? Ngoceh lu sendiri binatang anjing. Gelap sih soalnya venue-nya. Kalau terang kayak region lain mah juara PRX coy. Iya nunggu AE, dukung AE aja nggak sih? Ntar kita balasin coy. Genji ini babi. Madrid kapan? Gak tahu, kayaknya 2 minggu 3 minggu lagi lah Madrid. Ntar ada ini coy, bintang tamunya Vinicius JR. Ntar dia ini pembukaannya dribble manja dia. Malu dengerin. Wah, GenG. Araso. Enggak lah, ngapain Vini anjing. Udah malas gue cuy, udah malas banget gue nontonnya cuy. Dan malas nggak nontonnya? Kapan main? Tanggal 29, Masya Allah. Dead crowd lemau karun the god. PRX are so bad. Masang fix, masang. England please. Lemas gini coy, sumpah. Buat kalian orang-orang Indo, gua kasih pesan, walaupun ini kan ada 3 player Indo di PRX kan, walaupun mereka kalah kan dia tetap dapat slot ke Madrid. Jangan dibacotin ya, terutama ke monyet jangan dibacotin coy, sumpah. Biar dia tetap ini semangat, kasih semangat coy, jangan dibacotin, ngentot malah ada monyet babi lu tonton. Oke guys, lemas ya udahlah, namanya kompetitif coy, ada menang ada kalah udah pasti. Karena mempertahankan juara susah aja. Kalau GenG, nih coba nih, bayangin kalau GenG kalah, dia nothing tulus anjir. Next nih, yang Master China nih, yang ke Shanghai. Kalau misalnya mereka langsung gugur, habis kena bacot GenG overrated ini. Jangan buka sosmed. Iya sih, harus menghindari, harus healing manja sih. HP itu disimpan aja coy. Jatan. Ya nggak bacotin orang luar yang bacotin. Ya kalau orang luar ya udah mau gimana. Saya di Madrid bapuk nih GenG. Gue bilang juga apa. GenG pulang awal ini Madrid.
part of this GenG squad that just won kickoff. And next we want to hear from the duelist Texture.
Ada yang paling tersakiti itu Bang Kacau siapa?
You heard it on the desk. They've been saying he's got to be one of the best duelists, one of the best. Now he's proven that he is the best duelist here in VCT Pacific.
Udah nggak ada duit akhir bulan PRX. Next
AE
nggak sih Bang yang mata-mata itu loh. Dukung AE ya guys. Anjir. AE nih. Doain AE. AE kapan main tanggal 29? Guys, belet. Oh! Oke, dia lagi sedih. Akhirnya juara coy. Pak ini Muncik ini ajak Beyond Combat coy, Dave melawan Mun. Ayo kita nonton China lah, kita nonton RB lah cap. Tapi gua bentar lagi off ya. Udah nggak mood gua, kayak lemes gini coy. Gua belum makan ya, nonton PRX lemes. Coba semangat tapi kalah. Tekstur sih, kayaknya tekstur yang membawa vibes-nya tuh bikin yang lainnya juga fokus itu gak sih? Ini apa coba Viper musuh? TC siapa? Wallnya kayak kontol gitu anjing. Apa tuh? Kawaii. Yang bener cok, wall bisa bolong gitu anjing. Ini lebih busuk ternyata. Entot audionya aja bisa delay anjing. Tuh. Layak untuk ditonton. Tuh. Lu lihat aja tuh. Streamnya 720.
海顿想要强行装，但是对面技能很多，而且2楼持续在给压力。
Udah cuy ya. Cuy, stop aja lah ya. Istirahat cuy. Ya. Ini cuy, hidup cuy. T1 kalah, PRX juga kalah. Cuy, untung perwakilan Madrid 2. Coba kalau perwakilan Madrid 1. Udahlah perang saudara. Lolos pula lagi. Oh cairin. Oh iya cairin. Udah nggak kepikiran gua. Sorry ya. Anjing satu yang bad GenG siapa anjing? Lah ya Ion yang minta cairin. Ternyata lah ya. Cairin cok. Oh, ternyata yang menang. Squad. Oke. Jadi this lah. Guys. Semoga cepat kalau kata orang comeback stronger buat Cahaya terutama, buat semua player PRX, padahal udah plus 2. Lihat nih plusnya nih. Karun, lihat anjing tuh. Kenapa Frudy lempar kiriman paket? Thank you ya Frudy, paket. Ada paket cok, gue juga mau off. Tapi thank you ya Frudy. Lihat tuh. Plus 21, 17, 12. Dong yang plus coy. Kita lihat nih hasil overall ya. Jason sama Karun totalnya aja menang semua fightnya tuh. Karun cuma imbang sama Davai. Semua dibabat Karun cok. GenG tahun ini gacor sih anjing, gokil banget. Brut anjir. Memang udah feeling good gitu atau tahun ini. Line up-nya juga jago-jago sih jujur. Emang udah role masing-masing gitu loh, kuat di masing-masing. Karun ini yang nggak nyangka sih gua. Dia nggak tahu siapa, main controller jago lagi. Lihat Karun dong yang bisa menangin semua fight tuh, lihat tuh. Seorang Jasonnya total ya 7-17 anjir. Jauh ini coy. Jauh sih ya. Best rookie. Pemain rank doang kan si Karen ini. Ente point champion dong. Iya. Nih soalnya ada juara 1 tuh ada 3 poin. Nah kayaknya ya untuk menentuin poinnya gue nggak tahu dah. Ini kayak circuit point gitu. Champion berguna banget soalnya. Official monyet abis dikata-katain dasar TM rendah. Gue bingung mau bilang apa. Tetap check out player. Pasti sih. Gue udah feeling. Gue tuh dari awal pas monyet desain di PRX pun, apalagi gantinya GenG ya. Kita tahu GenG lebih kayak salah satu yang diandalkan banget PRX kan. Ya jago. Kayak apa ya? Bukan kalau dibilang Cahaya tuh kayak dibilang seneng sih kayaknya. Kalau dari pandangan gue enggak anjir, malah beban gitu loh. Dia harus minimal sama dengan Jing gitu impactnya, walaupun seharusnya individualnya mirip lah tembakan segala macem, tapi kan dari orang kan mental segala macamnya kan beda-beda kan. Kapan main gue tinju lu rek, nanya terus kayak nanya balas main kapan pepek naga lu ya rek tiba. Oh kocak tak itu ada di jadwal anjing, lihat di one up. Yo kan ada coy, cek coy. Tanggal 29 coy, tanggal 29 ada ternyata sih. Coy lemes kia anjir. Ya ini ya kabar ya berarti ya bawa beda banget tuh, bayangin roll dia tuh teman dia main jet, overall dia tuh bagus semua loh overall ya. Gimana dia nggak ditarik cok, lu lihat overall dia main selama dia di Valorant tuh 1 ratingnya coy, semua 1 cok. Ini jago banget, memang lagi belum klop aja gitu, jangan dihujat cok. Buat adaptasi keempat tuh susah anjir, serius dah, apalagi dia jadi duelis lagi. Nah, kecuali dia bareng tuh kayak di GE tuh. GE kan dia belum pernah setim sama siapapun kan, jadi kayak startnya bareng. Kalau ini tuh kayak gimana sih, lu baru datang ke tim yang jago banget, pasti ada struggle-nya gitu. Dia lagi mencari cara atasin struggle-nya dia itu. Dia ngomong juga ada struggle. Sabar cuy, tunggu banget tuh. Lihat aja Jing aja yang jago itu aja, lu lihat masih ada 080 089 ini overall ya tuh. Kayak lu lihat tuh agentnya banyak, overallnya tuh dia 1 coy. King Wamil ya, ini 3 dapat 3 poin, langsung continue streak to win Pacific. Cok jalanan GenG ya, dari play-in Jing group stage hampir mati-matian, kalah 21 lagi, 21 kan. Play in, tanding lagi. Untungnya jalan mereka nih. Gila dia matchnya paling banyak dia. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Dia semua match kayaknya dimainin sama dia. Kentut naga udah cuy. Oke, kita kirim paket kali cuy ya. Kirim paket lagi nggak sih? Mumpung lumayan rame. Paket, kirim ke siapa nih paket? Kalian mau dikirim kemana cuy? Paket akan kita kirimin instan kah? Ya. Gak ada yang live follow kan anjir. Live follow. Beneran gak ada ini. Kirim paket kemana cuy? Manis semua. Apa lah yang kirim paket kemana cuy? Ke Ryzen kah? Ke streamer gimana cara cari streamer kemana itu coba? Ke Ryzen. Digelitik kan langsung. Ada coy itu. Gimana segini doang? Follow gimana caranya? Ada yang live tuh. Kalau di live yang live siapa? Tulis dulu Valorant. Bisa. Kalau tulis Valorant 5. Ini Ethos AB oh jauh. So ini mah ini semua anjir. Albert banyak. Ini cuy, ini kali ya cuy. Yang Indo bukan games. Iya. Indo cuy. KB. Oh KB main follow itu. Mole apa? Mole coy. Mole beliau. KB aja. Ini Mole. Mole coy beliau. Pilih dah nih. Pilih guys. Apa tadi pilihannya ya? Anjing. Oh, ini 1. Lah, kok ada yang India, ada yang Indo gitu anjir. Follow aja bang. Yang ini aja ya. Ini for fun ya. Ini robot ya. Direct dulu. Kok Oh bisa nih guys. Yang follow ya. Oke guys, gua cabut dulu. Sampai jumpa di next stream. Jangan lupa support streamer-streamer Valorant. Oke. Bye bye guys. Thank you udah nonton. Gua langsung kirim paket ya. Paket. Bye bye semuanya. Nah, jangan bersedih guys. Tetap dukung player-player Indo. Dadah.